4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm on my way over here, and I'm listening to this new Radio Lab podcast, and they're talking about this new technology that's available. And I'm like, this is the perfect thing to be listening to right when I'm coming to hang out with Eddie Bravo.
Oh, no.
There's a website called futureoffakenews.com where they show this new technology on display. Well, you know how Adobe does Photoshop, and so they can adjust images? They can take 20 to 40 minutes. They can do it with 20. They prefer to do it with 40. 40 minutes of recorded audio of you talking. Then they run it through this machine, and they can have you say words you've never said. They can have you make sounds that you've never made in those sentences. So like you can have a sentence that have a sentence that says like, "Hey Joe, you want to get something to eat after the podcast?" And they can intersect, "Hey Joe, I got a bunch of transgender hookers and some heroin. You want to get something to eat and go hang out with them after the podcast?" And it would sound exactly like what you said. Yeah. It'll sound exactly like your own words.
But I'm sure there's going to be experts that can analyze it and go, this is a fraud.
For now.
Yeah.
What they're essentially saying is this is the infancy of it.
You'd have to get like experts to analyze the audio.
You can see it right there. They synthesized Barack Obama's audio, and they have him say things that he never said. They have him and George Bush going back and forth telling jokes to each other that they never told.
Dude, can we hear this?
Yeah.
Right now?
Can we...
thing you're talking about?
Yeah.
I gotta find that.
Okay, see if you can find that. It might be on their website. It doesn't sound good when they're doing that, but it's in its infancy. But it sounds like them talking.
Yeah.
It sounds a little edited.
Yeah.
It's not flowing together right. But apparently they're able to break down faces to the point where, they were saying that like if Jennifer Aniston goes to China and she does a commercial for something, what they can do is have Jennifer Aniston talk for a period of time, and they figure out how her voice moves, and they take all these images of her face, and they can manipulate it so accurately. They can have someone speak in Mandarin Chinese with all the different sounds they make, and they could sync up her lips and her movement and the movement of her face to what it would look like if she was making those actual sounds, which is just amazing. So then they can have a voice like a Mandarin-speaking woman who could speak in Chinese, and you would see the exact correct movements from Jennifer Aniston's mouth. So it wouldn't like, how you watch like a
that
American
kind of looks
movie,
fake, though.
Right?
But yeah,
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Because our parties have moved further and further apart, and it's harder and harder to find common ground. So, when I said in 2004 that there were no red states or blue states, they're the United States of America, I was wrong.
So you could tell by the lips in that one.
Yeah.
If you looked at his lips, it looked funky.
It's not that good.
But that's just now. Like, what's it going to be like in a year? What's it going to be like in 5 years? And this is what they're saying is that what we're looking at now is the future of fake news. They're going to be able to recreate people saying things that they never said, and it's going to be impossible for you to tell the difference.
So how can that be used for the Illuminati?
Well, how can it be used for anybody? That's the problem. Anybody can.
Can you see the good in it? Is there good in it? Do you see? Now we can do this.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say what would be good, because you never know what the end result of anything is going to be. When someone creates some sort of a mind-bending, world-changing technology like that,
it only could be for bad because it's a lie. It's basically going to be a lie.
Yeah, but
whatever comes out of their mouth, it's going to be a lie. So there's no way that could be good.
Yeah, but see, what it is the consequences of technologists pushing boundaries. See, the problem is, it's not their intention is not initially to do something bad. That's one of the interesting things about the Radio Lab podcast.
Their intention is probably to make funny things.
Hold on. Because the Radio Lab podcast talked to the technologist, and they confronted her with it. And it's very uncomfortable to watch this lady be confronted with the idea, like, what if this is used for evil? Like, what if it's used for fake news? And you could tell that they're not even thinking about that hardly. All they're trying to do is figure out how to do something that nobody else can do. Like, when someone comes up with a technology, if you can come up with some sort of a voice manipulating technology like that, or a visual manipulating technology, you got to realize there's a bunch of other people that are probably closing in on something like that too, and it becomes this mad race to get something done and to make a shit ton of money. If you have something like that, that could be potentially worth, who knows, ungodly sums of money.
I'm just trying to figure out a way you could use that for good.
It's hard.
Is there a way?
The one thing that they were saying is you could take recordings of Einstein. There's hours and hours and hours and hours of recordings of Einstein. You could create a visual Einstein, and you could have a 3D technology perhaps, or a virtual reality technology where you're hanging out having a fucking conversation with Einstein. What? And now, step one, right? Step two is some sort of a neural interface with virtual reality, where instead of just looking at it through goggles, it's going into your mind in some sort of a way. It's interfacing with the very neurons and your visual cortex. It's showing you images that you wouldn't really be seeing.
For sure, it would be great for brainwashing, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's a no-brainer. That's for sure going to be used for brainwash. But like fake news, just like you said.
So the thing is,
perfect.
No one gets out alive with this shit. So this is the thing. The one thing that might be fascinating about it is there's going to be no control. Like, everyone's going to be able to eventually use something like this. And they said that it would require, like, painstaking, step-by-step, a person going over the data to see if they could figure out what was manipulated. And they think they could find, like, 75% of the ones that have been manipulated right now.
Do you believe...
They can find the fake ones. But the problem is, like, the amount of time that it takes to do that is astounding. Crazy. It's people to people time. Like you have to be sitting there, like going over it, looking, what is this? Check that out. Go back. What's this number right here? Why is this off? What's going on here? Okay, mark that. Move on. And they have to like do this over and over and over again. They look for anomalies, look for some sort of evidence that it's been manipulated by a digital source or by some sort of a digital control, a phone or a computer or something like that.
I think it'll be easy to tell. Right?
For in the beginning, maybe. But I mean, how good are Photoshops? Like the Photoshop Steve? How good are some of his Photoshops? And this dude is just having fun.
Well, how about that Photoshop of, I think it's Neil Armstrong, where he's standing on the moon, and it's like there's a shot of him looking down. It's like a selfie, and then there's the Earth in the background, and they proved that's a Photoshop already. I mean, they could just run it through shit, just basic shit, and you could see that it was cut in.
Well, there was definitely some manipulation of photos for press use. It's not just
that was
it's not just speculation.
That was 1969.
Well, they did it before that even.
Yeah.
They did it with the Gemini space program.
No one's even defending that picture. No one's going, that's real. Nobody defends that picture.
Well, I don't know if they do or don't, but the craziest one is Michael Collins, because Michael Collins, you can prove it. The Gemini 15 picture, they took a test photo of him like in some sort of a warehouse where they would strap him up with a harness and they're showing him how to utilize this equipment. And then they blacked all that shit out and reversed the image and tried to pretend he was doing a spacewalk. You never seen that?
And maybe I've seen so much on the moon.
This one's the best one.
Isn't it weird?
It's not even the moon. It's just Michael Collins. But you should see it because it's like, wait a minute, why the fuck would they do that? Like, see
what are they doing?
They took a photo. This is 100%. This is not speculation.
Okay.
They took a photo of him at a test facility.
Okay.
Where they would, prepare themselves for walking on the moon. The one on the left is them preparing. See, you can tell he's in a harness. There's a bunch of equipment around, and he's hanging onto this thing, and they're pulling him like with this harness that he's attached to. And then the next one, it says it's a spacewalk. It's the same exact image. They just blacked it out. They just took all the stuff that was in the background, all the equipment and all the bullshit. That's kind of a blurry copy. See if you can find a better copy of it. But what they did was they made a fake photo of a guy in space. That photo's not real. That's a photo of him in the test suit, and they just reversed it and blacked out the background. They could get away with stuff like that back then, man. It wasn't. That's a better picture of it. There, you got to get that's a good representation. It's just what they did was...
They fake all that shit.
What they did was unquestionably deceptive. So the question is, how much of that did they do?
Oh, come on.
Well, that's the question.
The question is, it's even the most hardcore skeptics. Now, even the most hardcore skeptics, they're like, yeah, I'm on the fence about that moon thing. No one's really saying, yes, we went to the moon. Now, even like Mick West will shut up about that. You know,
Do you think he will? I don't think you're right at all. I think he would definitely argue that we went to the moon.
Well, he's getting paid for that, so like, I mean, he's got to. I mean, the dude backs up every official story.
Yeah, but people do that not necessarily because they're getting paid. They do it because that's the mindset they're in. They're in this mindset, like we were talking about with someone else before the podcast started.
Well, he has a website. He makes money on his website. That's what I'm talking
There's
about.
very little money to be made off debunking things.
Well,
it's not the motivation for doing it when you're a multimillionaire from video games. I mean, he made a shit ton of money from selling video games. He was like some sort of a programmer in video games. And then he has a good time debunking things, but he has an official story mentality is what I would call it, where no matter what, like there's people that are objective and there's people that are debunkers, and he's a debunker. And it doesn't necessarily mean he's wrong about a lot of stuff, but it does mean that he goes into things with the intention to debunk and the intention to almost always gravitate towards an official story.
Almost.
Yeah.
Every single time. He
would wonder if
believes,
there'd been a time where he
Lee
had-
Harvey Oswald acted alone.
Yeah, that's a goofy
Come
one.
on, man.
That one's goofy.
He believes Tower 7 collapsed at free fall speed because of fires.
There's a lot of people that believe that. Unfortunately, I'm not a fucking engineer. I would like to know whether or not it's possible to burn a building so bad inside that it does collapse like that.
It's impossible.
I don't know if that's true.
All you have to do is talk to engineers and architects. I've talked to them. You could
Right,
you
but
could
it's
hear them
not
talk.
all of them. That's the
there's
thing.
There's no architects that outside of NIST, a government agency. There's no architects fighting for to debunk the Tower 7. There's none. And every
Okay, I don't know if that's true, Eddie, and neither do you. I don't know if you know that there's
do
like,
know.
but there's got to be some architects and engineers that don't think that building fell because it was demolished.
When
There's
they
gotta be.
look, no. Well, if you understand how there's about 100,000 architects and engineers in the associations, like the American Association of Architects, and there's about 100,000. And Richard Gage, he's one of them. And he didn't know anything about. He thought it wasn't an inside job. It took him years, and then he didn't really know about Tower 7. Most of them don't know about Tower 7. What he does now, he discovered it, and what he does now is just go from convention to convention, sitting 15 architects down at a time, and boom, about 99% of them, they all believe it. They didn't even know there was a third tower. It was not in the media that much. They basically
I think
ignored
that's
it.
crazy. I think by this time everybody knows about Tower 7.
They still don't know. Most people
I
don't know.
think-
No, but they don't talk about it on the mainstream media. How could anybody
but
know?
people have talked about it enough online to the point
Maybe
where I don't
now
think
more
that's,
than ever, but
yeah.
still, now more than ever, yes. They hear about that Tower 7 thing, but they don't really know the details. They just kind of just know about it, you know? They don't
Did
know
you
the
ever see
details.
the video that shows the full collapse, which takes a lot longer? You see the first collapse. It was the top of the thing falls into the center, and
That's the
it
elevators.
happens. Yeah.
They explain architects and engineers. I've sat with them. I'm no structural engineer, but you tell them common
what did
sense.
they say to you?
This is what's if someone told you there's 85 columns that hold up Tower 7, and if someone told you, if a structural engineer told you, would you think he was crazy or would you believe him? If he said, and it makes sense. I mean, it's common sense. The only way you're going to get a building to come down like that, any building, any structure, is you have to blow up all 80 columns at the same time. Otherwise, it won't go down like that. To me, that's common sense. To someone who believes NIST, the government agency, said, no, that's not true. One column went and then it spiraled out of control because of fires. When you talk to structural engineers, I've had Richard Gage on my podcast twice. Every time he comes back, he gets more. He just piles on more. He goes, all I got to do is sit him down. They don't know. Nobody knows. That's the truth.
See, has he ever debated someone who's like an opposing viewpoint?
Nobody
that's an
will debate him.
architect or a structural engineer?
No, nobody's backing him.
That
This
seems
is
like
what he says.
people would, though. It
No,
seems like
because when they
people
look
would.
into it, it's common sense. Anybody knows.
So you think that they know that it's not true? They think that Tower 7 was an inside job and they don't want to debate it because they can't win. Do you really think they think that?
Now, say that again?
So you think the people that are debunking it? So like if he's got this opinion,
There's
that
no
it's-
architects and engineers debunking it. That's already
There's
looked
none?
into. That's already been done and said. That's
but there's
old news.
got to be
There's none.
architects and engineers
It's
that
just dudes.
disagree. Come on, man.
None
You
of
don't
them.
think there's any people that
Find a
disagree?
video. Find a video of a real,
Well,
not
just
a
an
government
article.
agency.
I mean, it's
not
gotta
a government
be-
agency.
Jamie, see if you can pull
Doesn't
up.
that? But doesn't that make sense?
What
To
makes sense?
of a an engineer told you, a dude who builds skyscrapers told you to your face, like I've been told to my face, they said the only way that and you see it on video, engineer after engineer after engineer, are they all crazy? Engineer after engineer, they go, it's impossible when you look into it. It's impossible for a building to collapse like that unless all 80 columns are blown up at the same time.
We've covered this, but here's the
it's
thing.
common sense.
I don't know anything about engineering. I don't know if you have diesel fires that get out of control, if it weakens the entire structure where it just collapses like that. I don't know if that's possible.
What would you, if you have guests all the time that are experts in fields that you're not experts in, but when you sit here,
I find out sometimes they're wrong too. Unfortunately,
sometimes
I
they're
let
right.
a guy ramble about some stuff, and then they find out that they're making some of it up, or that some of it's based on pseudoscience.
But this is all like,
does happen.
No, but an engineer, a guy who builds.
I understand.
This is.
Right.
Doesn't it make sense?
Jamie,
doesn't that make sense?
Google, try to figure out, who resists architects and engineers. What is it?
I'm reading right now an article from the Boston Globe that talks about truthers in 9/11, and Richard Gage has talked about.
Yeah,
and I think they're
going to smear.
Hold on, don't talk.
They might have interviewed him, and I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about.
There's got to be some architects or engineers that have had a conversation or a debate with someone who believes that it couldn't possibly have fallen any other way.
Okay, maybe they're out there. There's
but
no
I don't know.
documentaries.
Here's the thing. I don't know shit. I don't know how my fucking computer works. I don't know.
How do you know anything
who
then?
constructs a jet?
How do you know anything? You know a lot of shit. You know a lot of shit. How do you know?
But if somebody wanted to argue with me about the components and how they worked on a laptop, I would have to go, wow, you're probably right. I'll have to talk to some computer engineer who's going to tell me the actual reality of it.
I've talked to dudes who build buildings. I've had them on my podcast.
I'm sure, but I just can't believe that all of the people that build buildings think it's an inside job. So
okay, what if 90%? Okay, what if 90%?
That would be pretty impressive.
If 90%
that'd be pretty impressive.
It was a
shit. 50% would be impressive.
Exactly. It's
50% would be impressive.
It's about in the 90s.
I don't know if that's right. So I don't know where you're getting that number.
I'm getting it from Richard Gage, who's the head of
architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth.
Yeah, and
right?
every year they add another couple hundred.
I understand, but
they keep adding.
But he might be a little biased, right? I mean, if he's the head of architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, and he tells you that 90% of the architects and engineers out there think it's an inside job, it might be a little biased. I don't know if that's true, and I don't think you do necessarily either. I think we're just guessing.
I believe it 100%.
I would love to see an architect or an engineer that disagreed with him talk to him about it and go over the data. Because until that happens, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Nobody argues with him. Nobody debates.
That's got to be. There's got to be someone who debunks that guy. Everybody debunks everybody.
No, they definitely a smear campaign. Are you kidding?
Right, but is it a smear campaign, or is it just that they're saying things that he's saying that aren't correct?
It's not just him. He's just one.
I understand.
He's one of many. It's common sense, dude.
Okay.
It's just like
right, but I don't know. I don't know anything about making buildings. I don't know anything about what it takes for a building to collapse. I don't know.
Totally. I don't know either. Maybe it got hot. I believe
it's not just hot. It's
diesel
fires from giant tanks of gas that were in the basement.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that fires made it hot. I don't want to believe they blew it up because that's scary.
I wonder.
So I want to believe the fire.
If a fire is in a basement and the fire has diesel fuel and it's burning at some insane temperature and there's fucking shitloads of diesel fuel down there, I wonder what effect that has. I don't know. Do you?
I'm pretty sure, based on my life's experience, that's not going to bring down a building.
A lot of diesel fuel life experience.
Based on common sense. It's common sense that, if a building's going to fall at free fall speed, boom, like that. If a engineer after engineer after engineer, at some point I'm going to believe them. At some point I'm not going to.
I understand, Eddie, but I don't know if you've necessarily looked into the engineers that disagree.
I know there's a smear campaign.
But have you looked into the engineers that disagree?
There's none. There's no documentary.
There's gotta be.
There's no documentary.
But a documentary.
Find a documentary. If there is,
what about just articles? Do they have to
make
a documentary for it to make sense?
What was that?
What if it's an article? What if it's a peer-reviewed paper? What if it's some sort of...
Those are all... Dude, that's a smear campaign. There's that side. There's the elite that don't want this out. And then there's people trying to get the truth out. So the elite have the control of the media. So how are you going to? They have paid shills on. You think that they would have dropped the ball big time, like Ernest Biner in 1987 for the Browns. They would have dropped the ball if you don't have paid shills online strategically pushing the agenda. Come on,
Okay.
they're all over
what are you
the
pulling
internet.
up, Jamie? What were you about to pull up?
There's a bunch of fake shit on him.
What, Jamie?
I'm lost. I was stuck on this Richard Gage thing that I was trying to debunk, to see if anybody's debunking him. I'm looking at Twitter to see
he's
if
just an
anybody's
engineer
finding
that cares.
anything.
Hold on, don't
I'm
talk
not
over.
finding. I'm looking around. I'm just looking around. The Boston Globe article says that there's a small vocal subset of people, of engineers that are with this Richard Gage guy.
That's what
and
I had
that-
read. I never read that it was like some overwhelming number. Just keep stirring.
I'm digging.
It's hard because it's fun. It's exciting. It's exciting to think that there's some sort of a gigantic
what?
cabal of super
You know
geniuses that run the world, and they decided to blow up Tower 7.
You know what's funny about the moon? Fuck Tower 7.
Jesus
Believe it or
Christ.
not, I don't even
You wanna
give a
talk
shit.
about the UFC
you know
at
what,
all,
You know, what,
or
you know
no?
what's crazy about the moon?
What?
Is the hardest shit ever accomplished, the greatest by the human race. The
Right.
greatest accomplishment ever was landing on the moon, right? Right? So you would think, holy shit balls.
I don't think it
Those,
is.
No, wait, listen. Okay, but let's just, at the time,
At the time.
No
I
one's
think the
done it since?
internet is the biggest.
Okay, but I'm just talking about like a physical achievement. 3 dudes, they got shot up in a rocket. They were in a orbiter, and then the orbiter shot out the lunar, like the LEM, and then it lands. They played golf, went doombug riding, did donuts in the sand. They take pictures. They get back in, take off, dock with that orbiter, and then fly back. That's the hardest shit ever. No one died. And dude, can you imagine that second mission 6 months later? They did it again when they had to break the news that they were going to use different astronauts. Because every mission they use different astronauts. Wouldn't you think they would?
Like a show, like have the same star over and over again.
No, the 3 dudes who pulled it off.
Keep doing it.
Dude, are you kidding? They did it before.
Yeah, but they don't want to keep doing it. What if it fucks you up? Every time you do
what
it.
if they were planning on using Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, but they just fucking got like egos
cocky.
and shit. They started going to clubs and
Flava
fucking
Flav clocks
yeah. They were
on,
like,
fur coats,
they
no
wanted to
shirt.
renegotiate their contract because they probably went to the moon for like $70,000. You know what I mean? They got that government check. They go,
think they even got that
we'll get you
much?
on the second album or on the second, just like the record business. You know what I mean?
I
That
bet you
first
they didn't
album,
even make that much.
Of course, they say, listen, we'll get you on the second and third landings, bro. Do you know how much money you're gonna make? You're gonna come back. You're gonna be famous. You're gonna be fucking doing all sorts of press. Think about the bitches. Think about the coke. All that shit. They probably got blowed out and got too cocky and wanted to renegotiate.
Oh my god.
And then NASA said, we just got to go with some new dudes.
They made $8 per diem. When Uncle Sam fucks you raw dog, he uses sand. Uncle Sam uses broken glass on his dick when he raw dogs
you think those guys went to the moon?
Why wouldn't you think they went to the moon? They're not
Come
handsome
on.
enough?
Come on, that dude in the middle. The dude in the middle.
dude in the middle didn't actually go to the moon.
Was hovering in an
Yeah.
orbiter. He was hovering in an orbiter, and they landed some little piece of shit, lunar lander, the LEM.
Right.
And then they they show the only time ever they got one shot of it taking off, and whatever was filming it followed it all the way up.
Yeah.
Like who was
Remote
the official
control,
story
bro. It
is
was on a timer.
Yeah, no. There was a live remote control. That's what they said that they could control from
Earth.
from Houston.
Yeah, for sure. That works. Dude, I couldn't get my
It's so
cell phone to work on Laurel Canyon.
The moon landings are so goddamn ridiculous. Oh fucking! There's video of them like just maybe 100,000 feet in the air, and they're like filming it, making it look. They're manipulating. What the fuck? Come on.
That video is strange.
That's a damning.
I've never seen anybody
that's some
explain
damning
that video.
shit. And explain what they were doing.
Well, the video says that they're saying they're at 30,000 miles out. That's what they're saying. Something like that.
They're halfway to the moon. They were halfway,
they're
so it's
halfway
like
to the moon.
like
Right.
125,000
Right.
miles away from Earth.
They
So
said
had-
halfway? Is that what they said?
Yeah, halfway to the moon.
Okay.
So they had to make it look like they were far away. So, if they look out their window, their little circle, or their whatever shape, maybe it was a rectangle, whatever, the window, the entire Earth fills up all the glass. Of course, because you're like still.
Well, you got to remember they blocked out all the other windows. That was
Yes.
what was damning about it. What's damning about it is that they've got this camera set up where they're filming the blackness of the interior of the cabin and the circular window. And the circular window is supposed to represent Earth, this little slice of Earth with clouds on it and shit. And the black.
And they got a stencil trying to create the.
I don't know if that's real. See, I've looked at that 100 times. It might have just been.
It looks like looks like a stencil.
What I think more than anything, more likely, it was just like.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's fake, and now they're pushing it as real.
But watch, this is what you could see. You can see. This is just you gotta go to the one where it shows the actual fake footage. This is the actual video. This is not going to show the full thing where they pull away and you see the guys manipulating the dampers and pulling the things off the wall.
so
And it
see,
reveals.
that's
But it
an-
reveals that they're in low Earth orbit. That they're not
like
really.
they're really just looking at Hawaii. It's like they got a little hole and they're focusing on a little island.
Google Bart Sibrel. I had dinner with this gentleman back in the day. He's a very nice guy, and he's the guy that wrote "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon," and he's absolutely convinced that they never went to the moon. He's not a dumb guy. I had an interesting conversation with him. He's fully on board and absolutely committed, and not that they couldn't do it or that they couldn't get the footage of it, but that they faked the whole thing. Like they never even went out there. Some people think that they couldn't film it. They went there, but they couldn't film it, so they used this fake film. But that there was other ways to track whether or not they went there. There's some people that believe that. And then other people believe, no, it's all fake. It's all fake. From the jump, they shot them into low Earth orbit. They float around in low Earth orbit and then drop back down to the ocean.
I believe that. I believe it's just a scam. They're just making money, and they're showing. There was the distraction for from the Vietnam War. All 6 missions during Richard Nixon administration, they did one every 6 months with different astronauts. No one got hurt. No one died. Are you kidding me?
Well, did you ever see the video footage from the first man in space? The video footage of the first man in space is so entirely fake. It's fucking hilarious. It's a guy from Russia. No, the guy from Russia, the Russian guy. I mean, he did go into space, but they didn't have a fucking camera crew inside the capsule with him. There's like opposing lights and different, like you could see, like there's a distance between the guy, but it's so fake.
It's always been propaganda.
Put up Google fake video footage of first man in orbit. What was the Russian cat's name? The first dude that went into orbit. But they have a video footage of him inside his cockpit. Vigor Vovchanchin. Oleg.
Amar Suluev.
Oleg Taktarov was like one of the first leg lock guys ever, right?
Yeah, dude. You had to watch your shit with him.
He would sambo the shit out of your legs. Remember there was like a few leg locks back in the day. Just a few.
Yep.
You know?
You know the craziest thing I found out? I thought heel hooks for sure were legal in Sambo. And apparently they're not even legal in Sambo.
Oh my God.
They just do straight ankle locks and knee bars and
it was because of the shoes.
And calf cranks.
They all wear shoes.
Yeah, no heel hooks in Sambo. That's crazy.
What do you think about shoes? Should you be allowed to wear shoes?
Where?
Either in fighting or in grappling.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think gloves too. But I'm a broken record with that. Did you find it? Video of the... Just find fake video of first guy in face.
Change my mind. You want to wear shoes?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Problem is,
I'm just thinking for MMA, like
they kick you and that goes in your eye.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's the footage.
No. This is the moon landing. It's a Soviet moon landing. No, first man in orbit. It's inside the cockpit. It's like
just
a
put
camera that's
faking a NASA faking Earth. NASA
fake video
faking
footage,
Earth.
First man in orbit, Russian.
I added Russian because nothing came up.
No, just put NASA faking Earth.
Well, what was the guy's name? Who was the first man in orbit? Yuri Gagarin. Okay, so go Yuri Gagarin video. You could see the video. See, he climbs into this thing. He takes off, and then like see if you can find the first person staring at him. There's a bunch of it where it's like so clearly not really happening.
It's all fake, man. They're all faking it. The Russians are faking it. They're all doing it together. There's no real Cold War.
But there was some sort of a video on the analysis of that, saying that there's light sources in there. There wouldn't be a light source inside that cabin that you'd be able to film with, and how far away would the camera have to be to capture this? They had these big ass clunky cameras, and there wasn't that kind of space.
Think about TV and the movies when they were born. were they ever about like what's really going on? You know what I mean?
Dream of Jeannie was.
Like, right away. It's total bullshit. Right away from day one. There was never a show about what life really is. It was always bullshit right from the start, right from the get-go, propaganda. They didn't create TV for entertainment. You kidding me? Oh, let's
but they
entertain
didn't
the masses.
create TV. See, it's not like one super genius wants to create something called TV and then they use that TV to manipulate the world. What happens is one super genius figures out to take a visual image and project it into millions of different televisions at the same time.
And who's paying his
Hold on a second, because he's a technologist. So he figures out how to do it. They start broadcasting things through this, and then the powers that be realize what kind of manipulation you could get out of something like that, where you could show the news every night and presidential addresses, and then they started using it for their own good. But it wasn't created to control people's brains. It was created because people have this inherent desire to constantly innovate and make better and better shit. We don't even know why we do it, but we're fucking obsessed with it. So these technologists that create it, they're so far smarter than any of the people that use it and manipulate people. The people that create it, the ones that actually understand how to make a digital signal with your phone stream live into Periscope, and a guy who is in New Zealand can look at it in real time while you're talking about something.
Wouldn't it be a good idea for the Illuminati to seek people like that out and hire them? Wouldn't that be a good move?
It's definitely a good
Hell
move.
yeah, you go after those dudes. You bring them in,
I think
blackmail them, and then
think
bam, you got them.
companies work directly with military, and they get military contracts to make all kinds of shit. They always have, whether it's computer stuff, whether it's surveillance equipment. I mean, there's lucrative contracts. Like, that was the big thing about the Iraq War, right? Like, everybody was terrified of the fact that you had this guy who was a CEO of Halliburton, which is a company that cleans up after we blow shit up, and that guy becomes the vice president. And then they start getting these giant no-bid contracts to clean shit up after we blow it up. Like, the money involved in something like that is insane, right? You're talking just hundreds of millions of dollars just flowing like water, right? It's just constantly flowing. So if you think about that, you think about that's going to be the case with everything. If they have the kind of money to throw that way towards the Afghan war, what kind of black ops money do they have to make those jets?
It's unlimited.
Those crazy fucking stealth jets.
Trillions.
How much?
Trillions are constantly missing in the Pentagon. Back in right before 9/11, it was 2.3 trillion missing from the Pentagon.
Like literally a couple of days before.
But yeah, the day before, Donald Rumsfeld. Everyone knows about that. But like
but
now it's
about
like,
that.
17 trillion are missing. Like,
but here's the thing:
2.3 trillion was bad. Where's all this money going?
Exactly.
These are trillions.
Trillions. Yeah.
Missing.
And this is
they
not,
don't know where it's at.
But here's what you're saying is not crazy. Like, people who are listening to this, there's a lot of people that are listening to this that have never heard this before. And they think, well, this is crazy. These guys are just making shit up. This is some loony fucking left-wing conspiracy theory. Yeah, you guys think that the government was in on this and that it was all a scam to hide the fact that they had stolen trillions of dollars. But they really did have a press conference, and it's really available online, and Donald Rumsfeld really does look straight at the camera, and he really does say they're missing trillions of dollars.
2.3 trillion.
Trillion.
And then
That's
the next
1,000 billion.
And then the next day, 9/11 hits, a plane or a bomb blows up a small little section of the Pentagon where all the people that are auditing the Pentagon, the accounting office blows up and everyone dies.
That's a coincidence, bro. That's a total, complete coincidence.
That shit could really happen.
Listen to me, man. No one would ever kill someone for as little as $2.3 trillion. That's not enough money to get people to kill people. It's just not. People need more money to kill people. People kill people for like 50. Like, so someone, if you gave a really shitty guy, he would kill somebody for like $1,000.
Shit is so corrupt and has always been so
Listen
corrupt.
to Donald Rumsfeld talk about this.
But slowly moving away. Someone talking over him.
Oh, how dare you, talker over guy.
Yeah.
See if you can find the actual video of him talking, because it's pretty fascinating.
It's just a couple minutes. Donald Rumsfeld. Yeah, that's a good.
It's a lot of money, Donald. Where's that cash,
There's a
son?
shitload of them.
Where'd it go, son?
10 minutes.
Yeah, that's not the full video of him actually saying it.
Just say not, but 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld, trillion. Guaranteed a bunch.
And no one
up.
ever talked about it again.
Right there.
That
the
was
second
what was
one.
crazy.
The second one. Boom.
What's crazy is it really didn't get brought up after that.
Right.
Let's listen to it.
female cosmonaut.
Cosmonaut.
Burning up on re-entry.
According
Hold
to
on,
some
you got two
estimates, we
things
cannot
going at the
track
same time,
$2.3
son.
trillion in transactions.
2.3 trillion.
2001, 10th of September.
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
2.3 trillion with a T.
The very next day,
According, the accounting offices were destroyed in the Pentagon. The 2.3 trillion
According
was
to
never
some
brought up
estimates, we
again.
cannot track
who's more gangster than that? They go, dude, we just got to say something. Because you could take the trillions, but we got to admit it. And then everyone's going to forget about it.
What do people say to that?
People-
what
you know what?
That's one of those ones where what do people say to the idea that the plane would hit the perfect spot to hide the 2.3 trillions of dollars in debt?
For someone to admit to themselves, they'll say everybody will admit the government is corrupt. But when something gets brought up, they're always believing the government side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this one doesn't even have a side. Here's the thing
People will
about
still,
but
you know
here's
what?
the
You
thing
should
about
just watch
this.
that and know there was fishy shit. 9/11. I don't trust it. And everything. Now you got to look at 9/11. If you see that and you don't look at 9/11 with skeptical eyes, you're hypnotized.
Well, that alone is one of those Arsenio Hall segments. Things that make you go,
Come on, man. It's just like, who are you going to trust? You know, you're like if you were doing business with this organization and then you saw a speech by the chairman of that organization
Look at this.
and he just said, we're missing $55 billion. Would you still want to do business with this guy?
look at this one. Trillions go missing from the military. Pentagon can't account for 6.5 trillion in taxpayer cash.
Cash. No one can, but everyone's. I believe the official story. Yeah,
How
they did that, but
crazy is that?
they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. Yeah, they're corrupt, but they wouldn't do that. Yeah, they're evil. Yeah, but they wouldn't do that. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
The report revealed. Look at this. They cannot provide adequate documentation for how it spent 6.5 trillion. That is hilarious. How do they not all go to jail? How do you not go to jail?
Nobody's going to jail. When you're Illuminati, nobody goes to jail. You're rich as fuck.
I know, but you're
into Satanism.
The people that have the money that our taxes go to, like they have it. Our taxes, we spend the money, or we get the money, we send it to them. They have it. They can't account for 6.5 trillion. That is so much money. That's crazy. That's like, isn't the national debt like 13 trillion or something?
Yeah.
What's the national debt?
I think it's higher.
It's higher? I might have made that up.
Yeah.
100 trillion? What do you think it is? What do you think the national debt is?
Dude, I have no fucking. It doesn't even matter, dude. It doesn't matter what the debt
Okay,
is.
but we're
We're
playing a
missing
game.
$6 trillion and nobody's going to jail.
But what I'm saying is it's half of the, I think it might be like half the national debt.
Dude, nobody
What's the
goes to
national
jail.
debt? 20. Whoa.
Nobody in the Illuminati goes to jail.
So
man.
look at that. Our national debt is 20.4 trillion, which we cannot pay, but we can't account for 6.5 trillion.
Why even account for it anymore? Just at this point, just say,
Shut up.
fuck it. Let's just cross our fingers.
Yeah. Well, there was an article that was written about the idea that our country was going to descend slowly into something that's not a democracy anymore. And the argument you would make if you don't have to account for trillions of dollars that you make us pay for, the argument would be that might have already happened. Like, if it's all about money and control, right? What more money are you going to get than $6.5 trillion? Like, if it's really all just about money and control, that's a shitload of money. And, well, what's the control? Well, the control is it's rarely discussed. Like, there's all sorts of outrages,
dude,
like
they're brilliant.
Transgender people using the women's room.
You know what?
You know?
Once you're in the Illuminati, you're above the motherfucking law. Nobody's going to jail. They're all fucking doing crazy shit. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody in the Pentagon's going to jail. Are you kidding me? No one in the CIA is going to jail. They're not going to jail.
I understand, but what's crazy is that no one talked. Here, a further mystery is what happened to thousands of documents that should be on file but aren't. The IG study found that DFA, I don't know what that is, did not document or support why the Defense Departmental reporting system removed at least 16,513 of 1.3 million records during quarter 3 fiscal year 2015. As a result, the data used to prepare the fiscal year 2015 AGF, I don't know what that is, third quarter and year-end financial statements were unreliable and lacked an adequate audit trail. So they just started yanking transactions and deleting them.
Oh, I believe them. Oh, what else?
Now, how does that work?
Tell me. Tell me something else.
If they have black ops, like what we were talking about before, so if they have like Area 51, which is like Groom Lake, you know, that whole area in Nevada where it's illegal to even get close to, where they were supposedly developing stealth bombers and all that shit. They did all that stuff out there, right?
Yeah.
How much do they get? And how does that money work? Like, is that where all the money's going? Is it all going to crazy military projects? Like, what is a black op? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they say black ops, right? Is that why they cannot account for that? I mean, doesn't that make sense? If they're spending trillions of dollars making these crazy fucking jets.
Hey, it's missing.
Yeah, but is that what it means? I wonder if that's what it means. I wonder if it means that this is just some shit they get to just do whatever the fuck they want with. And they build these crazy bases and
they do whatever
supersonic jets.
You know what I mean? Can you
talks
imagine the people at the top, like the islands they have and shit? Can you imagine? They got pieces of land that we don't know nothing about, man.
What, Jamie?
The budget has an area for classified programs. So it says they spent like $59 billion on classified programs.
So the 6.5 trillion is on top of that.
Yeah.
Maybe classified programs is one level of top secret, and it gets all the way down to where we deconstruct alien spacecrafts. That's like that Robert Lazar type shit. You ever see that guy's videos?
Yeah, we checked. We were into them like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know where I stand with him.
Still fascinated.
Yeah.
That guy's just a little
He's
too
still
calm.
fast. Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine him on this podcast? That would be freaking.
Yeah, but then the government would come.
You think he's really you know what? He's friends with John Lear, and that guy says the most retarded shit. He's
guy
the most
says crazy shit.
John Lear says this is his secrets are that there's millions of people on Venus, there's millions of people on Mars. There's people all over on every planet, and they're just not telling us about that.
But isn't John Lear like? Do you think that it's possible? I'm just going to throw this out there. Do you think it's possible that John Lear, who's like isn't he a super billionaire character?
He was a
He's the
former
Learjet guy?
CIA pilot. He was in the CIA for many years. Once you're in the CIA, you're always in the CIA.
But isn't he like some super wealthy businessman?
I don't know how
Or am
wealthy
I thinking about Lear Jets? Am I
Lear
confusing
Jets
him?
is like his father created Lear Jets.
Okay, but is he a super wealthy
John Lear.
businessman?
He should be.
I was thinking, if I was one of those guys and I was bored, I might just be trolling the fuck out of people, telling them about people on Mars.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing
for fun.
And
You
they
might
let him
think
in.
it's a
They
kid.
let him in the Illuminati if he does that. And he's like, "Fuck yeah!"
Probably was already in. He's probably already in. Like what you can't deny is things like Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Here's what you can't deny. Like I'm on the skeptical side of all conspiracy theories.
And
right?
you know me. Hey, don't get me wrong out there. I'm not going after anybody. I'm not trying to indict anybody. I feel like there's just too many people are hypnotized to really stop anything. You can't stop these trillions of dollars missing. How are you going to do that? Who's gonna stop that? There's like it's man. Too many people are hypnotized. It's hopeless sometimes. You know.
Okay, what I'm saying is that there's things that you can't deny, and one of the things you can't deny is Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a place where these leaders and these bankers and these elites of the world literally do get together and put on fucking robes, and they get in front of a giant stone owl, and they have a ceremony, and they burn some sticks. They burn an effigy. It's when Alex Jones was the first guy to find that. Like you can criticize Alex Jones all you want, and a lot of it's deserved. He says a lot of crazy shit, and he's a character, and he gets big and theatrical, and it's fun. But he's exposed some very real shit that's undeniable. And one of the things that's undeniable is that there really is a place called Bohemian Grove where these guys really do get together, and they get together and they put on robes and they worship this Moloch, the owl god. It's something that's been going on forever.
That's where people thought Alex was a shill, because he would say all this great 911 stuff, 9/11 stuff, and then he would say he would work into the world's run by satanic pedophiles, you know. So then people go, okay, he's a shill, you know. It's like John Lear type shit. That's what it sounds like, and that's what it sounded like to a lot of people. They go, he's a shill. He's talking about everyone's satanic, and they're all pedophiles. He's retarded. He's a shill. But what do you know about the Chester Bennington suicide?
I know that he had done a bunch of interviews where he talked about being raped a bunch of times when he was young and how fucked up it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything other than that.
Damn.
But,
There's some.
I don't want to talk too much about his personal life.
No,
You
it's
know,
there's
sad,
no.
sad as
It's no
shit.
personal life. This is all I'm saying. Was
Anytime a dude kills himself, he's got a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but
I
when
don't
you
even
when
wanna
you
talk about
you
it.
know
So
you know
sad.
Chris Cornell and him were best friends.
Yeah.
You know that.
He
You know
died-
that Chris.
he killed himself on Chris's birthday, right?
You know what Chris Cornell and his wife, they have a foundation called the Chris and Vicky Foundation, and it's all about helping children that were molested and abused, and a lot of them were like former pedophile child traffickers,
Jesus Christ.
traffickee, or however you would say it. And he was really, really into it. And this is the conspiracy theory.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know. This is the
Let's not-
conspiracy
Let's
theory.
not with him, man.
No, man. This is why shit is getting fucked up. It has something to do with that. There's the conspiracy theory is that he was involved in trying to, you know how Ashton Kutcher is trying to stop human trafficking, and you know how Corey Feldman, he got in an interview, he said the biggest problem in Hollywood is pedophilia.
Right.
And then there's been several people coming out, and the dude from Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood, he says it many times. He goes, "There's a big problem."
In Hollywood.
Yeah, and everywhere, really, Hollywood.
Elijah Wood said that?
And Washington D.C. Do you know that 800,000 to 1 million kids get kidnapped a year? Do you know that?
Is that real?
I don't know. Look it up. I don't know.
Where'd you read that?
I don't know. I mean, somewhere online. I don't know if it's true, but it didn't. 800 to 1 million kids get kidnapped a year, and you know what
You
city?
mean 800,000 to a million?
800,000 to 1 million. And you know what? Where's the biggest city?
Where?
Washington D.C.
Really?
Yeah. Look
How
it
many
up.
people are kidnapped? Oh my God, 203,000 children are kidnapped each year by family members. 800,000 children are reported missing.
Dude, that's huge.
800,000 a year
To
are
1 million.
reported missing. How many of those are recovered? How many people are kidnapped each day in the U.S.? How many children are missing in the United States? Click on that. How many children are missing in the United States? According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, roughly 800,000 children are reported missing each year in the United States. That's roughly 2,000 per day. Of those, there are 115 child stranger abduction cases each year. So 115 are abducted by children or abducted by strangers each year, which means the child was taken by an unknown person. So a lot of those, they're saying most of those people that were abducted, they were taken by family members, but it's still a shitload of people.
Yeah, even if it was
115.
200,000, even if it was 20,000 kids a year get kidnapped, even if it was 20,000, isn't that fucking huge?
If it's 100, it's
20,000.
20, it's huge.
20,000.
Yeah.
You know, and Sandy Hook was 20. So, and there's 800,000 to 1 million, and people aren't all over that. There's no one's all over it. Everyone's like, oh, that's it's a
I don't think
conspiracy.
people are
aren't
aware
into-
of it. I think there's so many,
exactly,
there's
because
so
no
many
one's aware of it.
statistics.
Nobody's aware of it. But
There's so many statistics when it comes to like how
You
many
know-
people die in car accidents and how many people are murdered, how many people die of cancer, and how many people. There's a lot of statistics to follow.
you know, when people are, you know, there's been over time, you know, that there's been a few people that have been suicided, but they're really murdered, but they would call it a
Well,
suicide.
what were those two recent ones that were connected to Hillary Clinton, where
Yeah,
people were
yeah,
like,
what is
"What
that?
the fuck?"
Yeah, explain that. What is
there was
that?
two of them. Do you know the ones I'm talking about, Jamie?
This is real.
in
This
Haiti.
isn't. This is
Oh, yeah,
real
they
about
did-
Haiti. There's a
yeah.
Haiti thing going on. There's a Haiti
hold on.
investigation, right?
Is this a new one?
He was supposed to testify about the money in the Clinton Foundation. I mean, that's what they said. I don't know if he's officially going to testify about that, but they said he was going to at least talk about it.
Yeah, there was two dudes that died in the same month,
And
or
then
in the
did
same
they
like
s- did-
in a 30-day period.
And they said they got suicided.
Yeah, they both killed themselves. They're
Yeah,
both like
yeah.
on their way to
So-
testify.
So who knows? Maybe they were really depressed, and
Super.
maybe.
Here you
But
go.
who are these?
Former Haiti government official shoots himself in the head in Miami area hotel.
Oh my God! Come on.
Yeah. Here,
And
this
what
is,
did he do? What was he doing?
He was getting ready to testify, son.
Ooh. And was there another one? Find another one.
There was another one that was really recent. It was in the same. Was that July that you just looked at?
Yeah, find the other one. There
The
was a
other one
girl.
was
There
like-
was a girl. It was a female.
Was it?
Yeah, she was a part of the investigation. Ends up suiciding herself.
It's like an episode of the fucking House of Cards, man.
Isn't that crazy? So obviously, who knows? Maybe they were really depressed and they wanted to shoot their brains out. Maybe We
Well,
don't
here's
know.
the thing.
We don't know. But I'm saying there's some fishy shit going on there, right? It's kind of fishy,
Here's
right?
the thing. For sure, someone that works for the government has had someone killed. Right? For
Yeah,
sure. Let's
yeah.
just
Even
let's, but hold on.
even Lyndon B.
Let's start.
Johnson was about to be indicted for 2 murders before JFK got murdered.
But let's start from the beginning. Was that true?
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, and then
but
boom,
let's start from
as
the
soon as he
beginning.
becomes president, boom, it's gone.
But let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
For sure, someone, whether it was Nixon or whether it was Theodore Roosevelt or Kennedy, someone at some point in time wanted someone dead.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Yeah,
And
then
they pulled it off,
And
right?
the best way to do it is call it a suicide,
Right.
And make it look not like a suicide because then you're sending a message.
Right.
They do it on purpose.
But here's the question. If we all agree, and I think every reasonable person would agree, that somewhere in government, somewhere at some point in time, someone has ordered someone killed and got away with it, right?
Yeah.
That's so
That's all
lenient.
I'm saying.
Not so. Then the question is, how many other times?
Yeah.
How often?
So
is
these
there a
look
whole
fishy.
culture of it?
Did you find that chick who recently got suicided?
But hold on, Eddie. Here's the thing. You got to think of military strikes, right? If you're willing to authorize a military strike, you get to the point where you're willing to say, okay, do it. Like, especially a drone strike. How about that? Like, this is the building, the apartment building. We're 97% sure he's in the building. Do we have the authorization? Like, how many civilians are dealing with? Somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 100. Okay, you have my authorization. And they do it, and they launch that. Anytime you do that, if you can do that, if you can press that button and just wipe out 100 people, including the bad guy, anytime you can do that, well, you just killed 100 people that didn't do anything wrong. Now, how easy is it going to be to kill some people that you think do a little bit wrong, or are annoying, or keep fucking with you, or like, you know, the Michael Hastings story. You know that story, don't you?
Which one's that?
Michael Hastings.
Did he
was
get
a
suicided?
journalist. He was a journalist.
Did he commit suicide?
Michael Hastings was a journalist who wrote for the Rolling Stone, and he
Okay.
followed around a general, and he got stuck over there. There was something happened. I think it was that volcano that went off, wasn't it? Where they limited air travel for like a month. Anyway, he got stuck over there while the volcanoes had, like, they couldn't fly into this shit because the sky was hazy around this area. So he stuck around, and they got a little loose with him. They joking around about stuff, and he was making jokes about Obama. And the Rolling Stone reported it, and he wound up getting retired. He retired and stepped down. He had to sort of step down because he was in shame.
Mm-hmm.
And after he did that, like, everybody was furious at this reporter. He got a shitload of death threats because this guy was a serious general, and he really knew his shit, and he was well respected amongst his troops. And he had to step down, and he had, like, it put those people in danger. Because this guy had, like, inside track to these people, and they got a little comfortable around him. And they took this one part and put it in this article and made this big story about it. Well, he wound up driving his car into a tree at like 120 miles an hour.
I wonder how they pulled that off.
The car exploded. It's new cars. New cars, apparently, they could take over the car. The car exploded, and the engine was launched from the vehicle. Like, the engine, like, blew up and was I forget how far away it was from the car.
Fishy, right?
Oh, so crazy.
Fishy?
But
Who knows?
they said, this is what the thing they said. They said, oh, well, he had amphetamines in his system. Well, you know why he had amphetamines in his system? Because he's a fucking writer. Here's the dirty secret about writers. They're all on Adderall.
You got
There's
to
a
be.
shit ton of them on Adderall. Like, if someone's a writer and you got deadlines, you got to be, like, alert. It's way too easy. I have a good friend who told me that almost all journalists and writers are taking this stuff when they need it.
Because it helps them write.
It helps.
Yeah.
It absolutely
You
helps.
put-
So there's the crash, and there's the engine. It fucking it launched a block away, and they think that the conspiracy theory is that they not only drove him into a tree, but they had set a bomb in his car, and that it slammed in. The bomb exploded and the engine launched. Look how far away the engine is. Look at the engine in the upper right-hand corner. There's the car, and look at the engine way up there. It launched.
Yeah.
The whole thing's crazy.
So what my point was, let me finish my point.
He fucked up.
Is even if the conspiracy theory that every now and then a politician, someone in power, even maybe an entertainer has someone suicided because they're in the elite, they got all the connections and they can get away with it.
Right.
Even if that's not true, and that's all bullshit, and every suicide generally is a suicide, even though it looks weird, and they make it look like when you watch that movie, the documentary, The Clinton Chronicles on YouTube. When you watch that, man, they make it look obvious to send a message like, listen, we got the corner in our pocket. You don't want to fuck with us. We can make anything happen, and no one's going to jail. That's what that is. But that's the conspiracy theory. But if it's not real, damn, that's a good idea. You know what I mean? Run with that shit. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
If you're corrupt and you want to hold on to your power and you want to climb up as high as you can in the political world, that's a great idea, right?
Yeah.
Own the corner. Go after the corner. Wherever you're mayor or whatever, go after the corner. You got to own them. And then there's evidence that you look at stuff, certain cases, and it's obvious. For certain cases, they fly in the corner, they fly in. It's so shady. But why wouldn't it be? And why wouldn't you believe it?
Well, you
why
know
would
the
any-
Enron.
why would-
Do you want the best one? The Enron whistleblower who shot himself in the head
What happened?
twice. Shot himself in the head
Exactly.
twice.
They do that on purpose. That's an obvious sign. If you were a detective, would you enter a case like that, go, listen, someone got suicided, but it looks fishy? Would you say, nah, it's a suicide. Don't disrespect the family. Just keep it a suicide. They told us it was. No, you would want to know what the fuck really happened. Like if one of your relatives died or whatever, and they said she committed suicide, and you're like, fuck. But then someone you know that knows him said, it wasn't suicide, bro. Wouldn't you want to know the details? Or would you say, it was a suicide, that's what the cops said, you know what, we should have respect for their soul and their family? Would you say that, or would you say, tell me what the fuck happened? What do you know? Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's
Right.
natural. If it's your family, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to stuff like, you look at Chris Cornell, him and his wife had a foundation, him and Chester were best friends. The conspiracy theory, I don't know if it's true, but they found out some shit. They found out some shit.
Let's be respectful.
No.
Like we don't know.
I don't know.
We can't
I'm not
talk
naming
about
any
this.
names. I'm
okay,
not
but
you got to
let's-
look into it. It's,
okay. But this guy just died, man. I just don't think this is shit to speculate
dude,
on.
that's why you should speculate it when you find out the connection and the way they died. They made it. Chris Cornell had 9 broken ribs and a gash in the back of his head when he hung him. Yes, and they said the official story is from the CPR. The CPR, he was already dead when they got there, and they break 9 ribs doing CPR, and there's a gash behind his head.
The gash behind his head when they cut him loose and he bangs his head off the ground.
And he's hanging off like one of those exercise
so you
rubber
think
bands.
someone killed him?
When you look at the evidence, you're like, holy shit, he looked like he was murdered. And then Chester, right before Chester dies the same way, the exact same way.
Dude, let's not do this, man.
No,
I don't want to even do this. I don't even want to do this.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm just looking into it because I love Chester. I love Chester. I love Lincoln Park. Who got you into Lincoln Park?
Okay,
I got you into Lincoln Park.
I understand. I don't want to talk about conspiracy
okay.
theories involving this guy's death, especially when he just died. It just seems so disrespectful.
No, he's one of my favorite singers of all time.
I understand, but if he really did just kill himself, like it seems so disrespectful to speculate that he was murdered because of some conspiracy theory. I don't know what the case is, but I don't even want to talk about it.
All right.
But do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? I've said enough. I don't need to say no more. I don't want to get into trouble, but I'm just
okay.
I'm not trying to put anybody in jail. I love Lincoln Park. I love Chester. I love Chris Cornell. Are you kidding?
I understand
Soundgarden?
I understand.
So I want to know.
I just feel like you should really know what the fuck you're talking about when you talk about people.
We were
that
just
have killed
talking about
themselves.
suicides. We were just talking about how
it's
people
like
get suicided. We
but
were just
that's-
talking
I
about
don't
the
think
Haiti
that's
thing.
what that is,
we were just
though.
when you look at what they were into that. They were into fighting that.
Okay.
And when you look at
But they were
exactly how,
also severely depressed. There was also a lot of psychological shit going on.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know why people kill themselves. Period. You know, I don't know why.
But wouldn't you want to know
But
if there
they
was
do,
some
right?
serious? There was some fishy
yeah, maybe
shit.
I'll look into it.
There's some
maybe I
fishy
won't
shit.
talk about it until whatever the fuck reality has been.
That's not
brought
that.
to
We
the
were talking
surface.
about
That's-
trillions
but that's
being
silly,
missing.
silly.
We're talking about all these crazy suicides. We're talking about all that, and then this is insane. This
I
this
just
goes
feel
right
like the
with
dude
whatever we're
just
talking.
died.
This is when you should bring it up, not
I
later
don't
when
know,
everyone
but
forgets
I
about
don't
it.
know any facts.
Yeah.
So when you're bringing it
I'm
up
just
like
telling
this,
you.
it sounds crazy.
Okay. All right. I get it. He was probably he probably did it himself.
He could have very well easily have done it himself. And the whole thing is just connecting him to some conspiracy without, like, a deep
Because I care
understanding.
about him. Because I care about
without
him.
a deep understanding of the
I
actual
care about
facts.
him. I care about him. You don't know how
I
much. You don't know how much.
understand you do. I
You don't
believe
know how
you.
deep my understanding is.
I believe you.
Dude, you don't know how deep my understanding is. You have no
Well,
idea.
I would assume that you
I
weren't
didn't just
there
make
when it
this up.
happened.
No, but I've looked into it.
Well, I'd assume you don't know who was trying to kill him. I assume you weren't there. I'd assume that you don't know it as a fact.
I would
Otherwise you'd be
assume you
going
would
to the
trust me that I
police.
looked into it, and you
I'm
would.
sure.
You would.
I'm sure you have, man. I'm sure you have. It just me personally.
Okay.
I feel very sensitive
All right.
about that stuff.
I get.
Just-
No, I get it. I totally get it. Let's change the subject.
Okay.
Let's get into the UFC.
Okay. Whew.
Damian Maya.
Can we turn the
Tyrod
corner?
Woodley.
Tyron.
I
Yeah.
always say Tyrod. Tyron. Okay.
Tyron Woodley. Yeah,
People thought that was a boring match, but for me, there was tremendous data in MMA. The fact, like, Damian Maya goes down to 170. At 170, he takes everybody down. He's taking
Yeah.
college wrestlers down left and right. But could he take down Tyron? I thought he could. I thought that he was going to hit a wall there, and he did. How are you going to take that dude down? It's going to be very, very hard to take him down. So what I learned from that is, man, you got to get really good at shooting and doing what Paul Sass is an expert at. Paul Sass is the best I've ever seen in MMA at making pulling guard option 1. He just made it not option 3. I always talk about the third option. I would want my fighter to have the best stand-up possible, the best takedowns possible, get on top, ground and pound and submit them, beat them on the feet if you're beating them. But if you're getting beat on the feet and you can't take the guy down, you better know how to pull guard. You gotta know how to drag dudes down unorthodox ways, not just the regular wrestling way, because you're gonna hit Tyron Woodley. You gotta throw some like flying Eminaris on him. You gotta shoot deep enough just to get a slight clinch and have something you're gonna jump on, not continue with the traditional wrestling. You gotta shoot, pull half guard, just like Andre Galvao did. When he fought MMA a few times. That's all he did is shoot. Dude sprawled, he just pulled half guard, boom, he got up, double underhooks, got the bag. You got to get creative. The way Nogueira beat Tim Sylvia way back in the day, Tim Sylvia could not get taken down. He was too tall, he had an awesome reach. Nogueira was getting clipped. He couldn't take down Tim Sylvia. What did he do? He shot the best he could, and when Tim Sylvia countered, he pulled half guard. He ended up in deep half, and boom, with the momentum, got up. Swept him, so it was an indirect, unorthodox takedown is what happened. If you shoot, pull guard, and then sweep, that's the takedown. You end up in the same place. So he went around the wall, and he ended up guillotining him, put a guillotine from the top. You got to have that. And you know what? He was pulling guard before. Damian Maya did pull guard before, early in his career. And
Tyron just wasn't having it. He didn't. That wasn't an option. Tyron's takedown defense was
the
so
last. That
good.
was takedown defense. Yes,
Yeah.
that was the last option. But this is not. I'm not talking about traditional takedowns. I'm talking about the art of. Watch Paul Sass. He would take deep shots.
I totally
It's
understand.
the timing. You can't just sit on your butt.
I think
not just
really
butt
what it's
flopping.
going to take with a guy like Tyron Woodley is you're going to have to get a wrestler who's like a elite, high caliber wrestler that's going to be able to figure out how to take him down. I don't think like a regular dude like Damian Maya, who's not a regular dude, who's a world-class grappler. But did you hear Dominic Cruz's criticism of his takedown attempts, that he wasn't following through enough, and what he was saying technically was wrong
can't
about
stay
his
on your
approach?
knees. Yeah.
You know, I think that if it was a real world-class grappler, you know, a real, you know, top of the food chain amateur wrestler.
But at
maybe you'd
170,
see a
he's taking
difference
everybody
where-
down.
He
looks like the best wrestler. And what he said about the fence, because most of Damian Maya's takedowns, a lot of them anyways, are against the fence. He's really good at going double underhooks and doing some inside trips or outside trips.
Tyron defended all that shit.
Yeah.
But you know what else Tyron did? He clipped him with a huge uppercut in the very first exchange. The very first time Damian tried to close the distance, Tyron hit him with a vicious uppercut, and he fucked his left eye up. Damian's left eye was fucked up from the very first exchange. When Damian shot low, Tyron hit him with a hard uppercut, and just his eye immediately swelled up, and it was fucked for the rest of the fight. So I think that played a factor too. Just Tyron's game plan was, in a lot of people's eyes, wasn't fun to watch. That was the problem. And like Dana felt like he should have finished him. And Tyron, his thought was, look, this guy's, it's his goal is to win the title. You got to come and try to beat me and win the title. If I'm beating you, why not just keep doing what I'm doing and continue winning the fight? You can't do anything. But if I change tactics and make myself more vulnerable, and he said he did get hit by a left hand or a couple left hands, and that stunned him. I guess his attitude was, look, if this guy wants to win the title, he's got to come and get it. And if he comes get it, I'm going to knock him the fuck out. And if he doesn't come and get it, why would I go after him and put myself out of position?
I would coach Woodley the exact same way. I would be yelling from the corner, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't fucked up exchange, and he gets a shot in and takes him down and trips him. He tries to get up on his knees, jumps on his back in that little scramble.
Yeah.
One little scramble like that, boom, you just fucked your whole shit up.
Damian is not the best puncher in the world, but he's not the worst either. He can fuck you up. If you make a mistake, and if you rush in and maybe he's reserved more energy than you think he has, and he fires a very fast straight left hand and catches you on the chin, he could fuck you up.
Yeah.
He could fuck anybody up. He's not incompetent on the feet. He's just not at the same level as Tyron, and he doesn't have the same movement as Tyron does.
Do you think Damian should... What if Damian had kicks more like, maybe not exactly like, but more in the vein of Edson Barbosa or a Yair Rodriguez? Wouldn't that be a whole nother dimension?
Well, he doesn't even have to be like that. How about just like Pedro Hizo? Just attack the legs.
Yeah.
Just make the legs...
He's not doing that, right?
No, very
He's
little.
just boxing.
Well, Dominic brought it up one time during the broadcast because he's like, I want to see Damian throw a high kick, a left high kick. I go, yeah, but have you ever seen Damian throw a left high kick? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I have either. I don't know if he's ever done it. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't think I've ever seen him try it. Like he doesn't. I think he's such a specialist. His specialty is just get you to the ground, strangle you.
He should spend. I would suggest. I don't know. I ain't shit, but I would like to see Damian Maia with adding to his arsenal, adding more kicks, adding more weapons.
Sure.
Like why not?
For sure.
Shit.
But even if he did, the problem is it's like Tyron is just so fucking strong and so good at stuffing takedowns, and he hits so goddamn hard. It's like you have to be like on him, and you got to figure out how to actually get him to the ground, have full control of him, and good luck with all that.
Remember Nogueira versus Mark Coleman?
Yeah.
That Mark Coleman wasn't planning on going to the ground with Nogueira at all. This was at the height of pride.
Yeah.
Mark Coleman's plan was to box with him and use his wrestling to not go to the ground.
Right.
That was the plan the whole way through. I'm going to box this Nogueira guy. He's got an amazing guard, amazing jiu-jitsu, and he ain't going to take me down. I fucking wrestled at Columbus. What happened? Did Nogueira take him down? Fuck no, he didn't. You know what he did? He's like, people who can throw high kicks and a lot of head kicks usually don't because they're afraid of going to the ground. All the guys that could do that, but guys that want to be on the ground and don't mind being on their back and are dangerous off their back and are known for having a dangerous guard like Nogueira, they could throw all the high kicks they want. And that's exactly what Nogueira did.
Yeah.
He started throwing high kicks, whizzing by Mark Coleman's head. And then one just barely nipped his forehead. So Mark Coleman just snapped into wrestling and said, fuck these baseball bats. I'm going to ground and pound this motherfucker, take my chances in his guard.
Right.
He took him down. He got triangled.
Yeah. That was the glory days of jiu-jitsu.
Do you remember that
we
shit?
had a heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Dude.
It was a triangle armbar. And that's exactly
you were
how
a
it
brown
got.
belt back then.
Yeah. That's how he got the fight to the ground, is by throwing head kicks and scaring a motherfucker to reverting to his wrestling.
Cowboy used to do that a lot. Cowboy has a nasty guard, and one of the reasons why his guard is, one of the reasons why he's so loose with his kicks, because he doesn't mind if you take him down. If you take him down, he ties shit up quick.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Vinny Magalhães throws head kicks.
Yeah.
Vinny throws head kicks all the time because his guard is super dangerous.
His guard's insane.
You jump in his guard, there's like 40-50% chance you're going to tap.
Yeah, his guard's insane.
Yeah, he just he did an EBI maybe like 8 months ago. He pulled off some beautiful rubber guard, man. He looked like a fucking ninja.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. Vinny's a bad motherfucker. He's got a crazy athletic frame too. He's built like this gigantic superhero type character. He's a huge dude, but he's built like a big, small dude.
And he's all handsome and shit. He's right up there with Alan Joe Bone.
Beautiful man.
He's right there. I would put him right there.
But don't you think, like, when you look at like his proportions and the way he moves, he's almost like a lot of big guys, like they look like big guys. You know what I'm saying? Like like a perfect example would be like that dude that just submitted Travis Brown. Was it Olenek? Is that how you say it?
Vasily the guy that got that
who just submitted Travis Brown.
Ezekiel choke off his back.
Yes, off his back. That guy.
He just beat Travis Brown. That's
Yeah.
right. What did he get him? An arm triangle?
Got him in like a rear naked choke on the side.
Oh, that's right. He does crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, his squeeze must be insane. Oh my.
Insane.
He's probably just known in his gym as like, dude, he's going to get a hold of your neck and just smash it.
Dude, he's a spooky good grappler. Like, you could see like when he gets a hold of guys that he's putting like a crusher squeeze on them. People don't understand what he did. He let a guy mount him and he choked the guy while the guy was on top of him. That is insane and unheard of.
He was mounted.
He was mounted, which means it's one of the worst positions you could ever be in MMA. The guy's on top of you. His hips are above your hips. He's pinning you to the ground, and this guy choked the guy from the bottom. It never happens. It never happens. The fact that he could do it. I mean, here we can see it here. How do you say his name?
Olenek.
Is it Vasily?
Alexei.
Alexei. That's right. Alexei Olenek. So he's just ragdolling Travis here, and he gets his back. And look at this. He's got a rear naked on the side with
Yeah.
a body scissors. Look how he's squeezing the body and just smushing him so he can't breathe.
He's got him in a lockdown across the body.
Yeah, and then he gets the neck. He's under the neck, just sort of like a sideways rear naked choke. The other one he did is even crazier when you see him submit the guy from the bottom with an Ezekiel choke. See, that kind of guy, that looks like a big guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a big guy.
Yeah.
Vinny Magalhaes looks like a welterweight that's 6'3" for some strange reason.
And 230 pounds.
Is he fighting MMA anymore? Or is he just going to do jiu-jitsu?
I'm not sure. He is going to come back and do the Absolute. EBI Absolute's going to be at the Onyx.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is crazy. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
Watch him do that
No
again.
one's ever done that.
Back that up again. People are going to try it now. So go all the way to the beginning. So the guy gets mount, and he thinks he's got, like, oh, I got the mount here. And he just sinks this in. And look how tight he makes this.
Just
This
a
is
rear naked
crazy.
choke into the throat.
Yeah,
rear,
it's crazy.
Dude, that seems legit.
Fuck yeah, it's legit. It's 100% legit.
I think that's super legit.
Yeah, if you look at the way the arms are folding up here, I mean, that's not a goon, right? That's all torque.
That's a front naked choke.
Fuck yeah, it is. That is, it's all like real leverage. You know how you could tell if a guy goons somebody?
Yeah.
They're just crushing their head. That's not a goon.
That's all squeeze right there.
Yeah, and it's fitting in like keys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's fitting in there perfect. when
Dude,
you're
your
putting the
squeeze
clamp
has to
down.
be super high level to get it to choke someone while being mounted.
Ooh, good lord, good lord. How many people
Yeah.
have that? See, this Tyron Woodley thing is very tricky because in my mind, like, I see that he wanted to win the fight, period. That is the best way to win the fight. If this guy is only offering a certain amount of offense and you could stuff that offense and land your shots and continue to pile up points, which he did, and don't ever put yourself at risk, I get it. But I also get the Dana White point of view, where he's like, you got to sell tickets. Like, people are paying to see you fight. And if people are holding up cell phones and swinging them through the rafters, you know, because everybody's bored because they don't want to watch it anymore. And his thought is, look, you got to sell tickets.
Hey, who's the greatest takedown artist in UFC history?
George St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre versus Woodley.
Yeah, but Woodley apparently, because of this fight, they're talking about GSP versus Bisping now.
Oh, they got to go to Woodley. Come on, that's the only guy. If
What if
GSP
they
can't
just-
take Woodley down, nobody can.
But what if they just tried to take each other down back and forth and everybody went crazy again?
What
they
if
started
GSP
booing?
took him down repeatedly?
What if he didn't?
Like that'd be great too. But what if he did? Either way.
Look, I want to see the fight.
Either way, that would be
here's
the
the way to
fight right
sell
there
it.
because Woodley has a style. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. Some people appreciate it or whatever. But the only guy that has a shot to beat Woodley, the only guy would be the best MMA takedown artist of all time. He has like 1 million takedowns in the UFC. He's the only guy that would be able to. If GSP can't do it, no one can.
He's
You're gonna
also
have to
a
just
very
box
good
this dude.
striker.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good striker. I think
throws
you would
leg
have,
kicks.
This is what you'd have. GSP saying, like, we got to go the pro wrestling angle. You know, I'm tired of sitting at home watching boring fights. That was a bad GSP impression. Right? But him saying, like, enough already, I want my time. It sound like Arnold.
Can he
I
make
need to hear some
170
GSP.
without IVs?
I don't know.
Because Bisping's at 185. That's kind of weird. Is he saying, man, it's going to be too hard to make 170 without the IVs?
I think he was willing to fight either fight. I think he was willing to do 170 or 185.
Dude, Woodley GSP would be huge. That would be the biggest fight for Woodley.
I'm not impressed with your
biggest fight for Woodley.
performance.
Because who else is there at 170 that has a chance of taking him down?
Well, Robbie Lawler, since he just won, you would have to look at Robbie as being
He
one
would
of the
just
top
brawl.
contenders.
Yeah, he would just brawl with him. He's willing to brawl with him. That's
Well,
the
if he
only
can
way you're going to
avoid-
beat him.
If he can avoid the big bomb that he got hit with in the first fight.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to think, Robbie Lawler is coming off of 5-round war with Rory McDonald, 5-round war with Carlos Condit, war with Johnny Hendricks, war. It's all war. Every fight he's in is
Fuck,
fucking
yeah.
war. So, like, I think that him having that year off was giant. And then he fought Cowboy, and towards the end, he was coming after Cowboy. He was hurting Cowboy to the body. He hit Cowboy with some big shots. I felt like a lot of people disagreed with that decision, but I felt like I gave Robbie the first round because he jumped all over Cowboy in the beginning. I think it was enough to win the round, although I think Cowboy was getting the better of the exchanges towards the end. I still think the volume of it and the impact went to Robbie. The second round went to Cowboy pretty big. But then Robbie rallied in the third round, and I think he dominated the third round, and I think he hurt Cowboy a few times. I think that would have been an amazing 5-round fight. That would have been an incredible
I don't even
fight.
remember who won the fight.
Robbie won. Very
Okay.
close decision. I think it was a split decision.
I saw the fight,
sure,
but my
great fight.
My brain is scrambled.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight. Both gave, both took. It was war. It was chaos. You know, and Cowboy definitely caught him with some clean shots. He hit him with some real good knees to the body as well. Cowboy landed a lot of great shit, but you know, Robbie looked like Robbie again. He looked like the Robbie Lawler that won the title. He looked like a killer. He looked like the same spooky dude that just keeps coming after you until he puts you away. That's what he looked like in the third round. Third round in particular really looked like he was falling back into the old groove again. So there's him, you know. I think, man, it's crazy seeing Rory McDonald over in Bellator looking better than ever. And when he took down Paul Daly, like he cracked Paul on the feet, didn't get hit with shit, took Paul down and strangled the shit out of him. And the way he did it, you watch it, you go, whoa. Like Rory McDonald might be the best welterweight on the planet. Like he might right be there. You know, and you got to remember, he beat Tyron Woodley. Remember that fight?
I don't remember it.
Rory shut him down. Shut down that big overhand right.
What year was
kept
that?
him pressed against the
Was
cage.
that recent?
Not that long ago. Maybe,
Damn.
if I had to guess, 2015. I think he fought Tyron Woodley before he fought Robbie Lawler. I think it was one of those elimination fights.
Woodley was a decision?
Yeah, he beat Woodley by decision. And he also beat Damian Maia. And he survived being mounted by Damian Maia in the first round. Damian took him down, mounted him, he defended, and then he fucked Damian up in the second and the third rounds.
And he's still peaking.
Dude, he's like 26.
Yeah.
He's one of the best in the world. Without a doubt, he might be the best. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It bums me out seeing him over at Bellator. I think that kid is sensational.
Is Kelvin coming back down to 170? What do you think?
I think he can make it for sure. I think if Kelvin had the kind of discipline that Chris Weidman has to get down to 85, Chris Weidman's a huge guy.
Yeah.
He has to have real discipline to make that 185-pound limit. I mean, he has to really watch his calories.
What does he walk
really,
around at?
I would like to know. It's well north of 200 pounds, though. He's a big guy. You know, according to Ray Longo and Matt Serra, they're like, Chris is on the big side of 85. Like, he could easily be on the small side of 205. You know, and then... what do you think about these new weight classes? Like the athletic commissions now, they're going to add 65, 75, 95, and I think 220. Was it 225 too?
The UFC going to do this?
I don't know. I don't know if the UFC is going to do it, but I think they should. I think they should go every 10 pounds. Not every 5 pounds, but every 10 pounds.
I like it the way it is.
Do you?
I like it just... It makes sense. It makes sense, but we don't
there's
need
enough
it.
fighters.
I don't think we need it. It makes sense. I don't mind the big jumps.
Really?
Find your spot. We don't need more. It'll just, I don't know, at this point, I think you keep it the way it is. But who knows what they're going to do.
I don't agree. I think we need more weight classes. I think there's too big of jumps. I think the jump of like 185 to 205 is fucking crazy. That's a 20-pound jump. That's huge. The difference between a guy who's 185 and a guy who's 205 is significant. The amount of power that guy has over the 85-pounder is fucking huge.
Find your spot.
55. It's too many. There's too many tweeners like Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez is probably a 65er. You know, maybe a little too small for 70, maybe too big for 55. I think there's a few of those guys.
He's gotten down to 45.
I know, not good though. I mean, not fought like the Diego Sanchez of old. I don't think he can
I think he should stay.
sustain himself.
55 is his spot.
Yeah. I think it's hard for him to even make that, though. If you could let him fight at 65, he'd have all his energy.
It makes sense what you're saying, and I get it. Totally makes sense. But it's
fan
just
in
fighting.
you.
It's just
Yeah.
fighting. You know, let's not dilute it. We got enough. We don't need more. We don't. Everything doesn't have to be like just all systematically fair. You know,
I don't think that's the case. I don't think we have enough. I think we could have room for more champions. I think we'd have more super fights. We'd have more guys rise to the top of the division, and it would be easier to match them up. It's way easier to match up a 75 with an 85 than it is to match up a 70 with an 85 or 55 with an 85. It's just like the gaps are too big.
I think we have too much already. I think it's hard to keep track of shit the way it is. We don't
Maybe.
need-
There's an argument for that, I guess. I don't know. I like it, though. I think it gives people more options, and I think heavyweights, for sure, gives them more options. I would also like to see a super heavyweight division. I would like to see a full-on freak show. I want to see the Mountain from Game of Thrones. I want to see that guy learn how to fight. He's like 330 fucking pounds. You know that guy that picks up those stone balls and shit? Do you know what I'm talking about? Carries cars. He's one of those dudes.
How big is he?
Giant.
How tall is he?
6'8", something
White
like
guy?
that. Yeah, Viking, straight Viking.
Long hair, beard.
No, he's got a beard. Yeah, he's like one of those Iceland guys, I think. Sweden or Iceland. One of them Viking characters. How big is that mountain dude? There's a video of him sparring with Conor McGregor. It's hilarious. He's 6'9". Jesus Christ. What in the fuck is that?
Is there a picture of him?
Jesus Christ. He weighs 380 pounds. 386
Is there a
pounds.
video of him picking
Yeah.
up cars?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of videos of him doing shit. Here, watch him. That's him. See if they have some videos of him doing his workouts. His workouts are fucking insane. Or in some sort of strongman competition. Did you ever see? Go back to the screen you just had. Scroll down to that Conor McGregor video. The screen you just had. That's it right there. See Conor McGregor versus the Mountain? Look how much bigger
Holy
he is.
shit.
And Conor's playing around with him, sparring with him. Look at the size of this guy. And Conor's like slapping him in the stomach. And he's like, come on, I'm going to grab you. Look, he's trying to grab him.
Dude. Oh.
Look at this. He's like, come on, man.
He
Let's
was
keep
like
going.
giving
You're
him a
getting
high
tired.
five. Yeah, he
he's
wanted
getting
to stop.
tired. He's getting tired.
Damn, Conor wanted to keep going.
Look, he's popping him in the stomach.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
He got him mad.
Yeah.
He got him mad. This
Yeah.
is real now.
Oh, yeah. It's getting real.
How old is this?
It's pretty recent. Like before he fought Aldo.
Damn.
Look at this.
He's got big balls, dude.
He's just hitting that dude with straight lefts in the
Look
gut.
at his face. He's mad.
Yeah.
He's mad, dude.
This is why Conor McGregor's such a bad motherfucker. He's so crazy. Like legitimately crazy.
Dude, he's
just,
like Bruce Lee.
he's just popping that guy in the stomach with those straight lefts, and he don't like it. And he knows that dude's getting tired. Look, he's like, he threw his kicks.
Dude.
Like he's pinning his leg together inside his crotch.
She's just getting him to. Oh.
Couldn't you just pick up Conor if you wanted to?
I don't know.
Oh,
He
dude.
jumping front kicked him in the body.
Oh, shit. He's just teeing off on him.
And he's moving. The dude's getting tired. He's so big. Look at the size of that fucker.
He's going to sidekick him right to
No,
the
he just
stomach.
keeps popping him with that straight left. Look at that. This is crazy because this goes for a few minutes, man. I guarantee you that dude is not doing a whole lot of cardio.
Oh.
He's getting tired, man. Look at him. He's backing up. Big, giant, 6 foot what? What is he, 6'9"? 6'9", 386. He's getting tired. He's trying to grab him. Nope, not today, sir.
He's laughing at him.
And he's bobbing his head. He's like, oh,
Dude,
he's
that was like a
tired.
Bruce Lee laugh.
Yeah. Look at this is real. See, look at this.
Oh.
Over and over again. He keeps popping him with that straight left. It's funny, man. It's weird to watch, right?
He tried to give him a high five to stop. And
Yeah.
Conor said, uh-uh.
Yeah. Look at him.
Oh. He tagged him.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but
look, he's throwing.
Yeah, but there's nothing to that. There's nothing to that.
Oh. Dude.
Yeah, he don't
He's
like
got-
that.
Oh.
Oh, he doesn't like it. Those are hard shots. He gave up. Yes, like the back.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Wow.
That was
That was
basically
a-
a real fight.
That was a half of a real fight. That was like a half a real fight, right?
That looked like a real fight to me. Towards
What,
the
we
end,
didn't. They didn't punch to the face.
I don't think he wanted to punch to the
No.
face. That would have been a bad move.
Yeah.
Just stick to the body. You can't even reach his face.
Yeah, you're not gonna hit that face. Look at what he does. He throws a kettlebell over the top of a fucking.
Dude, what if it
A
landed
bar.
on his head?
You gotta watch the YouTube channel or the Instagram page. Is it Instagram? No, Twitter. Jesus Christ, Twitter page. Hold my beer. Have you ever seen a Twitter page? Hold my beer.
No.
Dude.
Maybe.
Dude, it perhaps is the greatest Twitter page that's ever existed. And it's hold my beer while I do this. And they do some stupid shit over and over again. What is this? Hold my beer while I... Oh, that's a good one. He opened up a beer with a football. But that's not... Scroll down a little bit. Let me show you
That's
some
incredible.
ridiculous ones. Do you find the right one? There's a ton of videos of one guy did a backflip. He tried to do a backflip off the top of these bricks. Oh, don't do this one. That one's horrible. The guy's going to karate kick that girl in the head. Look at this.
Oh, shit.
Hold my beer while I kick this can off your head. Watch this guy. Hold my beer while I sit on an airbag. Watch this.
What was the hold my beer? Did they say
Look,
that? Did
No,
they say
no,
hold my
no,
beer?
they don't. But what's this one? Is the guy lighting the guy on fire? Oh, Jesus Christ. The fuck is he doing?
Oh, it's
man?
basically hold my beer while I do
while
something
I do
crazy.
something fucking ridiculously. Oh, he blew up. Oh shit. Okay, scroll down. Not that one. Keep going. That one right there. This guy's pretty badass. Look at that. He actually made it. Sometimes they make
Damn.
it. Yeah. But watch this one.
It's good. Oh, shit.
That guy's trying to do a backflip off a stack of bricks or something.
Oh!
Okay, that's enough. But anybody who's interested, go to Hold My Beer on Twitter. It's fucking hilarious. I try to retweet them at least like once a month. They just find the most ridiculous shit.
Whose Instagram accounts do you find fun? I think the Beastmaster.
Oh, you mean
Derek
the Beast?
Lewis?
Derek Lewis.
Oh,
He's
man.
hilarious.
You got to follow him.
You
got
have
to follow him.
His Instagram might be the best Instagram I follow.
Yeah,
he's
so
always like,
funny.
Did you see the one where the dudes were trying to jump out of the way of some rolling hay? They had a bale of hay rolling down the hill, and the
Yeah.
dude tried to jump out of the way and got fucking launched into the air.
Yeah. He's the most gangster of all shit talkers in the UFC. I mean, who's more gangster than him?
Oh, yeah.
He's more gangster than Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson has said crazy shit. He said, I'll eat your children. I eat your children. And he said, I'll fuck you till you love me.
Right.
But he said that before the fight. You know, after the fight, he's not saying that. You know what I mean? He's not, but when Derek Lewis, when he called out Ronda, that was fucked up. That was
Yeah.
low blow. That was a low blow.
Yeah,
No one's
for
done
real.
that. No one. I mean, even Roberto Duran said something about Sugar Ray Leonard's wife, but that was before the fight. Afterwards, they became friends. I think they became friends.
I think it was after the second fight they became friends.
Yeah.
After the first fight, he tried to hold. That was like one of the famous.
Did you
things,
watch the movie?
That Roberto Duran pushed him away. No, I never saw it. But after the end of the first fight, he tried to like embrace Duran. Duran pushed him away. Like he still wanted to fight. It's pretty crazy. It's a crazy ending of the fight. See if you can pull up the video, the very last moments of the round with the first time Roberto Duran fought Sugar Ray Leonard. He beat him, and he knew at the end that he beat him. And so when the bell rang, he just fucking drops his glove, and he's like staring him down like he's still ready to go. It's crazy. Roberto Duran was a wild motherfucker back
Can you
then.
imagine if after Mike Tyson knocked out Michael Spinks, then when they get in the post-fight interview, he said, "I'll eat his children." Like, Can you
Yeah.
imagine him saying that after the fight? People would go, "What the fuck? Where Michael Spinks' children at? Fine ass."
This is the first fight at the very end seconds. He goes to shake his hand. He's like, "Fuck you." So he comes near him. Look at this. Get the fuck out of here. He pushes him away. Fuck you.
That was after the first fight?
Yeah, after the fight was over, he pushed him out. He's screaming at him. He's like, "Fuck you." Yeah.
And when did he say that thing to Sugar Ray's wife? Before
Before this fight.
Before this
Yeah.
fight. Oh, that's right. He got in his head. He
Yeah.
did that to get in his head.
Oh well, he was just that guy too. Apparently, there was an article written where they went to visit him in Panama, and he took a cat and he picked it up by the tail and smashed it against a wall, and they were like,
Not
what
according to the movie.
the
The movie
fuck?
was he had moments where he got out of control, but generally he was a very good guy in the movie.
The movies are weird. I don't know if they're true, but apparently he did that to a cat. I read the story. I don't know if the story might be bullshit, but I'm like, if he was that crazy, living on the streets in Panama, like becoming the savage boxer, he was so good too, man. He was ferocious. Remember when he beat up Davey Moore?
I don't remember that.
Davey Moore was thought to be the guy. And everybody thought after No Mas, Roberto Duran was done. So they had this kid, this stud boxer, Davey Moore, world champion at 154, I believe.
That was after No Mas?
Yeah, there was the comeback fight. Roberto Duran, when he was really fully back, he boxed up Davey Moore and stopped him. It was a tremendous upset because Davey Moore was a lot bigger than him too.
White guy?
No, Davey was a black guy. Davey wound up getting killed working on a car. He fucked up. He was trying to fix his car and he fucked up with the jack and it crushed him.
Damn.
Could be conspiracy? Yes or no?
Look into it.
Oh, man. So you saw the UFC this weekend. Did you see where I fucked up and I interviewed Daniel Cormier after he had been knocked out?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
here's something that's like people think that somehow or another the UFC told me not to do that and I did it. Nobody said anything. It was just 100% my fuck up. And it was also my idea in the first place to stop interviewing fighters after they've been knocked out. It was 100% my idea.
How often did it happen before? In championship fights, it happened often, right?
Almost always, whether a guy got knocked out or TKO'd or submitted or lost a decision, I would interview the winner and I would interview the loser.
Every time.
Every time.
Okay, so it's normal.
Unless they ran out of the cage, which has happened before.
Yeah, I get it. So you were
Right.
just running on instincts.
This is what happened. I was there for Gonzaga versus Krokop. Remember Gonzaga head kicked Krokop and just fucking into oblivion.
Yeah.
And it was bad. And I interviewed Krokop afterwards. And I'm telling you, that dude had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to the production team at the time, I was like, man, I don't think we should interview guys after they get knocked out like that. Like that was my saying, like that.
Yeah.
And then the one time it happened again was with Alistair. And after when Alistair Overeem fought Stipe Miocic and he remembered this guillotine that didn't really happen, he remembered Stipe tapping rather, and it didn't really happen. I was like, this poor guy, like he really has this memory in his head, and it's just not correct because he just got knocked the fuck out. He got knocked unconscious on television, like completely flatlined. And then a few minutes later, I'm asking him to be coherent. I'm like, I don't think it's fair. So it was my idea to stop doing this, and the UFC agreed. So it's not like they said we got to stop doing it, and I violated my own idea, and I just did it on. This is what happened after the fight was over. First of all, the fight was crazy, shocking how violent the ending was, because John really did fucking hate Daniel, and Daniel I think really did hate John, or at least had real anger. There was real emotions with these guys. It was insane. It was intense. When John landed that fucking head kick and you saw him moving in for the kill, and then he stopped him right in front of us. He got on top of him and just blasted him. It was like right there. I remember looking over and I'm like, Jesus. He was just dropping bombs.
How close to you?
on
Like
him.
real close to you?
It was pretty close if I remember correctly. I want to say it was like right off to my right if I remember correctly.
But you had a good look at it?
I had a real good look at it. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm cage side. I got a good look at everything. But I had a real good look at that. It was intense. It was intense. And it was also, I felt like there was a couple shots too many. So I remember being stunned, like, oh. I'm a big fan of John Jones, but I'm also a big fan of Daniel. And I'm a fan of both of them. I know they don't like each other, but I like both of them. I like them independently. I can't help the fact they're enemies. But I love hanging out with John. And I love hanging out with Daniel. I love doing commentary with Daniel. I love that guy. So I would never do anything to make him look bad. I was in shock. He was confused because he got knocked out. So he was confused that why the fight was stopped. And so he was mad that they stopped the fight because he just didn't understand because he'd just been KO'd. So he was arguing with Big John. I didn't hear the exact words. Then he was arguing with Dana. I didn't hear the exact words of that either. But Dana was in front of me. You got to realize, when a KO like that happens in a world championship fight, and you're standing in the octagon, you're surrounded by all these people screaming and cheering. The fucking noise is so loud. It's hard to figure out what the fuck is happening. So I couldn't figure out what Daniel and Dana were arguing about, but Dana's whole head was red. He was like, that fight was amazing. You fought your heart out. Like, I couldn't tell exactly what he said. Like, you hold your head up high. It was a great fight. That kind of stuff. But I think Daniel was still trying to figure out why the fight was stopped, because it just had happened. He'd just woken up. Then he realized he got head kicked, and then he was really sad. And then he was upset. And I went to go talk to him, and literally as I'm going to talk to him, he's turning to me and I have the microphone. I'm like, why am I interviewing him after he got knocked out? What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I don't even realize what I was doing. I was just in shock almost. Like, I went on instinct and I'm interviewing him. If I had a chance to stop and think, I should have been like, oh yeah, he's been KO'd, don't do it. So in the middle of me even talking to him, I say, normally I don't like to interview fighters after they've been knocked out, but it's just like I was stuck. I was already there talking to him, and I didn't want to leave and walk away from him. And I really do care about that guy a great deal, and I just watched him get knocked out, and now I watch him, his heart's pouring out, and he's crying, you know, when he was realizing that he got knocked out and he lost the fight. It was all awful. And so I put it was haunting me all night. Nobody had said anything. Nobody from the UFC got mad at me. No one said anything to me. There was just me thinking, why did I do that? Like, why did I interview him? I shouldn't have interviewed him. Even though we used to do it for every fight. It was the right move to stop doing it. And ironically, it was my idea. It was my move. I don't even know if I don't know if Brian Stan still interviews guys after they've been knocked out. I don't think he does, though. Because Brian actually said thank you to me for that, because he got interviewed after he got knocked out by Vanderlei. And he remembers thinking, I don't remember what happened. He didn't know what the fuck happened, and they were interviewing him, and he's trying to keep it together for the interview. And he was like, you're right, it's not fair. It's not fair to interview a fighter after they've been knocked out. I just fucked up, man. There's no other way to say it. I just, if I could go back, I definitely would have taken it back. I definitely wouldn't have interviewed him. Because I feel like he didn't, and he sent me a text message saying it's all good. I didn't say anything crazy, so it's no big deal. But, you know, he could have. You know, he could have said I never got stopped. I could have said, you know, he could. You don't think anything. Like, if somebody doesn't explain to him well enough what happened,
yeah,
and then it takes a few seconds and you forget again. That's the other thing about guys who've been knocked out. Like say if I got knocked out and I ask you, Eddie, what happened? And you said, oh, this dude just punched you in your jaw and knocked you out. I'd be like, no way. Hey man, what happened?
Yeah.
Like a few seconds later, you start asking again. When you get knocked out, it's real weird. So it's a huge fuck up on my part, but I was in shock, honestly. It was so ferocious. The final barrage was so ferocious. And it was the way John did it when he heard him. Once he knew he heard him, he just started going after him. And one of the spookiest things that he did was the way he tripped him. You see the way he tripped him? Like, Daniel's like sort of stumbling back, and John just sort of scoops his leg out from under him and trips him. Yeah. And Daniel falls back, and John just moves in on him. And you could tell Daniel just couldn't get his feet back under him, and John just jumped on him and just murked him.
Cormier did great on his feet for a while there. He did great. But I was really impressed with John Jones striking.
Dude.
He throws so much unorthodox shit.
Oh, yeah.
Those stomps on the knees, dude, that's high-level shit.
And the volume.
Yeah.
He's throwing a lot of strikes.
That's his shit.
He was in tremendous shape,
and then
too.
He's throwing those elbows from, from left field, right down the pipe.
Yeah.
He's throwing a lot of elbows, man.
Dude, he's throwing all kinds of shit. He throws everything. Front kicks, throws a lot of front kicks.
Yeah, right to those front snap kicks.
He throws those oblique kicks to the thigh and hyperextends your knee.
I love that.
You can't get close to him.
I love that. I hope he keeps going, because he's evolving so much as a striker. I hope he gets more
together. I hope he gets it together 100%. You never see him arrested again. No more bullshit.
No one cares about that.
I do. I don't want him to get in jail.
If he gets arrested again, it's like he tore his ACL. What's the difference? He'll be back. He's going to be back.
I think,
it doesn't matter. Let him party. He's the king of the world. He's probably the best fighter of all time. Let him do some coke. Let him party. Dana should be getting him some hoes. You know what I mean? Fuck it. He gets fucked up. Hey, that's actually better press.
So what he needs is like a security team.
He should fake DUIs and drunken stupors, like they do in TMZ.
He just needs a constant security detail. to keep everything away from him.
Let him do whatever he wants. He's the king of the fucking world.
But you don't want him getting
You think
locked
anybody-
up. We lost a whole year of him, and then we lost a year before that.
We don't want him to get Tyson. That's for sure.
Dude, he could
Yeah, we
get
don't
locked
want
up
that.
for 5 years.
Yeah.
That shit happens to people.
Yeah.
What you want him to do is have fun, but don't do anything illegal.
Don't let him drive. Take his keys.
Yes.
Take his keys.
Yes, don't let him
And
do
just-
anything illegal. Just
and
have a security team.
Have a rubber party room.
like one of
And
those,
then just lock
those
it. Just
bouncy warehouses.
Go off and just say, dude, you go off for 5 hours. Whatever you want, boom, but you can't leave this room.
You ever been to one of them bouncy warehouses where you can go from one trampoline to the next trampoline? They have
Oh,
like a
hell
whole
yeah.
warehouse
Are
full
you
of them.
kidding?
Those
I
are
take
amazing.
we go all the time.
Yes.
Me and my son go all the time.
Those are the best, man. Those
Yeah.
are the best. So anyway, even though I already talked to Daniel, I felt like I put it on Twitter. I apologized on Instagram, and I was like, I gotta apologize on the podcast too.
Yeah.
I fucked up, and it was just a fuck. It was. There's no other explanation.
What is it? Is it because of the meme of his crying face?
No, I just mean just to talk to him. The memes, you're gonna have memes, man.
Yeah.
You gotta accept memes. It's part of
Everyone's
part
got,
of the
man, there's
game.
so many knockout memes. You have the Rashad Evans one that's pretty popular. It's one of the
Yeah.
most. You have the Jose Aldo one. That's on the underground.
Oh,
right
they're
when you turn
everywhere.
on the underground, boom, it's the Jose Aldo getting clipped by, there's so many of them.
Did you ever see the video of the dude that came up to Rashad and asked him to sign one of the posters of Rashad all fucked up?
Wait, say that again?
Some dude had the balls to come up to Rashad at one of those signings and try to get Rashad to sign the picture, that one picture where he was all jacked and
Yeah, it's
fucked up. He
That's
tried to get
fucked
him to sign that, and Rashad crumpled him up. He thought he was being cute.
What's this?
That's the dude. He walks up to him. He says, "Get the fuck out of here, man."
Oh, shit. Damn.
He's like, "No, get out of here. Go." You want to hear it?
Yeah,
Can
I
we
want to
hear
hear
it?
it. I want to
Yeah.
hear it.
So hold on.
Oh, then rewind it.
So we'll go before that where you see him rip it up.
They're Mexicans.
Here.
Damn it, Mexicans.
See, watch. He hands him the picture. Rashad crumples it up and throws it, and he's laughing. And he pushes him. He's like, "Get out of here, man." He's laughing. He thinks it's cute. Rashad looked like he was going to smash him. He took a picture with his friend, though.
I think it was Photoshop Steve that made he made a Photoshop of like a shot of inside of a plane, and you see everyone sitting down, you see a bunch of people, and sometimes when you're on a plane and you're going overseas and everyone's crashed out at night, you know what I mean? You're walking, you go take a piss, and everyone has their crash out face,
Right.
So he put like all those famous knockout faces on people on a planet, and you were in there too. I think you were wide awake though. You were wide awake, and all these famous like Vitor knocked out over here.
So fucked
That was
up.
one of the greatest Photoshops of all time. I don't know where it's at though.
That's just a price that you pay if you're going to be a part of that world, that public world.
Yeah, if you win, you get insane amount of glory. But you only get that glory because there's a risk of getting the opposite of that.
Jamie Foxx was talking about the other day. We were talking about Michael Jordan, that a lot of people don't even know who Michael Jordan is. They just know, oh, you're the crybaby face. You're that crybaby face. Like, people see that meme. It's like you cease to become an individual.
Why was
Even
he
if-
crying in that meme? What was the original source of that?
I don't know. What was that?
Interview?
I think it was his Hall of Fame induction.
When he won the Hall of Fame. Well, he won the Hall of
Hey,
Fame.
that's
he
not-
was talking
that's
about his
not funny.
haters. He was calling out his haters.
Really?
In his Hall of Fame
What?
speech.
Can we hear
Oh,
that?
my God. It's one of the craziest
What?
Hall of Fame speeches ever. It made people reevaluate how they feel about him. Some people lost like all respect
I
for
wanna
him.
hear that.
Some people understood it. He was talking shit about like reporters and coaches. And here, play it. It's
Yeah,
kind of
maybe
hilarious.
he's telling the truth.
I'm sure. But it's just fascinating to listen to.
Oh, there you
What
go.
if I told you?
No, this isn't it. This is like how to fail and still be a winner and all that shit. Here it goes. Here, give
Let
me
me
some-
hear this shit.
It's 23 minutes long. Try
It's okay. Just give me a little volume.
Let's get to the good part.
Yeah.
Very, very kind and said, "Yeah, I do it." And that wasn't a disrespect to any of my Carolina guys. They all know that I'm true blue Carolina guy to the heart. Coach Smith, Larry Brown, Sam Perkins, James Worthy, all of those guys. Well, it all starts with my parents. You guys see all the highlights. What is it about me that you guys don't know? As I sat up here and I watch all the other recipients stand up here and they give their history, and so many things I didn't know about Jerry Sloan, I know he lived on a farm, but I didn't know he was in a small classroom from 1st grade to the 8th grade. Even David Robinson, obviously, I've known David for some time, and
we're gonna lose
I
the
thought-
audience here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know what the part where he got mad at people, but he was
Maybe YouTube, Michael
long.
Jordan insults whoever.
yeah gets mad. Oh, he mad.
Oh yeah, something like that. Michael
Yeah,
Jordan
Michael
gets
Jordan.
mad. Hall
Oh,
of
he
Fame.
mad. How about Michael Jordan? Oh, he mad. Jamie's eating that cave shake. Those things are the shit, aren't they?
Can I have one?
Fuck yeah.
You have one right now?
Got a bunch in the refrigerator back there. They're all keto too. Yeah, give me one of them.
In the fridge?
Yeah. No affiliation with this company, ladies and gentlemen. They're just good. I don't know shit about them. They might be monsters.
One of these small things?
Yeah, those are good, man.
Do you shake them?
Yeah, you got to shake it a little bit. There you go. They're very thick. It's like a milkshake or some shit. What flavor is this? Strawberry. Powerful
Someone's
strawberry.
gonna gift that.
So what did you think about the Cyborg fight? I felt like it was kind of weird, seeing Tanya Evinger so outsized, fighting Cyborg, who's like, yeah, it's real thick. Like sometimes I eat it with a spoon. What did you think about that fight?
Cyborg is just too goddamn good. Tanya Evinger, she's the only girl. She's tough, and she's out of her weight class. She almost didn't have a chance. Almost. You know what I mean?
She had a chance, but it wasn't the best chance. And Cyborg fought a very technical fight.
She's such a good striker.
She's
Jesus.
super technical now, too. You see, she's not taking too many crazy chances.
Dude.
She's just picking her spots.
She's a machine. And she's really good on the ground, too. Hard to take down. Her wrestling's good. Her work ethic's insane.
She's a legit brown belt, right? Isn't she?
Is she a brown belt?
I believe she is. Last I heard, I didn't know. If maybe she's got her black, but she's legit. What was impressive to me that like Evinger was like trying to be crafty and move around and being unorthodox and throwing a good jab, and she was looking for her spots. She was just outgunned. But Cyborg didn't just try to gorilla fuck her.
You know what?
She didn't just try to chase her down and smash her. She picked apart at her, did a great job of hacking at the legs, landing shots, and then once she had her,
I love Tanya Evinger. I love that girl. You know what's
she's tough as fuck, man. Just to take that fight.
One of the coolest things about MMA is how open-mindedness we are with lesbians, right? I mean, it's no big deal at all with girls. Put her on the Countdown show, 2 girls making
Amanda
out.
Nunes is the champ.
Yeah, and no one, we're like totally cool. We're like all, Tanya Eminger's on Instagram Live making out with chicks at bars, drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's a party girl. She's
Good for her.
And
yeah, you're allowed to be a big old lesbian.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so
And we like
open-minded.
it.
But with
Yeah.
guys, no, we're still in Jesus
There's
times.
only one dude that I know of.
That's openly gay?
Well, he did gay porn. He was on Tough.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah, he was on Ultimate Fighter.
What was his name?
Dakota Cochran, I think his name was.
Cock ring?
No, Cochran.
That's his last name right there. D.
But that was like
Cochran.
that was a part of the show. That's part what they were talking about.
Damn. Okay, there's one.
Yeah. I hope I'm not making that up.
We're way behind. We're way behind because there should be at least.
But I don't
50,
think necessarily.
you know what I mean? There should
he was
be
saying
50
he's
open.
gay. I think he was just saying he did gay porn.
You know what? I love gay people. My favorite singer of all time. He's a friend
Marvin
of mine. Peter. No. Anyways, I have no problem with people being gay. I think they should come out. I lived in West Hollywood for almost 20 years.
You were surrounded.
I was
by the
surrounded
gay
by
folk.
gay people.
Every time I'd visit you, I'd have to swim to a river of gay people to get to your house.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a guy, we're still in Jesus times, unfortunately. I mean, maybe it's not the best thing to come out if you're in MMA, right?
But it's just MMA. Like for comedy, nobody gives a fuck.
Football people care, right? You can't be.
Yeah.
Can you be openly gay in football? Yeah. How many guys? There's 1 or 2.
There's a few. That one guy came out right before the draft, and he got drafted.
Oh, now there's a few now.
Yeah, I think
about
there's a
how
few.
many?
I mean, not tons. It's
What do
not
you think?
prevalent.
What do you think?
I don't know. Probably equal to like the population, maybe like 10%.
What? No way.
No way.
Football? No way.
It's
No
like
way.
50 guys.
What?
You think there's 50 openly gay football players?
Okay,
Hey,
not that quite that many.
Google
but-
this.
Damn.
Google this.
No,
There's
you know
10.
what?
I bet there's
I
10.
want to believe
Bet
you.
there's 10.
I want to believe you.
Well, Google
I'm gonna
it.
say.
All right,
I'm gonna say 2.
Okay, you say 2.
I say 2.
I say 5. Jamie, what do you say? 50? You say
I
a
was-
million?
You gotta say something.
I wasn't saying 50.
You don't
I
have
was
to
just
be
saying
right.
it's close to the,
You don't
the
have to be right,
national
just-
average. So it's like, what, 8 to 10%? So it's probably like
No.
30, 40.
That are out of the closet is what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about.
don't know about necessarily
No,
that.
that's what I'm talking
Right,
about.
the
I'm not-
national average does
obviously-
not consider out of the closet, does it? The
No,
national
no,
average
no.
is how many people are gay.
Yes, but how many people are out of the closet in the NFL?
Right.
I say there's 1 or 2,
It says there's been 11. There have been 11 known gay players in the NFL.
and they all got cut.
I don't know if
Interesting.
they're all there now, but
Interesting.
We're not that open.
No,
Guys are not that open.
there's
Like,
a lot of players. Think about how many players there are.
yeah.
All right, now let's go this way. What percentage of the population is gay versus what percentage of the population is out of the closet?
Oh shit. I think
If you had to guess.
of all the gay people in the United States, I would say I'm going to guess 50% are out of the closet.
50.
Yeah. What do you think?
30.
Are out of the? Yeah, it could be
30.
It could be 10.
Yeah.
It could be 10, depending on where you live. If you're in California and you're still in the closet, you're probably a UFC fighter.
Hey, are you around when the Edmonton fight happens? Are you around during that week? date is
What's
that?
the date?
We got to do a fight companion. This is kind of interesting. This is totally unrelated to this weekend.
September
This is
9th.
actually, what is it?
September 9th.
September 9th. Yeah.
Is that a Saturday?
Yeah, it's Saturday. I'm there on Friday in Edmonton for
You're on.
doing 2 shows at this auditorium.
Okay.
The Jubilee Auditorium, two shows at this theater. But
Okay.
I'm not doing the pay-per-view the next night.
Okay. You
So,
want to do a fight companion?
I go back home. Yeah.
Let's
It's
do
weird
it.
because it's a main event. It's Mighty Mouse versus Ray Borg and Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko. But I don't think they're anticipating that it's going to be a high pay-per-view sell, you know?
Let's do it. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's on. See, I would like to get Callan and Shaw, but Shaw's become too fucking successful. He's too successful. That fucking baller, he's traveling all over the place, selling out everywhere. He's selling out theaters. He's been doing stand-up for like 6 weeks. He's selling
That's
out
incredible.
theaters. Dude, he's selling
That's
out everywhere.
incredible.
He's been doing it more than that. He's been doing it like a year. But he's selling out everywhere.
Damn.
Dude, you know what I
Damn.
said? I was telling all these other comedians, I say, you see what you're seeing here? I go, this is what happens when an athlete shows you how lazy you guys are. Like, this guy's like just starting out, but he actually works at it.
Yeah.
He does like a ton of sets. He writes a ton. Like, he actually puts in the time. Like, that's what athletes do. Comics like to pretend they're working, and they fuck off a lot and keep doing the same material for 10 years. But
Yeah.
Shab is like out there
I'm
swinging.
no expert at comedy, but I think, in my opinion, it's a lot like jiu-jitsu. You got to practice and refine. It's a lot like writing music, because you can't if you're going to rely on just going up there and riffing. Fuck, good luck. Good
Yeah.
luck. It's like trying to write a song. Like, okay, we're going to record a song. We have no idea what we're going to do, but we're going to jam in E. All right, and then we go, and that's the hit song. The odds of that happening, super slim. You got to record a jam, pick out little pieces, polish it, add this. 2 months later, ooh, you got a middle part now. A month later, you got the intro. It's all coming together. Might take 8 months to get that bit together. You know, you're just constantly going back and forth. That's how music is put together, and that's how jiu-jitsu is put together. You got to constantly refine your game. You're out there getting wrecked. What are you doing wrong? What's working? Let's stick to what's working. Let's add some new shit. Learning from other people, techniques, and being open-minded, understanding that your body's magical and it'll do anything you want it to do. You just got to tell it over and over and over again to a point where it does it by itself without you even knowing what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And it's unconscious. You could do anything. You could play piano. You can play guitars. Like, oh, I tried guitar, but it's too hard. You just didn't practice. That's all. Anybody could play guitar. Anybody could play guitar. Anybody can play piano.
As long as your neurons fire correctly.
It's just
as long
practice.
as your hands move correctly,
It's
it just takes time.
Well, yeah, if you got in a motorcycle accident and you smash your
Right.
hands and you're like this, you can't play piano. But I'm just saying, if you have normal limbs, you could play piano, you could play guitar, you can do anything. You could do anything.
Yeah.
You can learn jiu-jitsu, you can box, you can play basketball.
True.
Maybe you never played basketball in your life and you're 55 years old. If you practiced hard for a year, you'd be all right.
I know people don't want to believe that though.
It's hard for them to believe it because they're not reminded of it all the
Yeah.
time. That's why a lot of people coming from jiu-jitsu and martial arts in general, they become successful because through jiu-jitsu, you're constantly reminded that you can suck at something and then you get pretty good at it and then you master it and then it's unconscious. You're reminded of that every time you go to jiu-jitsu. Every day you're reminded, damn, I can do this with anything. And people do it with their business. They go, all I got to do is hustle in the jiu-jitsu of business.
Yep.
And make it happen or whatever you want to do. You're reminded like shit. When I say magical, it's not a metaphor. It is magical because your body will do shit on its own. Like when you're doing jiu-jitsu, sometimes I come up with moves. I don't know what the fuck I did. I did something. I have no idea. And then it comes up again because I've programmed and drilled my body so much and has so many things that I trained it to do on instincts that it's kind of like a suggestion thing. Like when you hit YouTube and they kind of know what you like and here's the suggestions. Like your body will go, he always does this and he always does that and he always does this unconsciously. Mm-hmm. Man, he might like this. Right. And then you're like, oh shit, what was that? It's like your body, someone else came up with that.
Yeah.
And then the next time you do, you're like, there it is again. That's how most of the moves or transitions that I get good at, they come up like on their own. And then the third time I go, I got it. And then I videotape it. Then I videotape myself doing it. I'm like, shit, I didn't even know I was doing that. It was just like, your body will make shit up for you. Everybody, not just me, it's everybody. You just got to learn how to capture it. It's like comedy. People love comedy because they go see a comedian and he's saying all the shit that they agree with and they're laughing and going, yeah. And they're like, I think that this comedian's amazing. He's saying shit that if you're laughing, you agree with it. But all the shit that he's saying, you've said and people around you have said it, you just didn't notice it as something to use on stage. So once it's just like music. Every time you listen to music, like for me, anytime I listen to music and I like something musically, which is rare, I'm gonna find out everything about that song. I don't ever get lazy with that. I find out who sang the song. I download the song. I analyze the song. Like, what is it about this song that makes it so great? Why am I getting chills listening to this song? Mm-hmm. Why do I have this song on repeat? I'm trained musically to always try to capture golden nuggets every time I hear it. I'll be in the middle of a conversation in Japan at TGI Fridays in Tokyo, and in the distant a song would come on, and I'm in the conversation with some people, and I hear it, and I know that I tell the people I'm with, I'll be right back. I got to find out what the song is. I'll write it down. Boom. I just do that as a DJ. It's kind of a DJ thing. So my point is, it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's the same thing with comedy. It's the same thing with music. You just gotta, it's all around you. You just gotta look for it. You gotta train yourself to look for it. Maybe you have to write shit on your hand to remind yourself. Think about it. Then once that becomes your instinct, once looking for shit and recognizing shit and always be on the call for shit. Like, for instance, like editors, dudes who edit videos, every time they're watching a movie, what are they doing? They're breaking down the editing. Right?
Of course.
Like movie makers are breaking down the lighting. They're watching a movie.
That's like the hidden directors of movies. In a lot of ways, like the directors, they get all these ideas, they put it together. But a lot of times, like you'll get on a television show as well, the editor will make these passes at things, and they give you like an editor's first cut. And a lot of times, like the director will look at it and go, "I like that. Like that.
Yes,
that's good."
You don't just get anybody editor. You got to have an editor who knows the shot,
creative,
who knows the. Yeah, you got to be a talented, not just some slave that's going to cut shit together. There's a lot of talent in the editing.
Yeah, there's got to be, especially in television shows, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess in movies too, man.
Yeah, the editors that I got working for me is high level, man.
Isn't it amazing that movies are still in a theater now? It's like one of the rare things you do where you'll go somewhere, like just to get some sort of art where it's not live. You're gonna go to a place still. Like they still have that.
I like that, and I don't know if I've been brainwashed. Because I love going to movies.
I like it too, but
the movie doesn't have to be good.
I'm just saying, it's weird. It's like one of the few places we have left where we'll go and take in media at a specific location. We all meet. Like we go for a live show. We'll go for a live show, but if you're not going to go to see like a fake band somewhere where it's
but
a
it
screen.
is a gigantic screen that's like 100 times bigger than your TV, and the sound is
amazing.
So there's all that.
It's crazy though,
and then
isn't
it's cool sitting with people, and when they laugh, you laugh. And it's you want to laugh more when there's other people around.
But you run the risk of douchebags. You run the risk of people talking. There's so many people talking.
Yeah.
The people that do that, they violate the sacred laws of the movie theater.
You got to go in with big old Como D shades and a beanie.
Ugh.
And a fake beard.
Crazy.
Beards are so in these days. What happened to the fake beard market? Like, why isn't there like dudes like wearing fake beards to clubs and being, you know what I mean? Like poser
Guys
hipsters.
can't wear fake shit. Girls can wear fake asses. They can have fake tits. They can have fake hair.
It's so not fair.
It's not fair.
It's kind of like there's a lot of things that aren't fair, and that's one thing that they got. You know, we can't be the same. So whoever was deciding on men and women, like, okay, you get this, you get that, it isn't fair. Like the women were like, okay, if you're gonna, you get, guys, they can't control it. Guys are attracted to. Girls with nice bodies, fit bodies.
Right.
Generally, there are some
but
guys.
Not just nice bodies. Like, there's something about actual fake tits that's hot. Because it's like, whoa, this girl she's into dick so much. She just wants to be like ultra attractive in a cartoonish way.
Yeah.
Like, look at those giant fake tits. Like, whoa.
Some guys are like, I don't like fake tits. There's still some of those guys out there. You know what I mean? There's like at 15% of the population. Eventually, another generation, those will be all gone, and fake tits will just be accepted by all men. But fake ass, ooh, that's going to take a couple generations. It ain't going to happen this generation. Nobody is cool with fake asses. Nobody. That's the worst shit ever. Don't get it, girls. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, but the gray area is this fat thing they're doing.
What is
it's
that?
not a fake ass, but they're taking fat. They're grafting fat.
That's still gross.
From parts of your body and
do some
stuffing
squats.
it.
Do some squats. Anybody could have a great body. Just do some squats.
No, that's not true. There's some people out there that got some fucked up genes.
There's
bro.
nothing wrong, but yeah,
some hillbilly stick people.
You know
genes.
what? Those people, you got to get good at sucking dick. You got to eat ass.
Not good
you
enough.
You got to eat ass.
No,
and suck dick.
They don't want to.
They
want
have
a fake
to.
ass.
They have no choice.
They want to get that fat stuffed into their ass. They want to re-engineer.
The older you get, the more women eat ass.
I was reading this thing about CRISPR, that they're starting to use CRISPR for embryos now, and that they think they're really close to genetically engineering the first people that become viable actual humans. Do you know what CRISPR is?
No.
Dude, it's like Photoshop for genes. Look at this. Scientists edit human embryos for the first time in the U.S. They're using this new technology, which is way more complicated than my puny brain has the ability to describe. But it's a gene editing tool called CRISPR, and there is another episode of Radio Lab that's about CRISPR. That it might be like a good way for you to get an entertaining but descriptive explanation of it. But they're going to be able to, at least someday in the future, if this keeps going, they keep perfecting this. They're going to be able to edit things out of people. Like, they're going to be able to take away the gene for Alzheimer's, you know?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. They always say shit like in the future.
No, they're doing it now, Eddie.
Okay.
They're doing it now.
All
like,
right.
there's real science behind this. Like, you could follow the science. They're editing things the same way they're making Photoshop, the same way they're making that new thing that allows them to edit videos. They're going to edit genes.
How about those contact lenses where you can play video games and you're seeing like some
that Microsoft
animated
thing?
stuff?
Yeah, I don't think they have that yet. I think they have glasses so far, but I don't think they have contact lenses.
Isn't that coming,
Contact
though?
lenses is
They're
just
talking about it's
theoretical.
coming.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. If you could do it with a glass like Google, you ever see Google Glass? You ever put that on?
Uh-uh.
It was weird.
What's that?
Google Glass isn't around anymore. They've got some new applications for it, but what it was like a glass frame, and you had this little thing in front of you, like a little window, like a tiny little TV that was sitting in front of your eyes, but it was clear. And on that little window, you could see through it, but you could also see like navigation directions, and you could Google things and have it brought up in front of you.
It's like Navy SEAL shit.
Yeah, like some movie shit, but it was like the internet. Like
I don't know about these shakes, bro. I know these guys are your bros.
Yeah, but no, they're not. I have no idea who these people are. You don't like it, or you
No,
have
it
a hard
tastes
time
good.
drinking it.
Yeah, you need a spoon.
Yeah, well, let's not do it while the podcast's going on.
I'm just
sucking on that thing and chewing it. We need a spoon.
Let me
That
grab
one.
a spoon really quick.
Okay.
Real quick.
Black helicopters. They're good though. I like them. You got a spoon or no? Eddie Bravo will abandon you in the middle of a podcast for a knife.
I'm sorry. You offered it. It's your fault. Cave Shake's blowing up now. Their stock's going through the roof.
What were we just talking about?
This AR stuff. This is going to be built into Apple's new operating system.
It allows you to read how big something is?
It's a virtual tape measure that you just hold your camera up to stuff and you can tell how, like, here
my
they're showing you
God.
that how accurate it is up
Oh
to a
my
real tape
God.
measure. But like, see the tape measure staying there. They're measuring the size of a picture frame
Holy
diagonally,
shit.
and it stays in space. If you get what I'm saying, like,
Yeah, I do
in the
get
3D
it.
space, it knows where you're modeling depending on even how far away you are from it. It knows
Wow.
The thing. The other weird thing is, by watching that show, The Planet of the Apps, they just started on Apple Music. I think it was in the first episode. This guy shows an app that he made that I think Apple bought eventually. They're adding into this operating system. They're mapping the inside of everywhere that your camera can take a place or is shooting. So inside here eventually will be all mapped. And this guy said that he would own the map. That's why Apple bought him. So now Apple's going to own it. So they're essentially going to be able to have the inside 3D mapped of every building in the world, or at least wherever an iPhone
Eddie, you're
is.
killing me with that thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck
trying to go over
KFC.
it.
Fuck KFC.
But it's built into the phone, so there's other cool stuff too.
So they can map everything just based on.
Look at this.
Eventually, yeah. Like so, they something came out about Roombas, like that Roombas are currently
Holy
tracking
shit.
the inside of everybody's houses and apartments, and I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with that data, but people got scared they're gonna sell it to someone.
It can be good. You know what I mean? How is that going to be good? We're doing this to protect you. How?
It's
got to be
it's
bad.
not about protection necessarily, but it could be used.
These guys have
Hold
there's
on, let 'em
trillions of
talk.
dollars missing.
It could be useful.
It's not the same people, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, if
Jesus Christ.
you
It's
could
all
just
the same.
The
you could
people that are
apply-
making these things are
you could
not the
apply it
same
to-
people as the Illuminati that run the government.
This could help blind people.
It's all
These are
Illuminati.
technologists. These are
deaf
people that are creating the
all sorts of
greatest.
stuff. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, this is not the Illuminati making this stuff, Eddie. This is technology.
That says Apple.
Yeah, Apple's not the fucking Illuminati.
I didn't say
Although
they were.
Apple did get in trouble recently. Do you know what they did in China? They made a deal with the Chinese government to take apps down from their app store that allow you to circumnavigate their censorship system. People are very, very upset at them because what essentially is they're saying that these apps are illegal in China, so they're not allowing them on the Apple store, but they're illegal in China because they allow them to get away from government censorship. So government censorship has a certain lockdown on what you're allowed to look at online. Here it is. Apple removes apps from the China store that help internet users evade censorship. Very disappointing to people because they feel like Apple kind of like feels like maybe they have to do this. Are the New York Times trying to get us to pay? How dare you, New York Times? No one's paying for articles online. Just stop. Just stop. Who the fuck pays for articles online?
Who gets
Do you?
newspapers still? 80-year-olds?
Do you ever get one if you're in a hotel and they offer you the USA Today? Just see what the fuck the world's paying attention to.
Oh man, USA Today. That's like the CNN of newspapers.
If you had to guess, like what percentage of people actually read the whole USA Today every day?
2%.
No way.
Less than 1%.
Yeah, less than one.
Okay.
For sure. 100%.
But I was just making a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like e-entertainment news for the world. You know, it's like very surface. Yeah, I mean, it's just you're supposed to get it at a hotel. Like, what's going on? Oh, we won the football game. Wow.
What do you think about that? All those
Korea's
memes, all
shooting
those
missiles.
memes of Donald Trump and CNN.
Well, what I think was crazy was that CNN went and found the guy who made the meme and put it online, and they scared him.
Gangster, right?
Yeah, like, what are you doing,
They
man?
threatened him. They
Yeah.
blackmailed him.
But how crazy is that? Like, you don't think that that's funny? Is that what you're saying? Like, he was in the WWE. You know, Donald was
Yeah.
in the WWE.
Yeah.
You knew that video is available, and they put a CNN thing over your face. You're actually mad at that? You're
Yeah.
mad at that. You're not mad at the $6.5 trillion missing, but you're mad at that? That seems
Yeah.
pretty fucking crazy to me. That seems pretty crazy to me. You're going to go after a guy who made a comical meme about the president body slamming you?
Damn, made him apologize publicly.
Dude, how many memes are there of us sucking dicks? There's got to be thousands, right? It's like the golden rule of the internet. If there's a photo of you online somewhere, someone has photoshopped a dick in your mouth.
Yeah.
And now it's going to get even crazier.
There's
with
a
this
lot
new
of
editing
gay
software.
ones. There's probably at least 50 gay ones.
The one
of me
you
and
just showed me, the one you showed me of you and me in a wrestling statue where the dude's grabbing the dude's dick.
Yep.
That's
yep.
just
that
one
was
of 'em.
Photoshop Steve.
But I mean, my point is like that they would get so mad at that they would go after the guy who made it. That sort of reinforces the side of Trump. Like, people don't get that. They don't understand that if you have something that's comical, right? Like that meme of Donald Trump slamming CNN, and then you go find the guy who's just joking around, made a little animated GIF, joking around, put it online, thought it was funny. Everybody got a laugh. You know, oh, he's smashing fake news, ha, 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 ha. And you go and scare that guy. You go and scare that guy? What are you doing? What's going on?
You know what's scarier than that?
You're CNN?
What's scarier than that is that there's still people that watch that shit every day.
Yeah.
After that,
Well,
after knowing that, you're going to still watch it and believe it.
the other thing was a story they made up about Russian contacts. About there's like 3 reporters had to resign. It was a story that was on CNN that like greatly exaggerated.
I think CNN is. They just want to start shit. I think it's not
They
that
wanna make
they're
money.
They just want to start shit. I think it's part. I think it's part of the agenda.
I think this is what I think.
Divide
I think
and
first of all,
conquer.
they feel like there's an enemy out there, and that enemy is the new president. They think there's an enemy, and they feel like they're going to war with the enemy. And when you have a bunch of soldiers that are going to war for the enemy, some of them do some unscrupulous shit, like these people that had to resign because of the story with Russia with the fake facts. I forget what the actual thing was, but CNN disavowed their article, pulled it down, removed it, whole deal. 3 journalists leaving CNN after a retracted article. CNN journalists, including the executive editor in charge of a new investigative unit, have resigned after the publication of a Russia-related article that was retracted. So you can go into the details if you want of it.
You know what? It seems. What if the CNN Donald Trump feud is like pro wrestling? What if they're just laughing and they're just slinging shit back
Dude,
and
I was
forth?
talking to a guy the other day that thinks that. He thinks it's all about setting up China. He said it's all about us going to war with these other countries. He thinks all these distractions are happening, and that's what's
And-
positioning North Korea and China on the side of North Korea.
You know what's crazy about North Korea? They're the most demonized country on the planet. Oh, they're always testing missiles. They're testing missiles. Since the Korean War, you know how many countries they've invaded and killed innocent civilians? 0. How many countries have we invaded and killed millions of civilians? Like 20 or 30 since the Korean War. But they're the bad guy? They're the bad guy? They're not invading anybody. They've never invaded anybody. We invade people all the fucking time and kill innocent children. And come on. This is a big show going on. There's nothing. North Korea ain't doing shit.
That's true, but it is a dictatorship. Like, what's a scary dictatorship? They have
I think
ultimate
that's
control. No, it's not. It's not. The people have been there, have studied it. No one disagrees, Eddie.
I think it's
they
like
have
a prison
ultimate control.
city. I think it's a prison country.
Yeah, they're all imprisoned by their own
For
military.
a show. I think it's for a show.
No, there's no show, man.
They don't have
That's
bombs.
Eddie, they do, and it is scary. But they're a minor league problem in comparison to a lot of other problems that are in
You
the
know
world.
what? I don't believe that because CNN pushes it. So I don't
Everybody
believe
pushes it, Eddie.
Yeah, I think it's all.
There's no
bullshit.
one out there that's saying that North Korea is not a military threat or they're not some sort of a military dictatorship.
I think it's a distraction. I think
Okay.
they're all in on it.
I don't think there's that many people out there.
They've
that
never
are
invaded anybody.
So
We've
what?
invaded
So
30
what?
countries.
But this guy's
since
still
the
a
Korean War.
psychopath that's running this whole country in 2017. That scares the fuck out of
CNN
people.
says he's a psychopath, so we got to.
No, a lot of people do. Michael Malice does. He's an author that I had on the podcast that wrote a book about Kim Jong-un. And, he was describing, was it Un or Il? Which one's Il?
He wasn't even
Il,
raised
the new
in
guy?
Korea.
No, that's the young guy.
Kim
Jong-un is the dad. He did it about the dad. Whatever one the dad is.
Is the kid, the new one.
The new one. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was Kim Jong-il, but it's called Dear Reader. It's a very, very good book and interesting. You find out how fucked up it is over there. It's a system that's set up so that everybody's imprisoned by it. Everybody tells on everybody else. Like they're set up to tell on each other. Like the people that have escaped and have left and gone to South Korea, and they'll tell the stories about the prison camps. People are born in prison camps over there, Eddie.
I think they're prisoner actors.
Oh, come on. Jesus
what I think.
fucking Christ.
I do. Don't get mad because I say that. Why
That's
are you
so
mad?
crazy.
Am I going to get killed for saying
The
that?
whole group of the whole country's a bunch of actors. They're getting a check.
I think they're prisoners
SAG.
and they're forced to do parades.
Yeah, they're definitely prisoners. They're
they are
definitely forced
prisoners.
to do parades.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the whole country's a prison.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
But they're not actors.
They're acting when they're being filmed. The guys, they're acting. That's not real. They're not being sincere. They're acting. They're forced to act. They're prisoners.
But wait a minute. Do you think that this country is under the control of a military dictatorship and everyone's terrified of doing anything wrong? Do you
Yes.
think that? Okay. So
they're all
So you
acting.
think that? What do you mean by they're acting though? They're all terrified. Like how are they acting? In what way?
They're acting like they're in love with Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
and
they
they're
have
terrified.
to. Yeah, they all do that. That's
Yeah,
that's
they're
fact.
acting.
They were arrested. They went to jail. A bunch of people did for not crying hard enough when his dad died. Not crying hard enough. Like people who did like 6 months of hard
When
labor.
they come up with all that shit, then he got a haircut and he made everyone get the same haircut. Look into that. That's
never
all.
heard that.
Yeah, that's a fake story that everyone thinks is true. That he got a haircut and he made every man in the country get a haircut or they get killed or something or get thrown in prison.
I never saw that.
So it's bullshit.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's that gangster. High top, fade or die.
Those motherfuckers don't have shit.
High top, fade or die. They don't have shit? What do you mean?
They don't have nuclear weapons.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, let's just bring you to Washington, D.C. and clear this up.
Hey, I don't believe shit. You know, they're robbing trillions of dollars. I think you should not believe in anything coming from the mainstream media. Anything. If they're all pushing it, then it can't be the truth. There's
But
no
even
way it's the
North
truth.
Korea themselves, they definitely launched a
You
missile
see those
yesterday,
videos?
right?
You
What was
see
the
those?
missile they launched
No, that's
yesterday?
what they say.
You don't believe it?
No,
Who's they?
that's what they say. The
They?
CNN,
Fox News, everybody's in on it?
It's all mainstream media.
So you think they're all in on it?
I
Like,
think
they
it's a
get
distraction.
check?
I think there's some serious shit going on in Washington D.C. and they need that shit. Oh, they're sending out missiles again, and everyone's afraid of World War III. It's too gangster.
What do you
It's too
think is
easy.
happening in Washington,
They're not
D.C.?
invading anybody. We invaded 30 countries, or 20 or 30 countries since the Korean War. We've
Right.
killed millions of innocent people on some bullshit ass wars, and we're worried about North Korea. That's
No, it's-
ridiculous.
it's true, but if
propaganda. We're brainwashed.
Or maybe they are a military dictatorship with nuclear power.
I'm very suspect.
Experts. Latest North Korean missile could strike Boston and New York City. Eddie Bravo, skeptical hippo face.
It's all. I mean, this.
This is a trap, man.
Yeah.
He's got a beautiful haircut, though. Look at that sweet,
Did you know?
sweet fade.
Did you know in the Korean War we made? And this is mainstream news. We made 18 cities disappear in
Oh,
Korea.
yeah. It was horrible.
Dude.
What they did
And
in
then
North
we
Korea
made
was horrible.
we made the Soviets get the fuck out. The Soviets left, and after the Korean War, the United States was like, "What are we going to do with it?" China says, "We'll take over." So since the Korean War, it hasn't been officially Soviets. The Soviets officially left, and then China took over. They kind of manage it and govern it. I think it does. I think it's just like a little prison country that they use as the bad guy. I think
Here's my
I wouldn't be
question.
surprised if Kim Jong-un doesn't even live in Korea.
He's
I think
probably like a
it's just all
hologram.
fake videos. It's just fake videos.
Okay.
If you watch the videos,
Okay.
easily faked. Easily
Okay.
faked. There's no proof of
Okay.
anything. There's no proof of shit.
You're right.
They're showing video of a missile going up. Oh, I believe that. After they're stealing trillions of dollars, we shouldn't believe shit. A smart man wouldn't believe shit coming
So you
from
don't
dudes.
even think that the missiles that are getting launched in the air are real? So all the people
That's
with
like
missiles
stock-
don't really have missiles?
I
So if
didn't
it's
say that.
stock-
No, I didn't say
So
because of
but
that.
why assume they don't have missiles if we thought they had
I'm
missiles
talking about
forever?
I'm talking about North Korea.
They've always had missiles.
That's what they tell you.
Didn't the Russians sell them shit?
That's
Isn't that
what they tell
happened?
you.
Was
That's
it
what
the
they tell you.
Chinese or the Russians?
Everything they say,
They. Who's they?
the same people that stole the
The
trillions
same
of
people that
dollars.
stole the trillions are also running CNN.
They're
Is that
running
what's going
everything.
on?
It's all connected. It's all connected.
Definitely don't
It's
think
at-
that's the truth.
They are. It's all connected, dude.
I don't think
it's
you
all
can have
gangster.
everything connected if they're going back and forth with each other. Like, look what's happening between Fox News and CNN, right? Look at the internal battles.
I think it's fake.
Do you think these guys
I think
would?
that's
do you
that's
think it's fake?
WWE. It's
Okay.
Republican and Democrats. It's a fake fucking.
So they're not really in competition with each other either. They don't care who gets more ratings, more money.
Individually,
Right.
Individually, people are worried about their own check and their own family. So individually, yes, but at the top, it's just a show. I don't believe shit coming from them. Too much faking 6 moon landings. Come on.
Let me ask you this.
Come on.
Let me ask you this. Where do you think, because one of the things that's happened for sure is as time has moved on, as technology has gotten more and more powerful and the ability to, do all the stuff that we can do now with our phones, all the information that you can get like almost instantly with your phone, like when is it going to reach a point where no one has any control over anyone else? Because it seems to me that that's inevitable.
What do you mean?
Seems to me that the idea of these big units or these big groups having control over mass amounts of people, I think at a certain point in time, if technology keeps moving the way it is, more and more people have more and more ability to communicate. You're not going to be able to hide things.
They're doing it right now.
But I think we're going to reach a point in time where they can't do that. Like, they could do that so much easier in the 60s. They could do anything in the 60s.
Yeah. It was easier.
It's
to
so
fake,
much easier.
It was so easy to fake deaths in the 60s, 50s, 40s.
Fake everything.
You could
everything.
fake. It was so easy. No one knew shit. There
Look
was
at
no
how
internet.
Jack Ruby runs up on Lee Harvey Oswald and just shoots him in the guts in front of
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, they look
They
like
just
a-
let this guy run at him with a gun in his hand. They're bringing him in. We've got him, Lee Harvey Oswald. We got him. Oh, what's that guy? What's he doing running our way? Hey, is that a gun? Bang! He just shoots him right in the stomach
And
in front of everybody.
meanwhile, he's probably not even dead. That looks so staged. Maybe Lee Harvey Oswald, they go, dude, we got to send you to an island.
Oh, they shot that dude. You can see the bullet hit him. Shoots him right in the guts.
I think there's land that the elite have that no one knows about, man. That's what I think. I would, if I was the elite, I would have some shit and go, we don't need to tell these motherfuckers everything. You think that the people running shit are like, we need to tell the people. They need to know. They have a right to know.
What do you think Clinton does like most of his days? Think he's just got a bunch of chicks he calls up. Hey,
I don't
what's
know.
happening?
I don't know, but when you watch the Clinton
Sitting here,
Chronicles,
stroking the resistance.
there's they may be bullshit, but there's some.
What's the Clinton Chronicles?
The Clinton Chronicles is a documentary made in the 90s that you can find on YouTube, and it goes through his career in Arkansas and the coke and all that stuff with the CIA, Mena, Arkansas, while George Sr.'s vice president with Ronald Reagan, the Contra, all that shit. Man, there's a war on drugs. That's a scam. They're not trying to stop no goddamn drugs. They'll bust a Mexican cartel here and there just to say they're doing shit. But they're taking all that money that everyone's like, yeah, we need to fight this drug war. They're getting all this fucking money. You think it's just like the moon and all the space shit.
I just want to know what Bill Clinton's doing right now.
He's probably having a good time.
Do you think he has a good time?
I think he's having.
Do you think
to him, it's a good
set
time.
up, though?
I think he's having a fucking great time right now. To tell you the truth.
Do you think they got him set up? Do you think he's got like a sweet house and they bring him grapes and shit?
Dude,
and he lays down.
He's. There's no one's ever gonna bust
What's
him.
this?
It's that movie about Barry Seal coming out at the end of the summer.
Oh,
Tom
American
Cruise.
Made.
Oh, it's probably going to be
Tom Cruise is playing Barry Seal.
How unreal is this going to be? Come on, it's a propaganda film.
Huh. It's not a felony if you're doing it for the good guys. Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna make him look really bad.
I wonder if it's well, maybe they'll just say, "Hey, this is a long time ago."
How can they make it look? They're gonna make it look like
We don't do it anymore.
he was being sent. Barry Seals was a
See the
pilot.
trailer?
He was a.
Here's a trailer. Tom Cruise looking sexy as ever.
They make him seem like a badass pilot.
How does
from
he
the
stay?
Yeah,
looking,
he was a badass pilot. He had his pilot license
Look
at
at this.
15,
Whoa.
and so the CIA recruited him. That's mainstream. The CIA recruited him
Look at
because he was a
this.
badass pilot who
Look at this.
who was
The trailer's really good. The movie
Oh
looks
my
really
god.
good. That's
He's
why I'm
covered in
wondering.
coke, and he gets out of a fucking plane, covered in coke, steals a kid's bike. Wow, he crashed into a plane. How does Tom Cruise stay looking 35? What is he doing?
he's Scientologist.
But what are they doing? Are they doing
They're
something to
drinking
his face?
baby blood.
They like running like those little cotton gin looking things over his face.
Hey, have you
Those little
heard?
prickly
Have you
things?
heard somewhere in Europe? This could be bullshit.
Oh no!
But people like teens that
Oh,
donate
shit.
blood. Old people are buying young blood and getting transfusions.
Okay,
it's supposed to help.
it's not in Europe. It's here in Silicon Valley.
Oh, they're doing it for real. You heard
Peter
this?
Thiel, who's a famous billionaire.
Tell me about that. What do you know?
They found that if you inject young mice or old mice rather with the blood of young mice, it makes them act like a young mouse. It
The
changes
Illuminati
the way
knew
they
that
behave.
shit for millennia.
Well, it sounds like vampire shit. Forget about Illuminati. It sounds like vampire stuff.
Sounds
That's
like Illuminati.
Elizabeth Bathory stuff. So they are doing this now, where they take like these young, healthy guys and they donate blood, and then you go there and they take that blood and pump it into your system, and they fill your body up with young blood.
Does it work?
Apparently, it has some crazy, like, rejuvenating effect on you.
So
And
let me
it's
ask you
super
this.
expensive.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
People freak out when you say, "Hey, the Illuminati, they're kidnapping kids and
Right.
and torturing babies, and they want to scare the shit out of them because they want to adrenalize blood, and they're poking holes all over them."
Adrenalized blood?
Apparently, if you scare the shit out of them, the adrenal gland flushes into. This is what they say.
Apparently, this is what they say.
This is what
Should
they
I
say.
look into it?
Hey, can I just talk?
I
I don't
should
know if
look
it's
into
real.
it.
I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's real. But apparently, adrenalized blood is the most potent. So they scare the kids, and they kill them and they drink their blood. That's a conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy theory. But we're already seeing this with we're being slowly getting. Well, if teen blood is good for you, for old people, I bet some billionaire is going to go, what about fucking toddler blood? What about that shit? What about newborn baby blood? I bet they're thinking a
Well,
billionaire
that was the whole
goes,
thing about
"Damn."
stem cells. The thing about stem cells is getting placental stem cells.
Well, think about all the kidnaps.
Or embryonic stem cells.
800,000 to 1 million kidnaps a year.
So you think they're just taking babies and using them to
Maybe-
make rich people stay alive forever?
If you were rich and fucking a psychopath,
Okay,
wouldn't
what
you
about
do that?
this?
Wouldn't you do that?
What if they can
you
use
were-
CRISPR to artificially engineer a bunch of headless kids, and you take the blood out of them? They don't even know you got it.
If teen blood is working,
Right.
don't you think baby blood would? It wouldn't be a shocker if you found out that baby blood is the best, right? It wouldn't
Let
be
me
a
ask
shocker.
you this.
Would that be a shock?
Is it immoral to have a warehouse filled with headless fake kids? They don't have any head. They never did have a head. They were engineered with CRISPR to have no head, and you have them hooked up to this thing,
And the
they're,
blood is
they're
still the
pumping
same.
blood into these vats, and you go there and they tap you, and you have to like look up and recognize that these
I don't thi-
artificial people.
It's got to be real blood. It
But they're
can't
real
be,
blood. They're real people. They just don't have any heads, so they never have a chance to be alive. They're connected to some machine.
Is this a movie?
No, but probably. I don't know. It's kind of like the Matrix, right? It's kind of like the Matrix.
But we already know teen blood is helping old people.
I think it's 25-year-olds is what they go for. An adult.
So based on the fact that teen blood is better than getting like a 50-year-old's blood, right? Right?
Yes,
So
that's
then
what they're saying.
Toddler blood would be better than teen blood.
But here's
and
the
you
other
don't think
thing,
a trillionaire
though.
wants
Here's the other
that
thing
toddler blood?
Maybe, you're right. Here's the other thing that goes the other way, which is even more fascinating. They took the blood of old mice and they put it into the young mice, and the young mice started acting old, which is kind of fucked. It's
Damn.
like, wow. Like, there's something in the blood, and they're trying to isolate what it is.
Of course, it just makes sense. It's easy to believe. Like, yeah, young blood is probably better than old blood.
Yeah.
It's probably better.
Yeah.
And that's where everything comes from. It comes from the blood. Everything, blood is.
Look at this. Cannabis reverses aging process in the brain, study suggests. Researchers restore the memory performance of Methuselah mice to juvenile stage. Whoa.
Regress to a 2-month-old.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Using a cannabis active ingredient. Whoa.
Interesting.
That's crazy. Treatment opens up new options when it comes to treating dementia.
Now, if
Imagine if weed was what you needed, like just hardcore edibles. We need to ask Joey some questions. He does
Well,
have some stories.
we know for a fact that cannabis basically like 90% cures seizures in kids and even in animals.
Yeah,
You
it
see,
definitely
even
helps.
in dogs that have seizures, you give them some cannabis oil, boom.
Right. But let me ask you this. Why does it fuck with your memory? How come when we're high, we're like, what the fuck was I just talking about?
My theory is this. It's like there's a difference between forgetting something and misplacing something. Like when you go out to Vegas and you get hammered and you black out, there's no way someone's going to say anything to you that's going to make that memory come back of this or that. They can say, dude, and then you grabbed her and then you picked her up and then you told her to get the fuck out of here. And you're like, dude, I don't remember any of that. You lost your memory.
Right.
Even them reminding you and telling you about what happened, you lost your memory. But now when you're stoned and you got all this shit going on, there's weed makes blood rush to your head. So you got so much shit going on, shit gets misplaced. You forgot what you were talking about. But if someone reminds you of what you were talking about, you're like, oh, okay, then
Right.
you're back on track.
It's definitely better than booze in that respect.
Yeah, because, there's a difference between actually forgetting something and not remembering it all. It just you did it, you were drunk, you did it, you don't remember it. There's nothing anybody can do to bring it back. They could tell you all about it. You could watch it on video. It ain't coming back. Maybe the memory of you watching the video will stay in your brain, but no memories
Right.
of it's never coming back. With weed, you're talking about all this shit. You're going to you start digressing and moving to this and jumping all over the place and go, what did I just say?
Right.
If someone reminded you, it'll come back. It wasn't like, man, I don't
Right.
remember ever talking about that. You were just talking about that. No, I don't remember that. So it's different.
Well, I forget sometimes what I'm talking about, but I don't forget moments or instances or facts.
If you were
Have to
blackout
be-
drunk, you would.
Right, you would. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a
Jimmy,
couple
can you get
times.
one of them caveman coffees, those little things? Yeah, everybody has gotten those moments where,
blackout.
yeah, where or just when you know that like you're not seeing things the way other people are seeing them.
Yeah.
You're like, where, how are, like, that's why I don't understand how anybody could do like ketamine. Like people that do like recreational ketamine.
Never done it.
Never done it either. But
Scary.
apparently you go into that K-hole that they
Yeah.
talk about.
It
like,
doesn't sound good. K-hole doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good to me. I don't
what's
want to
it-
do that.
It's some sort of animal tranquilizer, right?
Yeah. Something,
Thanks, brother. What is
thank
it?
you.
What is it? What
It's
was
just,
it originally?
if it wasn't called
K.
K-hole, if it was called Wonderlust, if something was called
Wonderland.
Wonderlust, I'd be like, let me try it.
Yeah, but they call it a K-hole after they've been in it.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
It sounds like darkness. I don't want to go there. I never
They
had
get
the
stuck.
desire to do something that was going to put you in a K-hole. Fuck that. Like acid, not into it. We did that acid podcast with Joey.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I can go there. I was the only guy not on acid, but Ari was on acid, Joey, Lee. It was fucking hysterical. I was like, you got to change the name. You can't call it acid. I'm not going to take anything called acid. That fucks me up.
That's hilarious.
And they should have called it something else. They should
Cutie
have
love.
solved.
If they just call it cutie love.
Yeah.
You want some cutie love?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take some cutie love. What's it going to do? Oh, just make you look at yourself
All
the way
cute
everybody else
and-
looks at you.
yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
That's funny. But Joey would drop some ass. He don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, he's down to have
He's
some action.
gangster. That's the most
Joey's
gangster
been
guy.
killing it everywhere, too. Joey's
Yeah.
been doing a lot of travel. He just sold out the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he wanted to come in and do a podcast to promote it. He's like, I don't even got to promote it, dog. It's already sold the fuck out. Everybody's killing it. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy to see how hard they're killing it on the road. Joey's podcast is killing it, too.
And then the Comedy Store, holy shit, that thing is thriving.
Yeah.
It used back in the day, they had so many like hidden bars back there that it was like collecting dust, spider webs everywhere. Now all those back rooms are being used like the old days.
Yeah.
It's insane. I was hanging out at the Comedy Store all the goddamn time with you for like 2 or 3 years straight.
Yeah.
You'd come pick me up, man. I'd come out. Your car, you'd either like the baddest car on the planet is like just waiting for me. I'm out front, and those moments. You know, the reason I bring that up is last night after EBI, me and my wife drove through my own neighborhood, and we went down my street. I got out of my car. I parked right in front of my house, and I got out of my car. I just wanted to look at it again. I was there for like 15 years, and when I turned around and walked back to the car. Dude, I went back to 2001 where you'd come and pick me up and we'd drive to the Comedy Store, dude. I had that vision. That was just last night, man. It was insane.
It is crazy.
We did that
right?
all the goddamn time. And the Comedy Store, the way it is now, holy shit. Tuesday night selling out?
They sell out
What
Monday
the
night.
fuck?
They sell out almost
crazy.
every night sometimes.
Remember the main room was rarely used. It was just all about the OR. It was struggling. It was struggling. And then when you left and you had that falling out for a while, then, dude, darkness. And then you come back, boom! It's like Jesus is doing stand up there now. You know what I mean? It's so packed and everyone loves it and there's lines outside. It's nuts.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's weird to see because you get to see it in the dark days. You got to see it when I first started going
Yeah.
there, which weren't getting a lot of crowds.
No, just
And
the
then-
OR, and it's rarely
And then
sold
even
out.
that, it took like a few years of me going there.
Selling out, sellouts weren't happening back then.
Not much.
Maybe if Dave
Maybe.
Chappelle came by and did like a set or something, maybe, and
Right.
everyone talked.
Or maybe on a Friday night it would sell out, or a Saturday night in the OR.
Yeah, but just the OR, not like
Yeah.
both of them. You know what I mean?
Pretty
It's-
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's nuts, and everybody, all the managers, like hell, this is all insane. It's
different.
a beautiful thing, man. It's crazy.
It's the internet, dude. The internet opened that fucking place up.
Yeah.
It's always been a big vortex for crazy people too. You
Yeah.
know, always something about that place.
That guy was still
Brought
there
people in.
last week. Robert
William
Appleby.
Appervire. Yeah.
What's his name?
Robert William Appervire.
Yeah.
The weed lawyer.
I'd like to talk to him. Like,
He's a
have you ever
fascinating
talked
guy.
to him?
You can't touch him. You can't touch him. You won't shake hands.
What's the story like? What does he say? Is he?
I don't know. I mean,
Is it
I think
Asperger's?
he's got something going on. You'd have to ask
Autism?
him. There's some issues. There's some sort of issue. He walks.
That's a documentary right there. Getting into that dude.
You know what that dude would do? He would put on a jacket, and then he would like stuff the jacket filled with plastic bags and walk in the rain.
He's like a sort of a homeless kind of comedian who
He
shows
has a
up.
place where he sleeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a place.
And he's been at the Comedy Store every weekend forever. Every
Forever.
weekend. He's always there and he's by himself. No one usually talks to him, right?
yeah,
he's
there
kind
he
of
is. He's a nice guy, and he's all his jokes are about marijuana.
Does he have good ones?
They're not bad. They're not bad.
Oh, so he's a super weed guy.
Oh yeah, it's all about weed.
Everything's
His
about
whole
weed?
act's about weed.
What?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I
that's
never.
hilarious. His whole act is about marijuana.
What does he say? Like,
Oh, you'd have to go and watch. You'd have to go and watch. I wouldn't want to do his bits, but yeah, it's all about weed.
that's crazy.
I feel like he was a lawyer.
There's this documentary about this old lady who basically lives at a laundromat. She just started hanging out there and super nice and started doing people's laundry, and like the owner of the laundromat just like let her live there. You know, she's just a homeless person. She's really sweet, good. She's there all day cleaning up and watching. She's like, I got free security. She's nice. I'm not gonna throw her out, and she's helping everybody. Everybody loves her. And then they did a documentary on what her life. It's pretty fascinating, man. Zach Galifianakis he's known her for years.
Whoa.
Because she's like in Santa Monica, and back when he was a struggling actor, he met her at the laundromat, and he became friends with her. He takes her on red carpet premieres as his date. He hooks her up. They have a close relationship.
That's crazy.
He takes her to legit red carpet, big ass movie premieres.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Zach's an interesting guy, man. He's real good friends with Brody.
Really?
Yeah, when Brody was having some issues, he reached out because he knew I'm friends with Brody, and just telling me like Brody's not doing so good right now. Help him out. Try to keep an eye on him. Don't let him do anything nuts.
Really? Is he's not doing stand up anymore?
Brody, what is this?
You reminded me of the story I just heard the other day. I'm looking this video up. It's not brand new, which I thought it was brand new. This lady was living in this guy's attic for a year. And
what?
The way he found out is he put a camera in because he was finding food missing from his apartment, like in his kitchen. And this lady was living in his attic and climbing down when he was gone to like take a shower, piss, cook food.
Whoa.
I think it was a year. I want to say it might have been a little longer. It could have been a little less. She's like 54 years old.
This is like that movie.
Look at in New York.
What's
so
that movie?
She had this little stool there.
Starts with a P.
Whoa.
I'll show you
Poltergeist?
pictures
No.
of where.
No, it's a paranormal activity or something like that.
Yeah, right. This is crazy.
This could be fake, though,
look
right?
how-
No, it was real.
Look
There's
how
a whole-
quiet
I'll
she's
show you the rest of
being.
the story.
So is she doing this while he's asleep?
I think he was gone at work, and she probably didn't want anybody to know. Like, she was pissing in the sink and stuff.
Pissing in my sink. What the fuck?
The video's time lapse a little bit too, so I'm skipping it.
Oh my gosh, she's sitting there at his desk. This is his whole apartment that we're looking at?
Well, this is just like this kitchen. He just put like a still camera in there when he went to work to find out what was going on.
Dude, I wonder
That might even be him.
how often this is
waking up in
happening.
the middle of the night.
Maybe
get
this is
stuff
a
himself.
thing.
Whoa.
So here's I'll show you.
Hold on, but keep going with that. Keep going with that. Where is she? How did she get up there? Like she went back up?
Yeah, exactly. How does she get back up?
Yeah, where did she go?
That's him, right?
That's him.
Yeah,
There she is.
Okay, so where does she go?
Dude, this got to be fake. No way she could get up there.
Well, let's find out how she does it. Oh, she hears him. Oh, shit. Oh, she hears him coming in and she runs and hides.
Oh wow, yeah, it might have been the middle of the night.
Oh, my God. He got up in the middle of the night and she had to hide.
I don't know.
Holy
How is she going to get back
fuck,
up
dude.
there? How is she going to get back up
She's
there?
been doing it every night, so it's like
But let's see it. Let's see it.
Dude, that is insane. So he leaves and then she climbs back in.
Let's see it. There's no shot of her going back
There
in.
it is, just right there.
there she is.
Okay, let's see that. Oh, shit. It's real.
Dude, she lives in his attic. That's insane. That's so creepy. What did it say, the next morning?
Maybe she
Didn't
has
it
a
say
phone.
the next morning?
Where?
Didn't it say that at the very end of that video?
I missed that.
Does it
Go
say,
to the very
does it say
end of
how
the video.
how long she was up there for? Like, how long had it been?
I don't know.
That's why I was going back to the story so we could get the rest of the.
Go like right when she pops up. Go right back to that video, please. And right when she pops up into the attic area. Go a little bit further back before when she scrambles up. Find when she scrambles up in there.
Going up there right now.
I don't see it.
There you go. Oh, that's
Yeah.
him coming out the next morning.
Yeah, okay, him. So him the next morning. And does he check the video and find out? Fuck, man. You know how creepy that would be? If you're sleeping in the house and someone's in your goddamn attic and they climb down while you're sleeping, they make themselves some food and they climb right back up there. It's like a little human rat.
Here's where she was staying.
What's her name? And how long, does it say how long she was up there for? Do they know? Did she admit it? She in jail?
She insists it's actually her house. He knocked and found a dark-haired woman who said that Jimmy was letting him live there. He called the police, but the woman fled before they arrived. Ooh. Strange.
Wait, it's not unusual to what? Let's see, go back up a little bit. It's not unusual Oh,
What does it say?
but one man was shocked to find a woman. I wonder how often that happens.
It's not unusual to find unwelcome bats,
Yeah.
squirrels, or termites in the attic. But one man found a woman. Ooh, Jesus Christ. What is that?
And some other videos started playing.
Yeah.
But here's where she was in her house.
Wow.
This is an apartment there.
So she had like a little spot up there.
Yeah, and then if you look this up too, this isn't an uncommon story. This happened a few times to other people.
Oh, shit.
They're just living in their fucking house.
Well, there's a lot of homeless people that eventually become squatters. That's a big problem with people too. Someone just set up shop in your house and start living there and cooking and bringing food home, and they change the locks, and then they say, "This is my house." And then you have to actually figure out some way to prove that it's your house, that you didn't send it, rent it to them, or that you have to figure out a way to kick them out.
Dude, you just kicked their ass. What are you talking about? Fuck you. What are you
It's not
doing?
that easy.
Someone living in your house, you're going to fucking try to go to court?
If you look, let's say this.
Dude, you're going to sidekick him right in the throat.
Not maybe me, but what if you're a guy that has a house in Big Bear?
Okay.
Okay, and you're not there very often, and then you go up to Big Bear one day and the lock's changed, and some guy's looking at you through the window. Can I help you? And you're like, "This is my house." The fuck it is. This is my house. And you're like, "What are you talking about? Why are you in my house? What did you do to my locks?" Like the guy's just a squatter.
Dude, you come back with some friends and you just fuck this dude up.
He's got a gun.
You come with guns,
And he calls
man.
the police. The police show up. And the police are like, "You're breaking and entering." You're like, "No, this is my house." "Oh, no, he lives here." Possession's 9/10 of the law. This gentleman's inside the building. I always heard that from kids. Possession's 9/10 of the law. Like, what is there, a fucking percentage of the law? Is the law the law? Possession's 9/10 of the law. Is that real? What? That's happening.
It's hard to say what I would do.
I saw something about it the
maybe
other
I just
day.
let him have the house.
Some woman bought a house, and right when she was about to move in, some woman had just moved in, and she had been there for like 2 weeks, and she changed the locks, and she was like, "Someone leased it to me online." Like she said that someone online, like, was leasing this
Is that a
lady's
scam?
house.
Is it a scam or is it real?
Could be a scam on both sides. Could be she's lying, or it could be someone ran a scam on her and got her to pay rent for a house, and she really thought it was hers. Could be, right? Yeah,
That's true.
Totally. What?
I think I was fooled.
What's up?
Eddie called this video out as properly being fake, I think.
Which video?
That video of the lady in the apartment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fake.
I found a story, apparently, and people are adding this video to that story. So yeah, this on another side, I just said that it was a marketing campaign for a rental website.
The Daily Mail UK put out a marketing campaign?
I mean, I'll show you. Here's a thing.
How
that's
would they
calling it
use
fake
that
right here.
to get business?
I said this video is fake. It's a marketing campaign.
Oh, interesting.
Very
A
well
marketing
done.
campaign for what?
We're at nakedapartments.com.
Goddamn fake news, man. Realfakenews.com. Go watch that shit.
And there's just
That's just like Blair Witch.
So
this
much
story
fake shit.
Seems real.
I believe Blair Witch the first time I saw it. I thought it was real.
Did you ever see?
7 years later.
Did you ever see the Bobcat Goldthwait Blair Witch style movie? He made a movie about Bigfoot, Willow Creek. It's a Blair Witch style Bigfoot movie.
Is it
It's
good?
pretty fucking good.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
If you want to get scared.
I want to see it.
It's the idea is that all those people that go missing in the forest, that's one thing where people go missing that's legit. Like a ton of people go missing every year in the national parks. National parks and forests, they just get jacked.
Easy to pick them off there.
They just get jacked
Hey, if
by
there's
animals.
a market for it, you don't think there's guys out there trying to make money?
I think they're getting eaten by animals.
Hmm?
People they're in deep woods and they're falling down and breaking their leg and getting eaten by bears and shit. There's a lot of that.
For sure, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
When you have someone that, like, if you're in the business, that's a good spot. Get people camping. They'll never see it. They're never going to investigate. They're going to say a bear took them. Easy.
Yeah,
if that's your
bears-
business, that would be. If that was your business, go. What's the easiest way?
Right, but bears
go
do
campsites.
get people.
I know it's
But
perfect.
that guy that got
it's perfect.
just got jacked the other day. Woke up in his tent to the sound of his skull cracking because a bear was biting down on his skull. Oh, how about
How
the kid
often
that
do
got
bears?
killed
How often do
Every
bears
year.
kill people?
every year?
Every year
Every
in the
year.
United States.
Yeah, every year someone's getting killed.
How many? 5?
A couple.
4?
Couple, 2, 3, not that many. You know, a kid got killed at Rutgers, and then the most recent one, a kid got killed. He was in a road race in Alaska. He was racing, like some track event, and he was lagging behind, and he saw a bear, and the bear was going after him. He's like, he called his mom up, said, "Mom, there's a bear following me," and the bear dragged him into the woods. They had to kill the bear. The bear was like hoarding, like covering the body, like protecting it. Like it
Oh,
was
they
his.
found the bear because the mom sent someone out.
Yeah, they found the
that phone
bear.
call.
They found the bear guarding the body, like it was his. Like he was going to eat it.
How much did he eat at that point?
He ate
His
some
face-
of it. He ate
face
some
off
of
or
it.
something?
I don't know. Whatever he could get. Tore him apart, though. It's not a good way to go.
No. How about that documentary with that crazy dude who lived
Timothy
with the bears?
Treadwell. That's one of the best documentaries ever.
Yeah.
Grizzly Man.
The way it was set up too, because the first half of the documentary, you really liked that guy. You're like,
Yeah.
this guy really cares about these bears. And all the sound bites they were using from the multiple interviews that they took were all stuff that were saying good things about him. And you're like, oh, and then slowly it gets dark. He's just this crazy dude out there who's
Crazier and crazier and
Yeah,
crazier as
yeah.
time goes on. When I love when the pilot, was it a pilot
was it
or the
called?
sheriff?
What was
Grizzly
it?
Man.
Grizzly Man.
Was it a pilot or the sheriff goes, I thought he was retarded.
We shouldn't laugh though.
It's funny.
Yeah,
The
you
whole
can't be
thing's
hanging
funny.
out with bears. You can't be hanging out
He
with bears.
wasn't just hanging out with bears. He was hanging out with them deep into the late season where the only ones that were alive that weren't in hibernation were the starving ones. Like he was in a danger zone.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, those bears, like if you're around bears that are eating salmon, you're not even in danger. They're just eating so much salmon. They don't want to try to chase you. They don't even think of you as food.
Is that real?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an area that we, was it the Kenai Peninsula, that video that we showed, where that huge bear wanders up to that dude? It's not even trying to kill him. Doesn't even care. Because there's like 30 bears on this stream, and they're all just jacking salmon. They're eating so much salmon. But this bear lumbers up, and it's like the size of a VW bus. It's so fucking big. And this dude's just sitting there, and this bear just walks over with these dead button eyes. They have those black dead eyes. Oh, they're so creepy. I mean, they're beautiful in a lot of ways, but look at this thing. Look at this thing. Right up next to his lawn chair. Look at this thing's eyes. There's just an eating machine. That's what that is.
That's like a pit bull times 1,000.
Yeah, it's a 1,000-pound eating machine.
And
I
they
mean-
look so lovable.
Yeah, of course. They look like your friends in the movies that talk.
Well, what do you guys want to do
Yeah,
today?
teddy bears.
Should we go fishing? A lot of fishing going on here.
And so this guy's hanging out, and it just starts walking towards him. I mean, this thing is 10 feet from him.
Have
right?
you ever eaten a bear?
Yeah.
You eat bear meat?
Black bear. Yeah.
What does it taste like?
Like a
Chicken?
pig fucked a cow.
Nice.
So look at this. This thing's just... Look at his nails. Look at those fucking claws. Holy shit. The head on that thing. That is an enormous bear.
How come this guy just freezing?
Yeah, I mean, he was taking pictures. He's a photographer, and it shows it towards the end of the video. This guy was taking pictures of that river, which is filled with bears eating salmon. And this is just a full bear. He's full. So he says to the bear, hey, look at the muscles
What is
on that
hey
thing.
supposed to? Is that like code?
Like, just noise. Now look at that. Look at all the bears.
Damn.
Back up real quick.
I'd want to see that
Look when he
orangutan.
turns. Look at
video,
this.
too.
Look at this. Look when he turns. Look at all these fucking bears.
Holy shit.
There's so many bears. So
They're
apparently,
stuffed.
this area, which is overwhelmed by bears, there's never been a death reported there. They don't kill people there because there's so many fucking salmon that they just gorge themselves on salmon and just chill out. But if they're hungry, they'll fuck you up. Like, they'll just figure you out. They're like, well, I think I can eat this dude. And then once they eat you, they're like, I can't believe I didn't eat him before. That was easy. Like, it's like we have this stupid idea that there's a
That was
contract.
easy.
We have this stupid idea like there's some contract between us and bears. You know, that they're not going to fuck us up. Well, they like us. We're cool. Most times bears are scared of people.
Is there
No,
any video of
depends.
a bear and a lion fighting?
I'm sure, right? Probably like China or something.
If you had to put money on a full-grown bear, a grizzly bear, or a lion, what do you think?
I'm going with the lion all day. Yeah, I'm going with cat.
They
Big
both got
cat.
tremendous claws.
Yeah, I'm going with the cat.
He's more athletic.
Yeah.
He moves better.
Cats just fuck everything up. They fuck everything up. They fuck up crocodiles. You seen leopards jack crocodiles?
Yeah. That's
Jaguars.
crazy.
Jaguars jack crocodiles. I bet leopards do too. Yeah, cats are just too fast. They're too mean. They're the meanest of all the animals. And they're one of the rare animals that only eats meat. Like, they only kill things. Like,
What about-
bears eat berries and
What
shit.
about a polar bear versus a great white shark?
I gotta go with the shark.
I think the bear will fuck up the great white.
I don't think he's gonna be able to fuck him up in the water.
They swim. And
Yeah,
they
but they don't
stand-
swim that good.
They swim all right.
Not that good. Oh, this is a mountain lion.
What?
Mountain lion.
They're
and
really
grizzly
fighting?
bear. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, the mountain lion's biting the bear in the head, and the bear's like, whatever, bitch. Barely care that you
Whoa,
bit
this
me.
is amazing.
I barely
And
care.
that's it?
Oh, so it's a male bear and a female mountain lion that's guarding her cubs. So
What
she
if it's
bit
fake?
the bear in the face.
What if it's like, let's make a killer video, and they just take this captured mountain lion and bear, and they just
that's
let
real.
them go at it?
I think that's real. She's just trying to keep that
How did
bear
they
from
get this
eating
footage?
her kids. Because if you just have cameras set up where mountain lion activity is, do you stay away, use a zoom lens? There's a bunch of different ways. I mean, they've gotten a bunch of different really incredible encounters between animals just by filming hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. If you stay in the field for months at a time, you see things. Like, look at this lion and the bear.
Those are some good camera angles.
Look at this, but that's a black bear. See, someone set this up. That's a black bear and a lion. That's crazy. That's not a big bear. That's a small bear and a big lion.
How would a black
they
bear
never
and a
lived
lion?
together.
Yeah, how would they be in the same spot?
Somebody put them together. No other way.
Black lions are only in Africa,
Yeah,
right?
the
And
bears are only in North America. This one, at least. Actually, they probably got some of those in Asia that look similar.
That
What
looks
is
like a
this?
zoo right there.
It is a zoo. What the fuck is that animal?
It's like a lion got in the bear pit or something.
That's
Oh, no,
another
they're two
lion,
lions.
though.
They're two
Those are two lions.
Oh, he's about to get some. Oh, he's taking a shit.
There's a bear in there too? Oh, the bear gets let in later? Oh, shit. There's a bear right there.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what's going on here? This is like some a snuff film.
Well, they do shit like that in like other
Russia
countries.
and shit.
Yeah. I've seen videos where they have betting matches. Look at this. This bear and this lion is like,
Oh,
bitch, that's my
shit.
food. That's a
Damn.
big ass black bear, too.
Make them fight over the food.
That's a huge
What's that
black
lion
bear.
doing over there? Just facing the.
Eating something. They're eating something.
This is way weird.
I don't understand. It's I think they're just probably making bets.
What about a full-grown chimp versus a tiger?
Tiger all day.
Really?
Yeah, I go with the cat. I always go with a cat, especially if the cat's bigger. Like a full-grown cat could be like 900 pounds plus.
Tigers can swim, right?
Yeah.
Do they go underwater?
They could swim underwater. Yeah. They
Tiger versus great white.
great white.
You think
in
so?
the water? Yeah.
You don't
in
always
the
go
water.
for cats then.
Yeah,
you don't
but
always go for cats.
But the great white's so much bigger.
it's still a cat.
There's a picture of
I think a tiger
forget
would
the
surprise you. I think a tiger would take a fucking. If they're taking out crocodiles, great white, they're not smart.
That's true.
They try to eat cages and shit.
I don't think they'd be able to do anything with it though. I don't think it's too much. It's like, a real great white's like 1,000 pounds. Like, what the fuck's a tiger gonna do? Gonna swim with it in its mouth?
They figured out that you could swim with all sharks now. The sharks are like, if you hit them at the right time or whatever, you could swim with fucking sharks,
Right.
except for great whites. But there is one lady who swims with great white sharks.
What is this?
You see this
That's a
footage
killer
this
whale.
weekend?
15 foot. What is
It's
it?
a 14 to 15 foot great white, like in 3 foot of water off the coast of Mexico in this bay. It got hit right here with a propeller, but they found out it was feeding off stingrays. It wasn't like beached or anything.
Oh, really?
This guy gets fucking
holy
super
shit.
close to it, dude. It's
Holy
wild.
fuck. Where's this? Mexico?
So that's why it was
What part?
there. It wasn't there because it was stuck. It
Yeah,
was
the-
there because it was feeding off stingrays.
Yeah, if you watch the whole video, they're wondering if it's like caught in a net or what's going on with it. He gets real close here. You can see this injury on its back. It got hit by a propeller.
Whoa.
I'm not going to show this online. If you want to look it up on YouTube, it's
Right.
Pearson Brothers Winery. Films 15.
Why can't you
foot
show it online?
Great
So
white
we'll get
shark.
yanked.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
really?
Too many views on it right now. It's
Yeah,
Oh.
whenever you
right.
try to put someone else's YouTube video on your YouTube video, you get yanked. Look at the scars on his back. So he got fucked up by a propeller. That's what happened
Yeah, I'll
there.
show you that. It also starts moving around too. Like the guy got a little fucking hairy.
Wow.
Spins
It's
around.
pretty dark.
Wow. Look at the size of that thing.
I didn't know they were so dark.
Well, it's probably just shitty lighting. Or shitty.
That's scary as fuck. That looks like
Look at
a
the size of
submarine.
that thing. Just an eating machine. There's been a bunch of videos that are really crazy to watch where they take a drone and they fly it over Malibu and you see these people surfing and just a few hundred yards outside of the people surfing you see a great white
In
swimming through the
Australia,
water.
right?
No,
Where?
Malibu.
Oh, shit.
Malibu,
Really?
yeah.
Is it on
100%.
YouTube?
That guy's in the water right
Yeah,
next to that
at
thing.
the end here, he got looking at it, he got hit by a stingray twice in his foot. One was like a 6-inch gash, he said.
Oh, Jesus.
So there must be like a school of stingray.
Stingray jacked his foot?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. What are you doing? Are you retarded? Get out of there, kid. Stepping on stingrays, you fuck? Like, you accidentally step on them, right? Don't they, like, bury themselves in the sand?
Hey, is there
If they're
video
distracted by a
of that
shark.
drone filming in Malibu?
Yeah. Pull up great white spotted off of Southern California coast. Look at that. Look
Now
at that.
this is Malibu?
Yes.
This is Pismo Beach, it says.
Okay.
That's pretty
sorry.
close. That's a couple hours up the coast.
There's a gang of them.
And are they great
I believe
whites?
there's one from
Can they tell what
Malibu,
kind of
too.
sharks they are?
Yeah, they think it's a great white. When they get real big, there's quite a few videos that they're catching now
Oh,
with drones.
shit.
One of them, they had people real recently. They evacuated the beach. Look at this.
Look at that. Oh, shit. Oh,
That's so
shit.
fucked
It's
up.
in the wave.
It's right there. It's right there with everybody.
You know what? They should have those patrolling the beach.
Look at the other one right next to
Oh, damn. He has no idea.
it. Isn't that crazy? It's right there.
Oh, fuck.
He's just waiting
That
for a wave, and that
fuck.
shark is right underneath him.
That. Are you kidding me?
Fuck all that.
He has no idea.
He has no idea. And what is that thing?
And then he
Is
gets
that
on this
20
wave and
yards? Look
he's
at this.
gone. He's gone. I bet
Yeah.
you sharks all the time. They were like about to go on some surfer, and then they take a fucking wave and he saves his ass. Dude, they probably are near death often.
Those guys are so gangster. Guys like Kelly Slater and
Yeah, fuck that.
Shane
That's too
Dorian.
dangerous. Jaws fucked it up for me, man. Jaws, I know that's brainwashed and all that, but it worked.
that wasn't
it worked.
brainwashed. It's a movie.
Yeah,
Do you know
it
what
got
Jaws
me.
was about? You know when it was what the inspiration was?
Well, it's some real shark that was.
Real shark attack in freshwater. It's real crazy. There's a shark called a bull shark that swims from the ocean up rivers into freshwater and can get as far north as Illinois.
What?
And they're the most aggressive sharks. They killed a bunch of people in a river in New Jersey. Yeah, I think it was like the early 1900s. I want to say like the 1930s or some shit. They killed a bunch of people in a freshwater river in New Jersey. So these people would be swimming. Hey, let's go swimming. All right, everybody. And they didn't know shit back then. And then you just see just get torn apart by sharks. I think it happened. Where's that one?
Indiana side of the Ohio River.
The Indiana side of the Ohio River, and they catch a fucking bull shark. Do you know how crazy that is? That thing got
adapted.
all the way up the river in fresh water. They're the only shark that we know that can do that, and weirdly, it's one of the most aggressive sharks. I don't think we know of any other sharks that go up fresh water like that, right? Isn't that the only one? I think that's the only one. Could travel up rivers. They have been known to travel as far up as Indiana in the Ohio River. Although there have been recorded attacks, they're probably responsible for the majority of near-shore shark attacks, including many attacks attributed to other sharks. See if you could find the inspiration for the movie Jaws, shark attacks in New Jersey. Because it was all in fresh water. That's what's fucked up about it. It wasn't even like the movie Jaws where it was actually in the ocean. Like, these people had no idea. They had no idea. 1916. Imagine all that. People were like babies back then. They didn't know shit. They just landed on the coast of America. 1916. How long have we been here? 1776 to 1916. These people just got there.
No airplanes.
They're there 100 years. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, you think 1916 in 2017, when you sit back and think about it, 1916 was essentially 100 years ago, 101 years ago. And just 100 years before that, you got 1816. 100 years before that, you got 1716. So it's like the beginning of the country. Just a couple of hundred years into the beginning of the country, and that was just 100 years ago. Great white shark attacked 5 people near the Jersey Shore. This is a different story. Unless they called it a great white shark and it was a bull shark. Is that... I think that's different. I think that's a different story. There was a bunch of attacks on a river in New Jersey in the early 1900s. I don't think that's the one. I think that's a different one. There's obviously been a bunch of attacks.
Spring Lake and into Matawan Creek.
Is that it?
Road Great White.
But the one that's a rogue great white, huh? That's different. I thought it was a bull shark.
That's just what this says.
Well, when's this story from? The story's 1916,
2012 from the
2012. Huh. Well, if it's in the Smithsonian, you gotta think that's probably right. I could have swore it was bull sharks though, and it killed more than one person. Either way, fuck sharks, right?
Yeah, I don't fuck with the ocean.
Do you go fishing?
No.
You're not into it?
No, I'll probably get into it for my son. I'll probably get into it. He likes it, but I ain't trying to go way out in the ocean. I have no desire to go. I like watching it on DVDs and shit. The deep and, the deepest part of the ocean. Like, I forget what it's called.
James Cameron, where he goes down that submarine.
There's like a
Mariana Trench.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like shit like that. There's a lot of mysterious shit that goes on there.
Do you know where the best place to go shark fishing in the world is?
South Africa?
Right off Catalina.
Really?
Dude, it's one of the best spots in the world. They catch these giant mako sharks, and they taste good. You can eat them.
Gross.
People get mad at you, though. That's the new thing. People
What's
get
the new
mad
thing?
if you eat sharks. If you kill sharks, people get mad.
Yeah, they shouldn't be mad at that.
But they don't get mad if you kill, like, a tuna. Tuna's okay, but sharks are bad because people have been brainwashed into thinking that people eat shark fin soup and they waste the shark. So then people start thinking of shark fishing, like they think of trophy hunting, like they think of like killing lions or something like that. You're just killing it for no reason. You're not eating it. Like they don't
What about
realize like
killing
mako
dolphins
shark.
for food? You like that?
Nobody does that.
The Japanese do.
No, they just kill them. They kill them because they're getting in the way of their tuna production.
And they eat them too.
Do they eat them too?
Yep.
Really?
They eat them. They make dolphin burgers.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh. Seems wrong.
They trap them in a cove and just
Yeah, but I
fucking
thought-
harpoon them,
I
man.
thought when they were doing that, they were just killing them because they were getting in the way of their tuna.
They don't waste shit. They're not going to just waste that.
Really? They eat
They
'em?
that shit.
Have you watched?
I've seen a documentary. It could be bullshit, but it seemed legit. But
Doesn't it
who
feel
knows?
weird? It feels weird, right? Like eating a dolphin seems fucked up.
Didn't the Japanese they were totally into killing whales all the time? Or don't they still do that?
Whaling, yeah.
Yeah, they still
Yeah.
fuck whales up. That's pretty fucked up, right?
Definitely. They use it for all kinds of stuff, right? They would eat the whale blubber. You know, one of the things they do now, they kill whales under the false pretense of they're trying to do scientific research.
Yeah.
They're allowed to do some scientific research on whales, so they kill a few whales, and then they take those whales that they kill and they sell whatever parts. Which is
Smart.
kinda
That's
fucked up.
gangster.
It
If
is.
I was in the Illuminati, I'd be like, I'd green light that shit. That's a good
I
one.
don't think it's the Illuminati. I think it's the Japanese fishing market that's always been doing that. They've been selling and buying and killing whales forever. And so then when these new environmental standards got raised,
Yeah.
they said, oh, yeah, well, we have to do a little research. We got to do a little research.
Perfect.
Those that company or that group, the Sea Shepherds, do you know who they are? They're the ones who bust people who are whaling in illegal whaling. Because otherwise, you got to think, if you find some whaling boat in the middle of the fucking ocean, think how big the goddamn ocean is. There's a boat out there somewhere in the middle of it that's whaling. How are you going to find them? What are you going to do? They go out there and ram these boats, and
Don't they shoot like air guns or something like that at them? Or like water guns?
They do a bunch of shit to try to disrupt it,
Yeah.
and then they try to
Isn't
expose it.
Isn't there a TV show about it?
I think so. Whale Warriors or something like that.
Yeah, they shouldn't be fucking whales and dolphins. I
It's
draw
weird
the
though, right?
line.
Yeah, they're too smart.
Cows
right?
okay. Cows okay. Chicken's
cows are
okay.
dumb. Cows are dumb.
Hey, chicken, not that dumb. Have you seen those videos of the cows that
They
had-
got loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in a
Seem
slaughterhouse.
they
and
seem
let 'em
like
go.
they're smarter than we think. What about octopus? How smart they
definitely
are.
happy.
And you go
Yeah.
to some restaurants and you can eat a live octopus. You just boil them.
I went
That's
to
fucked up.
Italian restaurant. They had it on the menu last night. Grilled
Dude.
octopus.
Those-
I've had it before.
We've talked about it on the podcast. They're smart as
Delicious.
fuck.
They are smart as fuck. But you know what?
Look at that.
They're smart.
It's gonna go through a hole. Watch. It's gonna a tiny.
Yeah. Little tiny asshole, right?
Yeah,
Where's the hole?
right there.
The hole in the wall?
Yeah.
I got obsessed with octopus videos for a while. I want more. I want. They got to pour fuck NASA and $18 billion. Put some more money into
Octopuses.
octopus, dolphins, monkeys.
Where's that thing going?
Just out the boat.
Whoa. Just going through that hole in the wall?
Yep.
Right out the side of the boat. Wow.
Look at that shit.
That's an alien life form. I mean, it might as well be from another planet.
Yeah.
If you found that on another planet, you'd be so excited.
Did you see the one the guy released it into the water and it like came up? And it said it came up to thank him.
Look at that
But
shit.
It's hard to tell if that's
Look
what
at
it
it.
did.
Piling out of that crack. Just slowly.
That head went through
Compressing
that.
itself.
The head, the
The head.
brains, everything.
Yeah. The only thing
What
that it has
the
to worry about is the beak. I don't think they have like a classic brain like we think of. Look at that. That's nuts.
Through a little
Still-
tiny hole.
And right at the end of it, you scoop it up with a net. Psych. He tried too hard, but I saw it coming, bitch. It's crazy.
You eat octopus?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think they'd eat us too. I don't think they're
Some
nice.
octopus attack
Yeah. I don't think they're nice.
up north, like
I think
in Canada.
They're worried that we're assholes, and they're probably right. But I don't think there's a lot of morals going on in the octopus community. Did you ever see that one video of octopuses that were taking out sharks in an aquarium? They had this big ass aquarium.
Yeah.
They kept missing sharks. They're like, "What the fuck is going on?" It's like someone's killing our sharks. And then they put a video. They set it up, and they found
Videos
out.
always, octopus always get busted with hidden cameras, right? There's so many hidden camera videos of like pet octopuses getting out of their aquarium.
Oh yeah, and going into another aquarium and jacking the fish, and then climbing back in. Look at this.
Do they
Swat.
attack each other? Do octopus attack each other?
That's a very good question. Octopus wars. I'm sure they have them, right? Look how he fucks this shark. Doesn't have a chance.
It's a tiny shark.
It is a tiny
That's like
shark.
a baby. That's like a toddler.
Still doesn't have a chance. Do you know that they feel like they're pretty sure that they found fossil evidence of enormous suction cups, which would indicate that at one point in time there was a thing like a kraken, like an enormous 100-foot long octopus.
I believe that. They
Yeah.
probably still exist.
Probably, right?
We don't know shit about the ocean.
Well, you seen those giant squids, right? You ever seen those?
Yeah.
You ever seen that one they found when they had one of those offshore oil things? What are those things
Do they have it
called?
on YouTube? Giant
Yeah.
squid?
What's that offshore oil rig alien squid?
Or the biggest
They
squid
found this
the biggest
fucking
one.
squid. They found this fucking squid, that one. They didn't even know this thing existed until they had a camera set up and look at that fucking thing. It's got like crab legs. They found this enormous giant squid in the ocean. They didn't even know it existed until they got this video.
Look how big that shit is.
It's huge.
It's like it has like curtain
like
rods.
arms. Like go back to that
Whoa.
image, Jamie, and freeze on it. Like
It's hard to tell. We need something like a boat next to it, or it's hard to tell how big it is.
well, they've caught them. They've caught giant squid now. The giant squid used to be like a rumor. They used to find dead ones occasionally,
that.
but now
Look how
they've
straight
found them and
it's-
caught them. Yeah, it's huge, man. It
What
looks
the
like an alien.
fuck?
Like that thing looks like an alien. Like look at his like crab-like legs where it bends.
I wonder how smart they are. They should do some experiments on giant squids.
Maybe they're just stupid. Octopus are smart and they're just good for sushi. They make a hell of a sushi. Tell you that. I like
What?
squid sushi.
Ugh.
I like it. You don't like sushi, huh?
I don't like seafood at all.
You
I
have
like
weird
canned tuna. I
taste,
like
man.
canned tuna.
What about
And
sardines?
No fucking way. That's the
What
worst
about
shit ever.
Oysters?
Hell no. But I do like black cod. Or is it black cod? Yes, from the east. It's like from
Oh,
like
you're racist. I see what's
yes.
up.
I don't like white cod. It's black cod. They serve it. It tastes like candy. I like that.
Oh,
shit.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like miso cod. Yeah.
I don't know what's miso. I think it's called black cod.
Yeah, black cod with like a miso dressing.
It's so good.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
Sweet.
Asian restaurants. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
That's
Anything
nice.
that tastes fishy, like salmon, I don't like that
Yeah.
shit. Trout,
Really?
Not into. I don't know.
Man,
I'm not
like
into
a
it.
Very different taste.
I
City,
wish.
Bravo.
I wish I was into it. God damn it!
You don't eat,
Sushi
like-
sounds so.
you don't ever
like so
eat,
much
like-
fun. Like let's go to sushi and
What
do
about
shots.
organ meat? Organ meat? You ever
No.
eat liver?
No.
So good for you.
I want shit that doesn't remind me that it used to be an animal.
You have no desire to
Like that's why I like McDonald's because I know that shit ain't meat.
What,
Eventually,
what if you were on a farm? If you were on a farm and the only way to eat was you had to shoot a cow and butcher it and grind it up, how would you handle that? Would you do it?
I'd get used to it.
You get used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure I would. If I had to eat, if I was starving and I had my
Would
family,
you
I'd
would
kill
you
a
go
cow.
vegan or would you just kill the cows?
What was the choice again?
Go vegan.
No,
You're on a
but what was-
farm.
I'm on a
You got to
farm.
get all your food from the farm.
I got to get on. Okay.
Yeah, like say if like we're in some like Day of the Dead fucking
I'd have chickens.
Night of the Living Dead,
Chickens.
Walking Dead zombie scenario. You kill chickens.
Chickens, no problem.
No problem, right?
No problem.
You wouldn't kill cows.
I think God put chickens on the planet for us. I think
Interesting.
animals eat other animals, right?
It's true.
That's what we do.
Do
Every
you think
animal
God
eats
is
other
out there
animals.
deciding? Let's just leave these chickens out there for the people. Man, I
think-
can't believe
come
they're
on.
eating dogs. And then like God would go, what
Dogs,
the
that's
fuck?
bullshit.
What the fuck?
It's-
Chinese people? You have a
Yeah.
festival?
Yeah.
We're just eating dogs?
How about the Indians think cows are sacred and we eat them, they must think we're fucking crazy.
Well, certain parts of India, right? What is that? Is it just the Hindus that think that?
I think most of India.
What do you think that's from?
Just culture.
Mushrooms.
Maybe.
For sure.
Oh, that's right. The
For
mushrooms,
sure.
Yes.
Psilocybin
yes.
grows out of cow shit.
It only grows out of cow shit?
Predominantly.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
You can find it in fields.
You need to get a couple cows. You got chickens and shit. Dude, are you kidding? You make your own mushrooms.
You can get your own mushrooms. So mushrooms
But
are not
make
hard to
your
get.
own.
That's right.
All
You can
food's
buy
easy
kits.
to get.
You can buy kits. You
know
make
what
them
it-
in your closet.
You know that conspiracy theory that McDonald's doesn't actually use real meat? You know, some
yeah.
people call it but some people believe it, and it's easy to believe. Eventually, it's going to come out that they're using some other kind of shit, fillers or whatever. That it's not.
Don't
real
they
meat.
already admit they use some sort of filler?
Yeah, but
Okay,
they're not
let's guess.
admitting that they're not using meat.
In the
That
McRib, I
McDonald's has never said we don't use meat.
Hold on. What?
In the McRib,
What do they say?
that same compound that they say is used in yoga mats or something, that fake rubber compound.
Come on.
Yeah.
But they're
I'll
not.
look
McDonald's is not out there saying, "Hey, we don't use real meat." They're saying 100% beef.
Dude, I just got
In their
sick.
commercials,
Yeah, but they
they're
don't say
advertising-
that for about the.
they say 100%.
McRib.
But here's a conspiracy theory: is that 100% beef is actually just a name. It's a trademark,
Oh,
and that's
that's
their company.
right.
I don't know if that's real.
I read that
So when they say
somewhere.
100% beef, that's just the name of the company
I
that
read
makes
that.
the beef.
I read that was. I don't-
That's the ultimate mindfuck right there, right?
Right, yeah.
But you know what they do?
What?
All they need to do is little by little say, yes, we don't use. First, they have a fake meat.
vegan burger.
Yes, fake meat, and then
healthy.
slowly tell people inch by inch that, oh yeah, we don't use real meat. Real meat's bad for you. It causes cancer. Why would we're helping you? We're trying to save you. You don't want to eat meat.
I feel like that was shut down. I think 100% real beef was like shut down. Like they were trying to make a product called 100% real beef. What a sneaky fucking loophole. What kind of
Are
a
you
monster?
shocked?
Yeah, no, I'm not. But what kind of a monster would do that? Create a fake meat and call it 100% real beef. And that was the name of the meat. Like, you know, what's your dog's name? Oh, my dog's name is 100% real beef. Like, you're just naming it, right?
Yeah.
You're just making a name.
Yeah.
That's so fucking sneaky.
Is that true? I don't know. It could be a myth.
Is that true, Jamie?
What's that?
Oh, sorry, listeners.
I was reading this thing about the Subway, Newsweek, McDonald's
Oh,
yoga mat.
did McDonald's try to copyright the term 100% real beef and use it on patties that weren't all beef? I think they did. I feel like someone did that. I don't know if it was McDonald's, but I feel like you're right. I feel like I
wouldn't be
remember-
surprised if it's true, but it could be a hoax.
I remember it. You know,
It's hard to tell what's real these days.
yeah. We could look on Snopes, but nobody trusts them anymore.
Snopes said it was false, but I won't do that. I'll find another source.
Yeah,
Oh, what
you
does
can't-
Snopes say?
You can't
Said it was
trust.
false.
You can't
What do they
trust
say
Snopes.
about it? What's caused the rumor? Well, Snopes is falling
What
apart
they're saying?
right now.
What's false? They're saying
Don't
what's
do that.
false.
Don't do it.
Oh.
Don't do it. You can wait. You're hungry. Are you training again? How's your back?
My knee's fucked up. It popped out again Saturday.
Again? Oh, no.
I did a seminar in Oceanside, 10th Planet Oceanside, and it fucking popped out again, dude. I was on the floor. And then this time, I was like, I can't squat down for a long time because I was squatting down giving Kyle Bame, a brown belt out there. He's a badass grappler. I was just giving him some rubber guard advice while I was squatting on the balls of my feet. You know, when you're on the balls of your feet.
And it blew out there?
And when I stood up, that's how it blew out originally. And when I stood up, the thing popped out. And I'm like, oh shit! I was in serious pain. And then I straightened up my leg, and it popped back in, man. So I'm gonna need surgery because the doctor said for 6 weeks, because that happened 6 weeks ago, and the doctor said make sure you don't do anything stupid on it for the next 6 weeks, because if it pops out again, my ACL was hanging on by a thread. It's probably all gone now. It's probably all gone. My knee's fucked up, so I'm gonna need surgery. I'm just gonna do it, but meanwhile, I'm just gonna lift hard. I'm just gonna make sure while my knee's recovering, my upper body is strong as hell.
But
so when
did
I
you
come
talk
back,
to Dr. McGee? Dr. Roddy McGee?
Yeah, I talked to him.
Well, they have a new way of attaching the ACL where they don't have to give you a cadaver graft anymore. When did you talk to him?
before it popped out again. So I need to talk to him again.
Well, this is what they're doing now. They're changing the recovery times drastically because the old way, what they do is they take a cadaver graft, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they take a piece out of a dead guy, or they take your hamstring,
Or
whatever.
patella.
Patella. I had the patella done, and I had the cadaver done.
What's better, you think?
the cadaver.
But the cadaver, it can get infected and then it gets real
I've
bad.
never heard of that happen.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I haven't had it happen to me. Mine went super smooth. I
Okay.
did all my rehab. I did a good job of the rehab. I was
And the
on it
cadaver
every
knee
day.
is good?
It's great. It's great.
Really?
My cadaver knee doesn't bother me even a little.
You had ACL?
Both
done-
ones.
Both?
Both.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And you see what I could do with my
What ye-
legs.
what year
Think
did
about
you do that? What year?
94 with the patella tendon graft, 2003 with the ACL.
with the
That was when
cadaver?
I got jacked. That was when I got my biggest.
Wait a minute.
All I
so,
did was lift.
So the first one was done with the patella graft?
Yes.
Not a hamstring?
No.
And then the second one in 2003 was done
Cadaver.
with the cadaver. And
Yeah.
and both knees are good?
Oh, yeah.
They don't pop out?
No.
Did it pop out? Is that how it ripped before it slid out?
Well, the first one fell. I tore it kicking the bag. I was tired. And I was doing rounds on the bag, and I threw a kick, and my leg was planted, and it didn't. My foot didn't pivot. I was just doing rounds. I was real tired. I was trying to push
So it's your
myself
pivot
real
leg
hard.
that went out.
Exactly. And I was 21, and I think I had heard it before then. I just didn't realize how bad I had heard it, and then I heard it again. It popped. Like I felt it explode in the gym, and then I went to the hospital, and they checked it out, and the whole deal, and I eventually got it fixed. And then the other one, no, you know what? I heard it a couple different ways. But anyway, point is, it blew out. My second one that I got done, it was in jiu-jitsu class. I was in half guard. I was on top, and someone had the lockdown sideways. So instead of straightening me out normal, like, you know, where your leg bends and extends, it hyperextends, it went this way, like against the side of the knee. And it just was a weird angle, and he straightened his leg out, and it just pop. You could hear it snap like a carrot. Snap! And I didn't even know it was broken. I thought it was just really painful. And then the next day I was actually walking around okay. And I didn't think anything was wrong. I thought it was just really sore. And then I was moving some stuff around in my office, and it just went doink.
It just fell out of the socket,
It
slipped
just
out.
Gave out.
Yeah.
Just gave out. And I knew that feeling before because of my other knee.
And then did you have to straighten it out and pop it back in?
No, it did. That wasn't a problem because there was no meniscus tear on the right one. The left one had meniscus tear as well. Remember one time I blew that out in class and my leg locked? Do you remember that? And you had to drive my car?
How can I forget that?
He drove me to the doctor's
How can I
house.
forget driving your NSX stick shift and I was grinding the gears? Your knee was tore apart. You're fucking pissed driving, you know, because your knee, and I'm fucking up your car, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't you know how to fucking drive a stick? I'm like, dude, I haven't driven a stick in forever.
It's easy.
Fuck sticks.
Sticks are the easiest.
It's all about automatics, baby. It's
You know,
2017 and people still got sticks? What the fuck is going
I
on?
get all my cars in
Come
stick.
on, man.
I love sticks.
How are you supposed to text?
I don't.
And I'm kidding.
I FaceTime everywhere.
That's not a good joke.
Yo, yo, yo.
People get in wrecks texting.
They do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, how many people have been in wrecks while they're FaceTiming? I saw some dude FaceTiming on the highway. I've seen a couple people do it. FaceTiming while they're driving. Yeah, I'm on my
Holy
way.
shit.
Gonna give you that sweet dick. I'm on my
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I love driving stick shifts, though. I prefer it.
I don't like it.
Maybe you'd like it if you drove a sports car.
Why don't you get one of those engines that you crank like in 1910? Would you like that? Yeah, dude, I
don't
feel like
think
I
they
have
have
control of
those
the
anymore.
engine. Hey, if they made them, you would get them.
Maybe.
What if you had to start your car by cranking it? Fuck yeah, what a...
Yeah, but you don't feel like there's some fun in shifting the gears, like.
You know what it was? You know what it was? Is when my first car was a 1977 Pinto station wagon, and I got it for $550, and it was a stick shift. I always wanted... the cheaper cars were always stick shift. I could only afford the
Right.
stick shift. The more expensive cars had the automatic. And I guess it was just, I was brainwashed into thinking, fuck, one of these days I'm going to be able to drive an automatic. Fuck this manual bullshit. And I think it was just a mind fuck. So once I got my first automatic car, I'm like, fuck, stick shift. You could just...
I had a bunch of automatics, and then I got a stick shift. I had a bunch of like muscle cars, and then I got an Audi Fox. It's a tiny little Audi car. It was a little front-wheel drive car, and it was a stick shift. It was like a zippy little car, like I loved it. I was like, ooh, I loved like shifting the gears. But it wasn't until I got my first NSX. I had two NSXs. I had the NSX in 95 or 6, maybe 97, and then I had another one that I got in like 2004.
It was a badass car.
I love those things. They're so different now. Now the new NSX is like this big technological spaceship thing.
I like it.
It's dope.
You
It's
gonna get
dope.
one?
I don't think so. But it's a different thing. I like the little cars that you're in control of. Like I don't like the like big electronic car. That's why I like the Porsche, because that thing's light. It's light and you control everything. You feel it. You feel the road. Like if you're in a sports car, for me, like a fast car, you want to feel everything. Mm-hmm. Makes it exciting. You don't like any of that shit.
I don't know. Maybe
you don't even like liver.
What was that?
You don't even like liver. Like you and I are very different. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't like liver.
Sliced hearts. There it is. There's the NSX. Look at that.
That looks
thing.
incredible,
Spaceship.
Dude. It's already out?
Oh yeah. Not only is it out, they just released an NSX GT3. So if you want to race, if you want to be a race car driver, they'll sell you one of those, and it costs $500,000.
Holy shit!
It's a beast of a car, man. And the thing is, it's a Honda. I mean, you call it an Acura, but it's a Honda, which means it's just not going to break. You could drive that thing forever. Those things will have unbelievable reliability, as opposed to, like, say, a car that my ancestors made. You know, you get something Italian, good luck.
But is it really Japanese if they're making it in Mexico?
Are they making that in Mexico?
Don't they make Hondas in Mexico? And Toyotas?
Do they?
That's what I thought.
I know they make some of them in America. They make Nissans in America.
That's even worse.
Really? That's a good question, right? Is it considered?
Now we're talking about breaking down, all right?
Oh yeah,
American. There's awesome American cars, but
but they just use standards developed by the Japanese. And once they have standards developed by the Japanese, like what does it say?
They're making them in Ohio.
Ohio. Oh, that's right. The NSX is being made in Ohio. That's right. I forgot about that.
Is that good or bad?
That's real good for Americans in Ohio that want a good job making an NSX.
As far as
reliability,
yeah.
You know what? Everything's automated now. See, that's the thing. It's not like you're dealing with skilled craftsmen. You're dealing with programmers and shit.
There aren't people like on the assembly line?
I'm sure there's some. There's some. That was the thing about the Corvette factory in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Like those people, they put together those Corvettes by themselves. Like there's a lot that's going on that's automated rather, but there's a lot that's going on by hand.
Look at this shit.
This is crazy.
They're making cars?
So what is this guy doing right here with this thing?
Oh, this is the factory. I don't know. I just kind of skipped ahead.
Yeah, what's happening here? It's hard to tell what it is. They're flipping the thing upside down. Oh, they're working on the chassis. This is the bottom of the car. These things are just what they are now. Like that's what the car looks like on the inside before they put the seats in, the drivetrain, all that stuff. But what these things are now, look how it's all done by these robots.
Is someone controlling it real time or is it on a program?
That's a good question. I would bet it's probably on a program. There's probably someone controlling it, but they're probably just pressing start. They probably lock it into place. And this thing, I mean, the way it's stacking everything, that's amazing.
Shit.
Well, the things that they're doing now, though, I mean, these cars are so precise. They're so different than anything that existed like 20, 30 years ago. Like this car, it might not be like the most... the fastest, best engineered car in the world, but it's one of them. And it's just that the horsepower wars are so out of control right now that a car like this is almost kind of overlooked because there's so many insane high performance cars now. I mean, there's so many that are 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. What they're doing now is just making these unbelievable spaceships that a regular person could buy if you have the money. You don't have to be a race car driver. You don't have to be like super qualified to handle this thing. You can just get a car that's 600 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, drives like a demon. I mean, you can just go out and buy it.
The Tesla, that Model 3, it's like $35,000, right?
Crazy. Yeah, you're buying a fucking
There's
spaceship.
a Model T?
Model 3.
Oh.
You're buying a fucking spaceship. Like everything is automated. This guy's using torque wrenches. And everything's all set to the exact amount you're supposed to crank things. Like nothing's left to the imagination.
You know how it's cool to make like old classics, like a new version, like the Charger and all that stuff?
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
they'll ever do Model Ts, a new version?
Those things are so like ergonomically clumsy and so poorly designed in terms of like aerodynamics and shit. If you try to take a Model T on the highway, that shit would just fall over. Like once you got to like 80.
They make it right though.
But the wind resistance, you got to like 80.
You're not trying to go fast. It's just like a Harley.
Oh, like a cruiser.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, they have those cruisers, those 50s type cars, right? Like dragster cruiser type things. What do they call, PT Cruiser or something?
Oh yeah, that thing. That thing's gross. I drove one of those once. They were so bad. It was like you guys just made a cool outside and threw the shittiest suspension you could. It was so bad. Like every time I go around a corner, the ass end would like kick out, and it was. I took it on a dirt road, and I was like, I could fly off the side of this road and not being able to control this piece of shit.
Right.
Oh, those were pretty dope. That was the Plymouth Prowler.
Is that like based on like a 50s style car?
Sort of. That was created by Chip Foose. He's the guy that did the design element of my 1970 Barracuda. He's a wizard car designer guy. He invented a bunch of different cool cars. They had that thing, the Plymouth Prowler, and there was another one that was kind of like that too, wasn't there? Was there another one of those fucking retro-looking things?
Either you don't have kids if you have a car like that, or you're a shitty father.
Or that's your weekend car. Well, just gonna take my weekend car and drive around the neighborhood, pretend I'm still alive.
Or C, you're super rich and you can do that every now and then. You put it in your side garage.
That's the Thunderbird. Yeah, I think Foose was involved in that too. Guy's a goddamn car wizard. Yeah,
that's a nice one. Is that a Falcon?
No, that's a T-Bird. That's a Thunderbird, but it has a roof on it.
Have they made newer versions of Falcons?
I don't think so. When was the last time they made a Falcon?
In the 60s?
Look at that thing above it. Is that movie from that movie Christine, the one on the right, the second one on the right, the red one? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, what about cars like that? They should make new...
Oh, that's a Thunderbird. Look at that thing. God.
What about new cars like that? Like those look like the limousine that JFK was in right there. Right? Just a little shorter.
Look, that's a Thunderbird. Look how badass that is. That's like if you roll around on that in Hollywood. Like if you're some sort of rock star type character and you got a goddamn
and it's
what year
red.
Is that?
You're like, look at me, motherfucker. Look at me.
Look at me, bitch.
Look at this shit.
Look at my white walls. Look at that thing. I mean, that is a slick ride. Go back to that last one, Jamie. That is a slick looking car, man. What year is that? It's a Ford Thunderbird, right?
It's second generation.
Second generation. I don't know what that means. If I had to guess, I'd say that's like 1960 something, right? Crazy looking cars. Like they figured it out. Back then, man, they had just caught a design groove and figured out how to make these really exotic looking sexy shapes. 59. Wow. Amazing. What a car.
There's a lot of remixes possible here for Ford and Chevy.
Yeah. I wonder.
Why not?
Should they do that or should they?
They did that to Chargers and it was a
huge
grand slam.
Have you seen the new Ford they got now? The Ford GT? The new Ford GT? Mm-mm. Jesus Christ. Ford's came out with a car that's like a super Ferrari looking car.
Let me see it.
And I think it's like 300,000
It
plus.
looks like
Look at that thing. Yep.
That's a Ford?
Come on, son.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
It's about goddamn time. They could have did that a long time ago.
Look at that thing.
They should have did that 20 years ago.
Jesus. That's like whatever the NSX is, $453,000.
Holy shit. You need to get one of those, Joe.
No, I definitely
Come
don't
on,
want that.
man.
It's not even a standard. You got an automatic transmission. Piece of shit.
Right.
The old ones, they used to have a stick. The old Ford
Look
GT.
at that. What the hell is
that's only $3 million.
Damn.
I saw a gold-plated one driving down Sunset the other day.
Why not? If I had one of those, I'd have a gold plate, and I would have like 3D videos of my dick that like play all over the car. It's like your hard dick is like a hologram on LED screens that are all over the car. Like, imagine if a dude drove down the street and he had a Bugatti with like the outside of the car was a screen.
What did they make? Only one?
Dick.
How is it $3 million?
It's got 1,500 horsepower.
How many did they make? 4?
Well, it's a status symbol. It's one of those things where people want to show everybody that they don't even give a fuck. They drive around a $3 million car.
Rappers.
Floyd Mayweather's got a gang of them.
Ace Hood has a song called "I Woke Up in a Bugatti."
I woke up in a Bugatti.
I woke up in a Bugatti.
I saw one drive down by the Comedy Store once, and everybody looked. They're like, "That's $1 million. That's $1 million." Used to be $1 million. Now they're $3 million. Used to be that was the first $1 million car. I saw $1 million car. Look at this. My Bugatti's for sale for $4 million.
Is that Ace Hood?
That's Floyd Mayweather.
Oh,
man.
damn.
That's Money Mayweather. It's in the DuPont registry.
He's selling it
for fucking $4 million. You want to be a baller? You want to drive around in Floyd Mayweather's Bugatti?
I wonder if he does that often. He like flips cars. Are you kidding? That's easy money. Buy it for 2, sell it for 4.
Not only that, it's a good move, man. It's a smart move, right?
Flip cars? Are you kidding? With social media, he's his own corporation.
Yeah. No, It's a smart move. What's that? He's pissed over low ball bids at his Bugatti auction.
Look at his face.
He's mad. $1.9 million bid because the number was still much lower than Floyd was hoping to get.
I wonder what he paid for
It
it.
didn't sell. Somebody offered $1.9 million. He's like, not enough. Whoa. He reportedly paid $3.5 million. Oh my goodness. So he was expecting to make a profit, and someone tried to short him by
It's not the same one, though. This is the white one. The one we just saw was the black one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
So
only people that
still-
can afford that are people that don't give a shit about that.
Well, I think Floyd is just, his whole thing is about just being the
You know what
ultra
I mean?
baller.
Guys,
That's half his business.
Guys that are into memorabilia, they're usually broke. They don't have that much money. Come on. That's
not a memorabilia thing,
like
though.
100 people on the planet could afford to do that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and they're not impressed by having someone celebrity. You know what I mean? If they got
yeah,
that
they
money,
are. Yeah, they are. It's more than 100.
a
Guaranteed.
billionaire is going to be tripping that it's Floyd Mayweather's car.
Yeah, they would.
That it's obvious that it's flipping it. Like, they're too smart for that shit.
But if they wanted to get it and drive around, let everybody know.
In 2013, it says they sold their 400th Veyron.
Jesus. So 400 people have bought Bugattis.
Yeah. Not a big
400 over $1 million. Jesus. That's a lot of money. $400 million in cars. Whew.
I wonder what it costs to actually make. What do you think?
$50.
No, it probably costs like
slaves.
$20,000 to make.
Okay, let's guess. I bet there's a website that shows how much does it actually cost to build a Bugatti. I want to say $300,000.
I'm going to say, because it's so expensive that the people making it will charge more. You know what I mean? Because it's probably going to be $300,000.
Ooh, you agree with me.
What did you
Let's
say?
see. I said 300,000.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I ripped you off.
Perfect. Well, we'll see if we're right. We'll see if we're both right. I think that's a reasonable thing to imply.
Oh shit!
What?
Volkswagen loses $6.25 million on each one they sell.
What?
Volkswagen loses what?
Wait a minute.
When they sell what?
They lose $6 million when they sell it for $3 million. So
That's what
it
it
costs
says.
$9 million to make.
I'm looking.
They're lying. Now there's
You would
your-
never
that could be
know.
some
Yeah, you would
business
never
bullshit.
know.
I'm going over to Eddie Bravo's side on this one.
Illuminati.
This is Tower 7.
You know what
This
they call
is
me?
Bullshit.
They call me Illuminati.
Illuminati?
Yeah. Slammy, this guy, a friend of mine, he goes, dude, your name should be Illuminati.
Do people get tired of talking conspiracy theories with you?
Do they get tired? No, they always want to bring it up, and I usually don't want to
But
talk
it's a
about
good thing
it.
to talk
I usually
about.
don't
It's a
want to
good
talk.
way for a young guy to approach you. Hey, Eddie, I'm with you on Tower 7, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you with the flat Earth, bro.
Hey, bro. I've been checking out
A guy
the
came up-
satellites. They seem pretty fake to me,
Dude,
bro.
a guy came up to me with his like 12-year-old daughter, and they were all like, they're all into flat Earth.
12-year-old was into
Yeah.
it?
I go, do you talk
That's
about
doing
flat
it.
Earth at school? She goes, no, they'll think I'm crazy.
I wonder why. Kind of weird. Why wouldn't they just give her the benefit of the doubt and look into it?
Hey. Who
Is it really
knows?
that much money?
Yeah, I mean, here's other cars. It says they're in a 17-year low with European cars. Well, there's lots of loss makers. Here's the biggest one that says.
Smart cars? Those are pieces of shit.
This could be-
Loss
this-
per vehicle, $4,000.
Yeah, it goes into the economy. They could be going into like the development costs and like all the money they had to spend testing everything.
Well,
so they kill
VW is all
people and
fucked
that
right
stuff.
now, right? VW is fucked because they got caught lying. They
About
got
what?
caught lying about fuel emissions, or about the fuel mileage of their cars, and
That's a
also
conspiracy
about
theory.
emissions. No, apparently they just been lying about that shit for a long time. Like
I
the
bet they're
emissions
all
of
lying about
diesels
shit.
and stuff.
Like, who's telling the truth anywhere? Like, at that level, at the super crazy high level,
Well, they're trying to sell cars too. They're like, how do we sell these cars?
people don't give a shit. They're
No.
like, just tell them whatever.
Just
They'll
lie to
say,
them.
Studies say, you know, science reports say, just whatever.
Do you have any desire to drive around in some baller car?
Fuck yeah. I'm not rich though. I have like one 500 millionth of the money you have. I'm driving a Tundra.
Those are good cars.
Toyota
though.
Tundra.
It's a good fucking car.
I like it. I
Those
like it.
Toyota trucks.
I got it for my
those things are
baby
the
though.
Shit.
For my baby, I'm like, you know what? I had a Beamer before that. I'm like, I'm not gonna put a baby seat in a Beamer. I'm gonna buy
Too
a fucking
small.
tank. So I
Yeah.
bought the biggest Tundra with the biggest cab, the biggest one I could find. Put that baby seat right in the middle. So
Yeah.
if anything happens, God forbid, he's gonna make it.
You know what else they do? If you're into this, they make side sliders on those cars. They actually act as like side impact protection. They make what do you call a rock slider? So they'll raise the car up a few inches and put these rock sliders on the side of these cars. They do it a lot with Land Cruisers, and they offer significant side impact protection.
I need some of that. What cars have that? What cars are the
cars
best?
do.
The best when it comes to
Accidents?
accidents.
I would say like a Dodge Ram.
Volvo is like known for that, right? Are they still number
Yeah,
one?
they're known for being like real safe in
Yeah,
accidents.
Volvo. Yeah, maybe.
But for like someone hitting
still,
you,
are they still? Do they still make the strongest frames? Because basically that's what it comes down to. Who's making the strongest frame, right?
it's not just that. It's also like how the body responds to impact, how it crumples, how it's engineered to take
Whoever's
an
the
impact.
best, I'm gonna get that. That's my next car.
I saw
Whatever
this
one's
car
the best.
accident the other day. What is that?
Chevy Volt one.
No way.
Number
rated.
one?
Yeah.
Top rated? Number one?
Yep.
Whoa.
What? As
That's
far
like
as
an
what
electric
goes?
car.
As far as what
Impact
goes?
in accidents?
Yeah, crash test results. Yeah.
Whoa.
What?
Wow. That's crazy.
What about like SUVs? What about them?
I would say it would have to be like a Ram or a Chevy Silverado.
It's got to be
giant
Volvo though, because
ass.
that's what they specialize in. That's their shit.
Yeah, but they're not as big. Like if you get, like, is that number one for SUV? What about for the number one truck?
What's number one? Is that number one? What is it?
What does it say?
I'm gonna get it.
10 safest Audi.
Audi?
Goddamn pop-up ads. Looks like Audi right there, right? Yeah. What is that one? That's the Audi Q something, Q whatever the fuck it is, Q7. That's a pretty cool car. I've seen one of those before in real life.
As far as side impacts,
Yeah, I think a lot of those cars have airbags and shit now, and their pillars are designed to absorb a certain amount of impact, and they give in with stuff too. I saw a car accident the other day though at an intersection, and it was a Dodge Ram truck and like some little peon Corolla. Ooh, they head on. The Corolla was destroyed.
man, when I see people driving around with their babies in tiny little cars, and the car seat's like right next, like
Right
I
next to
want
the
it in the
door.
middle. Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Scary.
that's a scary one, man. One little fuck up.
You know what's amazing?
That's your baby.
Think about how many cars there are on the road, how rarely they slam into each other. Most of the time, people keep it together. Most of the time, it's like shh. Like
Yeah, it kind of the traffic kind of filters out bad drivers, because bad drivers, they're not going to last. They're going to wreck. So we're left with people that have seen wrecks, and they're like, once you've been in a wreck, fuck,
Yeah.
you're super careful. My mom was in a terrible wreck, lost all her front teeth, terrible wreck, and since then, this has been maybe 35 years, she doesn't drive on the freeway. She's like scared to death of the freeway. It was a horrible freeway accident, and she won't ever drive on the freeway.
I've seen some bad ones. I've seen some bad ones coming home. Late night from the Comedy Store, cars flipped over, smashed, fucked up. People are dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oof.
It happens. You can get a phone
Drunks,
call at
too.
any time.
Fucking drunks.
At any time. Look what happened to Matt Hughes, man.
Yeah.
That could happen to anybody.
Well, he
at
got hit
any
by a
time.
train. He was trying to cross a train track. I don't know what the whole story was, but he got hit by a fucking train.
How's he doing right now?
He's out of the coma, apparently.
That's good.
Yeah, he's responsive.
Holy shit.
I mean, if anybody's going to survive something like that, it's that fucking tank.
Damn.
Guy's a tank. I mean, most people probably would have been dead.
Man.
It's pretty amazing. He was in a coma for quite a while.
Man, what's worse? I mean, getting attacked by a great white shark and getting eaten, or
It depends.
or a car
What if he
wreck?
comes back from the car wreck and he's like that dude from the Dead Zone? He can see the future. He holds your hands. You can see you're gonna run for
Put
president.
all your money on John Jones.
Yeah, he holds your hands. You can see the future, right?
What if he just starts like predicting fights and he's?
Yeah, how come there's never that? Like they talk about like nuclear fallout. How come no one's getting superpowers? Remember when you were a kid, comic book? If there was a nuclear accident, you turned into the Hulk, or you turned to Spider-Man. It's a radioactive spider.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The fuck today? It's always bad. There's no like good
All this
mutations.
radiation. Where's all the mutations?
Where's the good mutations?
Yeah.
There's no good mutations. No one ever has a good one. No one ever becomes like Magneto. Right?
Yeah.
It's always like you're getting cancer.
Where's all this
Everything's
nuclear
cancer.
fallout? Where is it at?
You got to go to the places where it's at. You ever see the video of Shane Smith from Vice went to Chernobyl, and they're carrying around these radar detectors or these radiation detectors. It's off the charts, man. They got wolves running around. They got catfish. They're swimming in the rivers. They're all mutated and giant.
Are they really mutated?
I don't know. That's what I
I
saw
don't know.
online.
I heard
skeptical?
that. I
All of a
heard
sudden you're
that there is.
skeptical?
I'm hearing that there is no mutations, and it's like, it's.
It's fake. Fake news.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you want to hear the conspiracy theory.
I
or not,
definitely
but-
don't.
Okay. And that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. That's a good
Radioactive catfish. We've been doing like
Damn.
3.5 hours, man.
Is that how long?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's already 5:15.
It's a wrap. Hey, can I direct people to the replay from
Yeah,
last
definitely.
night?
Definitely.
EBI 12, the female flyweights, was last night on UFC Fight Pass. You can catch the replay anytime. You could watch all EBIs, EBI 1 through 12. They're all up there. We had our first all-girl show, including an all-girl combat jiu-jitsu tournament. We had a regular 16-girl tournament. It totally went. The people that were predicted to win, they didn't even get close. It was. I don't want to give it away. But,
Don't say anything.
But
spoiler alert.
Yeah, and we had a 4-woman combat jiu-jitsu tournament. Have you seen
Slap
combat?
fight.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. It's crazy.
It's jiu-jitsu with palm strikes to the face and head and body are legal when you're on the ground. Standing, it's just wrestling. But on the ground, as soon as someone hits the ground, you could start palm striking to the face.
Beautiful.
To the body. So we had a 4-woman tournament. It was nuts. It was nuts.
Okay, and then September 9th, we're going to be back. That's going to be the next Fight Companion. I'm not doing that UFC. That's UFC 215 in Edmonton. So we'll be doing a Fight Companion.
Awesome.
Pumped. This week, Sacramento, Thursday night. Seattle Friday night, and then San Diego Saturday night. There's
Damn.
tickets available for the second shows in all 3 of those places. Otherwise, it's all the fuck out. And we will see you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye.